Actually, would it be crazy if we Discord streamed?
Thing to talk about drafts when we get.
If I just end stream and stream on Discord, like we do for fucking movies and shit. Like I'm not farming subs or anything. You know, I need to be live. I want to watch with people, but
5 plays out.
Also something where Genji has excelled in that.
Well, we always watch the intro anyway.
As soon as
Let's watch
Life
now,
got a
we'll
win, completely swapped the draft, banned what worked for them, and from that point on, didn't really feel like Hanwha had anything against them anymore, and we'll have to see that level.
Actually, can't I just stop streaming right now, go live, watch this live, but then delete the VOD? They aren't auto-flagging at 11:14 at night for a Korean League of Legends, right? I just have to delete the VOD. That's what you did for X-Men? Yeah, but X-Men's different. This is a live broadcast. They do flag. I could also make the gameplay a smaller window. I could do like this. And then we put something else up. Yeah, I'll just show the scores. That's what I'll do. You guys can just sync. You guys can sync. You can open the YouTube video. I'm going to live. It'll be fine. And I'll show the scores. But we can show the pick order for sure.
Well, that's a lot of time in League of Legends.
9 days ago, and we have a new best of 5 for you guys. And this
We'll show the time and the score. You can sync it.
Blue side, there's that Rumble perma ban, the Azir target ban against Faker, and the Lilia.
All right. Azir ban against Faker because he's the GOAT.
No big surprises thus far. Banning away
Again,
owners.
Setting the stage. T1, this is a must-win series. They need to win this series to get to Worlds, is my understanding. And if not, they're not making it to Worlds this year, which will be a disaster. They can still qualify? How? Isn't it over? Like, isn't it? Am I wrong? How do they make it if they don't? They can qualify. Oh, through regionals. You're right. Okay, actually, well, we don't want that anyway. We don't want it through regionals. We would much rather have it through as LCK qualifier. Yes, we would very much like them to win this. It would be much nicer for us without having to run the gauntlet. So, and also, it would just be incredible after all the shit they got this season for them to be in finals again. Because they lost to all these teams. HLE with 3-0, we'll see. We'll see, buddy. T1 constantly gets better.
And Ivan.
It take a while to learn the meta, but once they learn it good.
Different look, but something that Peanut has run games on throughout the last couple of years.
Yeah, technically could be a flex if they want to put a support. We've seen a bit of that, but not too much of it recently. But definitely a pick that Peanut's confident in. Often we see him leaning heavily into side
going
lanes in the back
Ziggs?
of this pick.
God
so
damn.
ensuring you have a decent matchup is important. Now, I don't really like the Ashe here.
Meta's so bad right now. Yeah, so if you don't know League, the meta right now is like AD carry mid lanes, which is so shit. You don't have cool, flashy mages. You have fucking 280 carries farming. And tops, yeah, everywhere.
Ziggs Leona, it means even if you end up with like a ranged top laner, Leona is very good
or
at
Nasus mid. I've seen that too, yeah. I saw Faker do
well,
Nasus mid, actually. He
You have
lost.
that lockdown, and the Ziggs is there for the follow-up already.
For Owner and Carriot, gonna have to try their best to sync up better than they have in the past. And yeah, both these AD carries can be left
Can you
alone.
explain like
Obviously,
everything?
We are also big fans of
It's just a
towards the
bad
Ziggs and actually
balanced
utilize
meta
pushing power,
where
but it does give you a lot of flexibility, and I think Jhin
weird
kind of
stuff
falls
is
in the
really
same
good.
vein. The Rel ban
So everybody
should not
does it.
come as a surprise. I imagine that they're gonna ban like Rel and Alistair.
Alistair for sure.
And then kind of go from there. We'll see, because
Yeah.
the top
Here's how to
lane
explain it
matchup
simply.
could
If you don't know what's going on, you want this team to win. You want this weird-looking furry champion to win. You want this Ice Queen girl to win. You want this Sun girl to win. That's what you want, okay? Simple. If they win, you'll be happy and your day will be great and your life will go good. And if they lose, it'll be sad and depressing and it's a sign of the end times. Okay? Very simple.
Heavily prioritized throughout the entire split for playoffs. But into Zaya specifically, he can really be problematic. We saw like Perfect struggle against that, going the Renekton and getting the Vayne treatment. But also if you have a Poppy, having control off the sides really elevates the power of this pick. So you are going to be blind, but you want to hopefully go into a matchup where you're going to feel comfortable. And really these bans are going to influence that. So we'll see if they opt to throw another one to the top lane.
Yeah, definitely an important last ban. As the Corki comes out, note that Faker has not picked his pick just yet. They take the Tristana, Azir, and Corki away. Also could be flexed, but definitely feels like something Faker
All right,
would
Faker,
play
what do we got?
as some hovers coming in from
Faker.
Guma. We already have the Ziggs, and we're just thinking about what is Faker going to play, as they should be saving counter pick for Zeus in the top lane. And
So-
maybe it's
Oh, he hasn't
just...
picked yet?
Yeah,
This is
I
Caitlyn
imagine
mid.
it's the APA special, right?
Yeah.
Captain America showing his face here with the Ziggs coming.
T1 not doing so hot, market not doing so hot. Coincidence? Not a coincidence. The world spends more money when T1's doing well because they feel more happy. They feel more confident in the future. When T1's doing badly, they save. They put it under the mattress. They hide it because they don't...
Tower taking potential. You know, you have a Caitlyn lane in the bot lane. It's obviously not a hugely favorable matchup, but if you get an advantage there, if you lay a CC onto the Bard, get some kill leads, start taking plates in the bot lane, move the Ziggs over and secure. So clear plan coming out from T1 here. The Bard for Delight, they're pretty cool. Not something we typically see from him in terms of his wheelhouse. Not a big ranged support player. And then it will be that being locked in. So
HLE's team looks really good.
In a situation.
Would be some poetic justice if Zeus ends up bringing out the Gragas. Definitely AP Gragas, one of the matchups that can really bully the Jax. I do like the Jax. I think both.
Why don't you
Doran
become
had
a league
really good
announcer?
game on it, but
I'm not
also
biased enough.
plays well
I'm
into
too
a lot of the
unbiased.
bullies that normally Zeus
It's all politics. You
likes
become a
to go
league caster.
into,
You have
and
to like
this is
have
a
a
pick
team that you're
that
like
he has
super
obviously been,
dick riding. All right,
historically
and I just
something that
unbiasedly say
debuted and
T1's the
looked
best.
incredible on, but that's not really what I think you were looking for with an R5 counter pick. Because this still feels like a skill matchup that can go either way depending on jungle intervention.
Okay.
Yeah, it kind of feels to
Faker
me that
Ziggs.
T1 with the flex of the Ziggs and the Caitlyn coming in want to direct a lot of attention towards the bot lane, and they're fine with Zeus just...
I really
having
haven't
matchup
seen
he
a lot of
feels
Faker
confident
Ziggs,
in.
so I don't know how it'll go,
Obviously, the
but
Narc can take
he's the
priority
GOAT, so
comfortably in
I'm
this
sure it'll work.
matchup, but
I do
not really
love...
something that we expect to crush the...
I do love Zeus Gnar. Zeus has a beastly Gnar. I don't know how... I mean, Doran's Jax is also insane. Top lane's going to be fun to watch. Top lane's going to be fun to watch. I'm excited. Faker is IGL? Yeah, absolutely, bro. Everyone else on the team is like 16 years old. Faker's what, 26, 27? And everyone's like fucking 17, and he's the IG. He's the veteran. Is it Kate mid? No fucking way. Faker, Caitlyn mid?
That's a gamble that we're taking here. Caitlyn mid.
This is the sort of thing you should be doing in game one, though. You know, I feel like we saw this in previous series from T1. Didn't always work fantastically, but you've prepped this experiment. You had 9 days, and they think this is the answer to the Smolder. And
That's T1, baby! Innovation! Innovation! Trying new things, mixing it up. Faker always been a
This
meta
isn't gonna be
breaker.
easy. I think they are taking a risk for sure. By the way, I really love that.
Also,
blind
Faker very smartly seeing the way the winds are blowing and realizing that Arcane 2 is coming out soon. And if he plays Caitlyn, he can get even more fans. Smart. Smart. That's a thinker. He's bigger than just the game, bro. He's playing chess. These motherfuckers playing checkers. All right. I'm going to have to hide the screen, bro. So unfortunately, you have to watch this, but I will show you the I will show you the top.
Team number 1, and it looks like we're face checking some brushes here. As Faker, he's gonna net over the wall. Has to take a net at level 1.
Yeah, I haven't
Great.
really seen the Smolder Caitlyn matchup very much in the mid lane, but I imagine
There
that's
you go.
not how you want to start it, having to go your net level 1. Fortunately, should have time to recall and get back to lane, but yeah, gonna be a bit less pressure on Zeka, so HLE finding a
I will
good
go to
window
live.
just to force that level 1 skill up.
Bold statement, Ox. Coming out right from the get-go. Also, do note, Zeka actually going for Fleet, so we have been seeing mostly Grouse, Smolder, even in ranged matchup. I do think that this is one of the matchups
there
where
it is. Perfect. No, wait,
Faker
I'll
plays
actually
it well.
just
You
go
really
to
shouldn't
Faker's,
be
okay.
able to get a whole lot of stacks.
Yeah.
So
Boom.
I do think the Fleet in that regard makes sense. Gives you the extra movement speed and allows you to sustain
Boom,
the Caitlyn
boom,
harass
boom.
a little bit better.
All right, we can
Yeah,
watch.
also,
Oh, let's
you know,
go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. All right,
Plans
lock in,
with
boys.
full Fleet, so I think a
T1
lot of the
fans,
movement
rise
quality
up!
towards Grasp is to kind of mirror the sustain, but I think here you just want, when you do end up trading with the Caitlyn, being able to trade the Q, but you can see here, you know, part of the thing, not having your Q level 1, Faker
Can you
is going
2x
to lose
speed?
just nearly push.
Sure,
And
I'll
then
2x
pressure down the
speed.
town. I think this is one of the things with Smolder is obviously he's a champion that scales phenomenally, but one of the frustrations with him is he
I'm
actually
catching
has
up.
quite a lot of wave clear. His kit obviously not available level 1, but you can just auto Q. The W also a bit of a big amount of AoE and threat.
Damn,
so
I'm
not
kinda behind,
really useless
huh?
this early when it comes to laning prowess, but he's taking some heavy damage there. That's with a fight here.
Yeah, it's a little skirmish down here, giving us a level 1, so, you know, nice little engage for Leona, but not going to overdo it. As Faker's getting in there, he does hit the net.
Damn,
And
mid
it is
lane's
a pretty good
close.
trade here.
Mid lane's
It's gonna be
close.
First time we have ever seen Caitlyn mid by anybody.
That's all.
in the
Faker
LCK.
meta breaker.
Bringing it out. I was about to say, there it is.
There it is.
We knew the graphic was
Faker's
coming.
80th
What I wanna see, though,
unique
we haven't
pick.
talked about this yet, but the best thing about
He's played
Peanut is
80
Poppy, which,
unique
by the way, was spotted on
champions.
that
That's
ward,
the LeBron
is how
James.
insanely
That's the
proactive
goal,
he is
dude.
towards the early sidelines. As was mentioned
Is there any
earlier,
melee
this time
mid-heroes?
around, though,
There- I mean, Fizz?
only gonna get a
There's a lot back in the day, but everything's all ranged 80
Not a
now.
lot more.
You got
Jade is
4.
being covered here.
Oh, he's getting
towards
ganked.
this
Faker
top
don't
side
die.
of the map.
Faker don't die.
really
Faker don't
important. I
die.
feel like the diving like a mini Gnar
Oh,
is
Peanut.
such a bread and butter play.
They're
I would
ganking
not
him.
put it past him to flash some walls and try to get in onto Faker, as there's the magical journey. Faker, does he know he's in trouble? He will flash away.
Oh
And
Good dodge!
trading flashes.
Good
with
dodge,
Caitlyn.
motherfucker!
You'll take
Yes.
Yeah, especially Peanut
Wasted
has
their
Hex Blast,
time. Good
so,
shit.
You know, as Alex
Good
always like
shit.
to say, he just unlocked the Hex upgrade,
well played.
upgraded. And also, even though Fake obviously flashed away, doesn't go down, you know, you saw how he was trying to establish pressure in the lane.
There's Gen G, by the way.
Has to reset TP in. And yeah, Gen G watching and ready for tomorrow.
You know, what better way to learn than to come down and see it all happen in person?
I don't think they had Caitlyn mid on their bingo list, so can go from that right from the get-go. Also, do note
So
in the
far,
mid lane,
so
both
good.
Mid lane is no TPing back. Cole being bought on
oh,
one
you
end
checked that
for
mini game?
Faker.
Yeah, I'm glad you liked it. That's
Zeka
good.
is going to have the tier,
Very
and
good,
we'll
Mike
see.
Sardis.
To me,
Very
the
up
flash
your
being
alley.
down in of itself already useful might make a difference when we see some skirmishes towards
So
the grubs.
Faker
Makes
played
it a lot
that
easier for Peanut
as
to get
well
that
as you
jump.
could.
If they're not able to get the punish, it won't
He's
end up mattering
safe
too
in
much.
lane.
As
He lost his flash, but
first
didn't
game
die.
already successful here, and something that we give Peanut a lot of credit for. Do note, hasn't actually
Why are they
backed
using
yet,
skins?
is just
No, you can use skins. The
continuing,
only person who doesn't use skins is
to
Faker.
full clear his jungle.
Faker uses no
And
skins.
it's probably going
Which is ironic
to
for a man
take
with a
one
$500
soon.
skin.
A dragon about to come up.
Faker also
It is
missed
a
the cannon
Cantech
minion.
Drake first.
Maybe he's
Thank
washed.
you very much, Ox.
Doing my best.
He's
Yeah.
on the cast. I mean,
Also, like, you know, being part of that initial gang.
You're
getting
reacting
the
but not
move, and I
showing. Yeah,
feel
just
like
fucking put the link in and
Bard is
sink
always
it
one of
right
these
here.
champions who roam so
Sink it
heavily,
to
but
the
into a
time.
lane like a Ziggs, there's just so limited impact you can have there. Now, they are looking for a dive here on
yeah,
Doran.
they see owner here. And
Dive on Doran?
Alrighty.
No, they
Just
don't
gonna
go
take
for
a mean look at him and then run the other way. They don't know
Yeah.
exactly where the
That was
enemy
dumb.
jungler is, where Peanut is, and they're not going to try to dive a Counter-Strike Jax.
All right, so it's
Without
dead
that
even, no
information.
kills
Yeah,
yet.
the Mega Gnar bar was still there, and they had melee attacks for Sejuani. Maybe they would have tried something. Well, still would have been a little bit of a
No
gamble, but
kills yet,
instead
but I'm
just
sure.
get it demolished.
Yeah,
probably.
I think that
Can you
the
explain it
wall
like it's
missed,
melee?
And as soon as it happened, they're like, you know what, you're good, you're good. Well, you know, and I think
know,
it
it's like
shows
Mango
restraint not to try
He's
and
doing a
overforce
loser's run.
anyway.
We have to support him.
Obviously, the players don't just want to throw the game away in a dive this early, especially into a Jax, where there's so many counter dives.
Especially into Doran.
But I will say what Faker
in an early
picked,
game in the best of
what our
five.
hero has
That's
picked
happened
here is a
before.
very
been a thing,
non-standard
yeah.
Yeah,
champion
don't want to risk that.
for the role he plays.
Yep.
It's actually never been done before in LCK.
Hovering around mid,
this league.
understandably.
So it's
as the
exciting.
grubs are about to spawn as well.
And
they
so
might be
far it's
making some
working.
plays for that.
We'll see if it works,
Extremely important for both teams, just because the
Kinda like
Ziggs
Doc Lee,
exists.
yeah.
The Caitlyn you guys mentioned, very good at sieging turrets as well. you want to take those away from T1, and if you're T1, obviously you want to pick those up. So we'll
Why are
see
you reacting to
just
this
how
dog
much
shit
pressure
play?
we
You
see
react to
on
Stance
these
plus
grubs.
Blood.
For now, we do see
That
owners
level
going to
of
the
play is
Drake,
too high for me to
and
understand.
Peanut has started them,
I have to
so
watch
T1
simple
are going to
top-level
be giving
Korean
up the grubs.
players
Do have Carrier
because I
on
can
a
wrap
roll
my
here
mind around it.
towards
I can't get to the
topside.
next level
See
of
if he can get a late
North
gank
American
as his pressure
silver.
comes through. But Delight and Peanut are both
That's
in
where-
the
that's where it
area.
gets too hard
You
for
also
me.
know that obviously with the ultimate or of the portal, it's going to be really easy to come through, as we do have Zeka harassing a little bit here.
Yeah, this is kind of risky because it feels like Carrier went top to cover Zeus because obviously HLE are leading top for the grubs, but now Zeka...
This dragon fight's important.
He's going in there.
Oh,
He's
no.
1v3.
Oh,
He's
no.
like, no, I've got Mom. And he's just going to push them off. He buys
Oh,
it up
no.
time. And now How Life Esports rotate over, and they're going to get both.
I hate
as
Zeka,
there's
dude.
despite
He's
they
a
take
cheater.
down
He
the
cheats.
Drake, and How Life Esports enjoy both objectives.
So not only is Carrier towards the top side, but Viper also has 6, and trying to contest that dragon right there. If Jin can open up...
Don't say GG, go
at any
next.
time, there's a risk that T1 wasn't willing to take, and
You're the worst teammate ever. They get one dragon, they're
mistake
up
was Carrier
nothing.
showing top. I think
Yeah.
if you
GG,
hover
go
top,
next.
then
It's
if a
over.
dive
GG,
comes,
F15,
you're there to
team
cover,
sucks,
but by
Struggler
showing
sucks,
top,
quit.
You show your cards to Life Esports.
No, it's
Zeka
not
was like,
over.
oh, the support's
Goddamn.
not bot. I can aggress
Calm
this
down.
dragon, and he knew the Bard was going to quickly follow. So I think that was the mistake.
T1's still up in gold, by the
not wanting
way.
to expose theirs, but this really backfired hard for them.
Slightly.
And if Owner is
100
6,
gold.
then Zeka
Dead even,
can't
basically.
be that far up. Doesn't have cleanse, would only be able to flash. But without an ultimate available, there's not only
Run,
just
Faker.
Peanut.
Faker,
He's
run!
flashing in, and actually just going to real flash on top of Faker here, and that is going to be Faker in a ton of trouble. Owner does make his way over, but that's first blood given over to the Smolder in the mid lane. Meanwhile, at top,
GG, go
Doran
next.
going to force a flash. He does trade, but takes the win
GG, go
in
next.
this 1v1.
GG, go
There's
next.
the
GG,
timing
go
from Peanut
next.
just before Faker's flash is available. Makes his way into the mid lane. And with that flash towards
Damn,
the
they
top
did
side as
time it right
well,
before his flash.
Zeus and Doran trading there.
Yeah, Doran having an advantage top all by himself, and the fact you're getting this Smolder nearly
I'm still 10
kill,
seconds ahead.
This Caitlyn obviously
I don't
not
know
feeling
how to
too
stop it,
happy
but
about that, and it's just great
I'll-
moves
I'll
from
turn
Life
my
Esports, being on that
playback
earlier Summer
speed to
spell,
normal.
coming back to reiterate and secure that. And bot, we're seeing Viper a
Just
little bit
2x
behind
speed
in farm,
on
but
YouTube
it's
and you'll catch
not
up to
really
me, I
a meaningful
promise.
gap.
Yeah.
Taking another
Yeah.
look. It's very straightforward, right? Hex flash in, even
Ah,
without getting
tragic,
the slam into
dude.
the wall. As long as Faker isn't able to get towards the wall and E over, you're always going to take him down.
Yeah, I mean, the thing
Yeah,
as
you
well,
can't
the
eat over
Smolder
the
with
wall.
Flap Flap can easily gain distance on you. The Poppy,
feel like
so
Faker
much
could've
ability as well.
ran the other way, maybe
and
I'm
the
wrong.
net not that useful against the Poppy in this
Or if he
situation.
eat-
Just really good
I don't
setup
know.
from the side of HLE. And Light will find Owner here.
Yeah, in the 1v1 and
followed
maybe a
him?
2v1, Delight is not going to win. Even a headshot, or rather a ace in the hole
Imagine
coming in from
backseating
down the lane.
T1
Delight just
Faker.
says, well, I'll just flash.
Blue.
I mean,
You know what?
just
True,
a
it's the
level
goat we're
5
talking
bard.
about.
I'm not really that threatening. Here is
Is
a
Zeus
dive on the top
winning
lane.
this?
Doran is going to get flashed on by Carrier, and a bunch of damage goes into this Jax as Zeus will take
Let's
the
go!
And they do get
I
revenge.
told
Carrier.
you! Zeus
Move
Nar,
out there.
baby! Let's
You know, managing to
go!
get Doran outside
Hey,
tower
good shit.
range.
Good shit,
They're doing
King.
a really good job with the ultimate.
Yes.
And the thing is, you're not vulnerable
Beastly.
on the bot side.
Just fucking
because Zeus
manhandle him
still
under the
has
tower.
his ult if he needed to clear a wave.
Good
but doesn't even have that
coordination, good
pressure on him.
teamwork.
Very
Still up
necessary as
gold.
well, because I think
Up
T1 was really
400
lacking
gold.
a pressure point to play through. Getting a kill
You know, Fake's still
onto
up
the
in
Gnar,
CS too by
definitely gonna
1.
be nice. And this is actually where the what we didn't actually see, but I imagine it was a proactive flash from Doran towards the top side that forced Zeus' flash ends up backfiring.
It was, yeah.
If he has a flash available, maybe there's a way to
Damn, is
outplay
this
that to
Caitlyn kinda
stall
working against the
until,
Smolder?
you can counter strike until reinforcements can
Like, he gets to
arrive.
just
but
farm, he's
doesn't
safe,
end
clear the
up coming
wave.
through.
Yeah, and we'll see the replay in this situation. The Counter-Strike being very early to trade, and that's what makes
Atrioc
his dive
keeps cheering
so
before
easy.
something happens. I don't know what to
Ults him
tell
away
you,
from
bro.
the tower, gets the
I don't
stun,
know what
gets
to tell
the
you.
Q, and then Carrier
I
comes
can't
in, he
restream
knows
my stream, we'll get in
Counter-Strike's
trouble.
down, so the Leona is full range.
There's
to
2x
lay in
speed
a
on YouTube, I
combo.
swear to God, you'll catch up.
Good moves there from Zeus to set that one up.
I do feel like if Doran just hugged the turret and maybe saved his Counter-Strike, probably would have put himself in a better spot, but instead kind of ends up running away halfway, and then he just kind of dies.
Yeah, the Counter-Strike value into a team with the
Watching
Sejuani
Big A
and
on
Leona
YouTube
is so
Kids
high.
hits
If you
dumb
have
hard.
that defensively, then you can easily prevent
Whenever
them
I
from
upload a
stacking
YouTube
up, and
video,
the
it
Sejuani
says,
passes all the Leona queue.
check
Now,
the box if
HLE
this is
goes
for
to the
kids
again. It
only,
looks
and
like
I check
T1
it every
wanna try
time.
and stop them
All
from
my
getting the
videos are
full
checked for
six.
kids only.
Yeah, this is pretty interesting that T1 just really
I want it to be
don't have
going
much
next to like
presence on
Spider-Man
these
Elsa.
grubs.
I want it to
they're
be. I want
fighting
my
to get
content to
one
be
at this point in time,
next to
maybe
Annoying
two,
Orange.
with their
Annoying
Caitlyn
Orange
Ziggs combo,
into-
and they should be able to get two on the Some Life
into
Esports
slowly all
have
at once.
a big plan
Should be your
invested here.
algorithm.
Doran does have his TP available, so he can join, but it looks like Humble Life Oh!
Peanut had smite, and he's going to take number 5. So that's
There it
5
is.
grubs
TP!
for the set of Homolave Esports. Here's the TP, as you mentioned, getting right
Run,
into that
Guma, run,
back
Guma,
line.
run,
The
Guma, run,
Ziggs,
Guma, run,
he's
Guma,
all
run, Guma.
alone. Down he will go. And that's a bonus kill as well for Homolave Esports on top of everything else.
And you got to ask, was it worth it? You know, you got the 1 grub, but giving up so much pressure there. Carrier,
He'll execute on this.
yeah, he avoided this damage.
I'm just now noticing as well that the light is
call, Carrier.
playing Carrier skin. That
Okay,
was
so
a
Zeus is
T1,
winning every lane that he's
Bard
in, and everyone else
ultimate
is
that I
not
saw
doing
there.
good. Cool.
Very
Good shit,
cute
Zeus.
there.
Keep it up.
Yeah, ends up being, like, obviously the execute doesn't give kill gold over, but it still takes your support on the map. Might open a play for T1, and really big here is as well that Zeka is able to just roam down bot, catch the bot wave, so there isn't really a
it's a
cross-map
dive.
opportunity
Guma's
as
dead
Guma
again.
is
Guma's
Ziggs,
dead again.
but doesn't have his ultimate
This
right
fucking
now.
Ziggs.
Boy. I mean, there's no TPs. He's alone. There's 3 people here for Homolave Esports. There's just no way for Guma to get out of this situation as Peanut and Delight set up yet another kill. And yes,
They
T1
go Dragon.
get the Dragon.
Hey, for Dragon.
Homolave Esports really snowballing their lead.
And that's the window of Carrier not being on the map. You see Homolive get the people where they need to be, and Peanut on the Poppy again finding an opening.
And you know, HLE already have a dragon, so they're willing to give up the second one and focus on getting gold
Infernal
onto
Soul.
this Jin.
It's
Infernal
still
Soul, yeah,
really
you know,
close,
2
folks.
dragons, actually.
It's still really close.
yeah, thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome, Mom.
Thank you for that. That's very
I mean, it is one of
important
those
information.
things where if they'd lent towards Dragon, I could understand it, because, you know, if you see Chemtech Ocean, you're pretty confident it's going to be a very strong soul. And Infernal here,
Yeah, I've never
you know, there's
seen
a lot of
Guma do
champions,
good on an AP
Jin,
champ.
Smolder, Caitlyn,
I don't know why he's not just
all
playing
really
AD carry.
sync well with Infernal Soul,
I don't
but
like it.
HLE opting to extend
I
their
guess so they
lead
can
a bit
favor Caitlyn,
by
but-
playing to the top side, and now Viper 2-0 with, you know, 1 farm behind Fake,
love
who's got the
Korean
most of the
Nar
game.
sounds. Yeah,
This
they're
Jin
good
is
base.
quickly going to come online.
Yeah. There are Jin
Yeah,
games
put
where
Guma on
you're
Draven
kinda
every
running
time,
around
dude.
and
He
it feels
can
like you're
just take over
attacking
the
them with,
game.
like little pellets, and you
I
don't
love
feel
it when
like you're
T1
doing
just
anything.
plays
Yeah, he's just
like
running around
Faker,
reloading
LeBlanc.
and not really
Just
doing any
fuck the
damage.
meta.
But this is going to be a very different.
Guma Draven, just play
Jin,
hard carry
I
good
would say,
champs
in
and
this
then
game.
win
And that's
one fight.
Also,
And then
we haven't
all
even
meta
really
advantages are
mentioned
over.
that Zeka is just very comfortably sitting here. The Caitlyn counter pick isn't really a thing, and he's scaling out of control already.
And it's such a beautiful setup here from T1, because especially with the Bard as well, T1 were forced to push forwards,
Yeah,
and
the
then we have the
scaling
flank angle,
on
the ult from Zeka
HLE's
slows,
side is much
Doran
higher.
comes in here, we have the
So
ult
I don't know how they're
opening up
supposed to
for the
go.
Jin, Delight was there to follow up, there was no way Guma was getting out, and then here, Delight sets it up, they get the poke down, Guma's still trying to clear the wave, but he ends up in a position where Peanut can get the
T1
stun.
loses, they eliminated from
and
Worlds.
ends
No,
up going
they can
down.
actually
Just-
make it
once
through
again,
the
good execution from
gauntlet,
HLE.
I guess.
And
But they don't get
particularly
an
in
easy
that Herald
path to
play, it
Worlds.
also feels like T1 investing 2 ultimates there, and
ideally
then
they
not
just
even
win
committing
this.
onto the Puppy, which again is the right call because
by the
they
way,
have
if they
TP
lose game 1, it's not
disadvantage.
over either.
But realizing that
Fuck
a little
off.
bit too late, maybe with those ults they could have traded back.
By the way,
or
this
healed
game
back
is still dead
one way
even
or
on
another.
gold.
Doesn't
Yeah.
end up
So let's
coming
not-
through, and we're
let's relax.
basically sitting on,
Let's
on
relax,
a very even
folks.
game state here as the IE first here for Faker. Call done, and we
Got a lot
have
to
the call for Zeus close as well, but that's a first for mid Caitlyn, which I guess is a first in general.
Yeah, I mean, we always talk a lot about the Caitlyn mid-game sort of power trough, but particularly if you go on IE first, that is not going to feel super rewarding until, well, either you get lucky and get a crit, or until you got some more items to back it up.
It is the old build, right? Like way back in the day, the Caitlyn just, you know, just go IE, and then eventually you do matter. So maybe Faker digging into
just
those
need-
old
yeah, I mean,
memories. We'll see if it works out for
T1
him.
can lose a little bit, and a
We'll be
little bit, and a
building
little
more
bit,
grid,
and then
of
win
course,
one
but
team fight.
Yeah, I mean, Homolave Esports, in terms of their map impacts, it feels like they're the team with the Ziggs when obviously they don't have Ziggs. But they are just taking all the turrets. They're taking the entire map at this point in time. They get the first top one. They get this inner one immediately with double demolish, it looks like, coming in there, as well as the
Wait, I'm
Rip
sorry,
Barrel.
does-
Huge value with all the
Am I correct in saying that T1 doesn't have a
Already
single turret?
counterpunch
They got their
for T1.
that's
They're
their
gonna
first
get
turret?
a turret. I don't even think
That's
Zeus can really get
T1's
a lot of
first
damage down
turret?
with the rest of Hanwha already on their way. As Howard Vehicle comes through.
Five
There it is.
turrets to
Viper
one.
Getting very close towards that rapid fire cannon. That second item going to make him a really big deal
No,
in
two.
fights.
Okay, never mind. I'm sorry.
Haven't really seen
2 to 1.
a 5v5 yet, and I imagine that's where T1 are gonna have to kind of band together and
5
keep
grubs, yeah,
Faker
sorry, I
and Guma
misread.
safe, because it feels right now if any of Doran
okay,
or
it's
Peanut
fine.
ever get near them, they're not gonna be able to play the game.
I'm just really concerned because, you know, even though the gold
Yeah,
gap
more
isn't
gold
actually
waiting
that
for them.
big
So
for
true.
HLE,
Actually, so true.
it's because
If they're
Zeus is
even on
really
gold without the
fed,
turrets,
and
they're gonna be
if
way
he's not
ahead
able
once
to
they
find
get the
impact
turrets.
in the team fights, which can be hit
Smart,
and miss with a
smart
Gnar,
thinking.
who has to rely on Mega, T1 are really going to struggle. Like, Guma's far behind. Faker isn't super strong yet. And it's Zeus or bust at the moment. Obviously, if he can have an impact in the side lanes, fantastic. But
yeah, Zeus needs
you're
to
going to
carry.
have to play for these dragons with it being Infernal Soul. You know, you're up into potentially Smolder that's on a wave play or a Jax in the side lane, both of which I think are fine to hold off Zeus. So I am concerned about how
I do think it would be interesting if League of Legends had randomly generated maps like RTS games.
Feels like there's a closing window in that regard as well.
Like every game was a little different. And some games you get bad maps, some games you get good maps, but it would be different, so you have to play on the fly. I think that'd be kind of cool.
You'll probably be able to get this dragon if on live don't contest. Right now, I think they still could, particularly because Dorn still has the TP available, and we do see Peanut maybe looking for a play towards the mid wave. But
cool
even if T1 get this one, this is just a second dragon. It doesn't set up for soul point.
How crazy is it though? The Viper was second highest in experience, and Delight's just been roaming and giving him so much solo XP. He's
I mean, they're
level
like
12, the highest
maps on a
level in his
seed.
team as an AD carry, not
similar, but have
commonly
tiny
seen,
variations.
especially not this early in the game.
Couple
Spent
different
a lot of
bushes
time
or whatever.
alone in bot lane, and then a decent amount of time alone in mid as well. Just kind of solo farming. And as you mentioned, Delight's been everywhere, as he normally is. And, you know, T1 trying to set up for this Drake.
Then you could rage at map RNG instead of your team.
You do have
Yeah,
some nice zone control. Caitlyn and Ziggs, especially. If they were ahead,
you can rage it.
I'm like, esports wouldn't really be able to approach anything. But
then you can blame map RNG, and then you're not mad at a human being. You're mad at just Riot in
a nice
general.
little box for them around this objective, but Hololive Esports might just barge on through.
Yeah, they see
they
Faker
just
in the bot
cleared
lane,
all those
so they
Caitlyn
run
traps
through all
in
the
1
traps
second
to
with
clear
no
them out,
fear.
and
There
now,
it is. Yep.
good old burning the flash from Guma.
All right, Guma has no
They've
flash.
started
This is
pushing in
terrible.
contested control. There's still Banana Brush in favor of T1, but this line of traps is a lot less intimidating when it's on the other side of the Dragon Pit.
Delight able to find...
I still think the
really
trap
direct
lines are
engage,
kind of
but still getting a really big summer out of the way right from the get-go. Ziggs obviously
going
outside
for
of
it.
the satchel can be...
And I gotta say, Zeus is still winning top.
Dragon started up here.
Straight up.
Live, they are looking to contest very aggressively. Look at the
Okay, this
bar for
fight's
Zeus
important.
is full.
Okay, this fight's
Mega
important.
now available.
This fight is important.
And the early pick of Poppy, as
No,
by the way,
Carrier, what are you doing?
The light looks kind of pitiful.
You wasted your ult before the big
Poppy pick
fight.
is going to be fantastic about just
Zeus
running
winning,
straight
though.
at the objective and saying, okay, well, Sejuani can't do anything, Leona can't do
I mean,
anything.
the longer they
How
just
are you
make the
going to
game
engage?
lane
But now
phase,
it's
Zeus is
actually Hololive
winning.
Esports
Oh,
that
no.
engage onto the Leona themselves. Generally not a good idea, but they will force the
Wait,
flash of Peria.
hold.
And now the Jin ult is coming out, just trying to zone them away. T1 thinking about getting on in here, but Peanut just going to launch over
no.
into the sky, and that is going to be the Infernal
Back it out,
Drake
back it out,
already
back it
in
out,
the
back it out, back it out, back it out, back it out. Back it out, back it out, back it out, back it out, back it out.
Carrier, though, he is extremely low.
Carrier!
And now we've got Doran on the flank. Zeus does not
Wait,
have Meganar. And
what?
Zeta
We do
is
no
just
damage.
farming
We,
the
I'm on the
stats
team,
right
on the team,
now,
little bro.
as it's a very
Why
broken
are you
fight.
doing no
Nobody
damage?
is gonna die yet, but now Doran
Do some damage!
flash away, and just barely is gonna walk this one off.
Very scrappy fight with the way it ended up playing out. You know, some little mistakes here and there from both
Damn, that was
sides.
sloppy
but no one ends up
toppy.
going down.
No one dies.
HLE got what they wanted, and I think T1.
Nobody died,
despite the
and
fact they
HLE
were
got
there
the drag.
first in the river. Their setup for that was a little bit poor. Zeus finished off the tower
Damn, they
top.
just didn't-
His mega ran out, and then he
that
ended up
could've gone so
TPing
much
in.
better.
So if you look on the mini map, we have the TP coming in from the
They
Jack.
should sub you in.
And Zeus is
Good point.
recalling in mini, and then he's going to TP
Good
to bot
point.
lane and be miles away from the fight. So they don't have
The problem is
support
I'm a
there
mid
immediately
laner,
from
and I
their
can't take Faker's
strongest
spot.
member. It allows
But he's playing
HLE
80,
to
so
get
put Faker
control,
in the bottom
knock
lane,
the
take Guma's
Sejuani
spot, I
away,
take mid
get
lane,
the
I play
dragon.
Fizz,
Then this
I
is
go
where it started to get a
14-0.
bit weird. Peanut losing vision here.
That fight I
not
would have
ideal.
cooked, dude. They're all
Yeah, and then Carrier
low.
goes in, but there's not
I'm
actually a
bouncing
lot
around,
of battle,
playful trickster.
follow-up. Owner has to zone away Doran.
Damn, this was
from
not
just
coordinated. You
immediately
really- you notice it right
decimating
here.
The players of T1
How
that are
does
still
Doran
left.
not die?
And then all the poke comes
How does
through.
Doran
ends
not
up going
die?
very,
Zeus,
very
kill
low.
him!
But crucially, Zeus doesn't want to just flash into enemy territory there over the wall just as he's about to turn Mega. But
Are you a mid
by the end
laner
of
or a
that,
mid
lot of
laner?
cooldowns, a lot of summoners used,
Both.
a lot of action, but no kills.
In 2024
Zeka
Brawl,
continues to
both.
scale, and the
I'll be
Infernal
honest
Drake
with
went to
you. I'm
Humble
not gonna
Life.
lie.
Yeah, they got
about
the
it.
Drake and they got Zeus' TP. If they'd left then, it would have been fantastic. But even though they made some mistakes, they didn't get punished as much
washed
as
in
they
this
could.
game.
Speaking of
It's tough.
punished,
This is very weird, the setup. Delight in a bit of trouble. He's just trying to walk this one off. He doesn't have flash. There is a magical journey, but now we got
Anyway,
TP going.
this-
Zeus.
oh, let's
he
go,
wants
Zeus.
this, but he's just going to
Oh,
get stunned
damn.
up against the wall. And the flash on in,
Oh.
the ace in the hole.
Oh.
Delight, he's got a shield. Here comes
Oh.
the rest of the team.
Come on,
It's over.
Zeus!
Throwing all
Come on, let's go! Dude, he's such a beast. I love Zeus's Gnar. He's a master of Gnar, dude. God, he's turning this into something else. He's helping his team. He's putting the game on his back.
Doran on the other end of the map, getting a turret.
Feels like one of those plays where you keep committing.
Yeah, I don't even know if it was worth it, but it's like it's just psychological.
Probably should stop.
Should have just cut the losses. You lose the tower on the bot side, and the thing is, even though Doran has no TP, even though the support is dead, T1 know they can't just send a Baron there, especially against the Jhin
towers to
Smolder.
3.
And so the end result is they don't actually get to translate that play into really anything.
Yeah, they get the kill, and they can say #worth in the chat, but at the end of the day, we're not going to agree with them here analyzing from the
I will say, I mean, straight up, Doran, the god of Jax, is down 40 CS and 2 kills.
But they're still enjoying their lead at this point.
All right,
I mean, I get it. You see Bard floating around on the Rift.
Maybe we won't win this game,
you
but
want to kill him, right?
Top lane,
he does sometimes
showing you what it's all about.
It feels satisfying, but yeah, I think we agree it wasn't the correct investment of resources.
Also, Jhin has 230 CS at 21 minutes.
So Zeus in a side lane throughout this summer.
That's disgusting.
Very dependable.
That is a disgusting amount of CS. What the fuck kind of gold is that?
Over push and end up going down in the side lane. But I do think he's really cleaned up play in the recent series. We'll see if T1 can use that as a pressure point. Here we go again.
Oh, Guma, he has flash. He's not going to use it this time. Finally, he'll use it. There's Bomb from the sky as well. And now Peanut just running away from this one. Owner going to throw an ult.
Why does it feel like T1 does 0 fucking damage?
But that is a Poppy.
Like literally fucking 0.
You can't kill the Poppy at this point in time, but they're going to force HLE Esports back.
Why does it feel like they tickle?
Themselves not able to get too much out of the trade either.
Only Zeus does any damage. It feels like Zeus auto attack does 5 times more than
threaten it here to save this turret.
Guma and Faker combined.
And now he will go for
Faker kind of hit.
Yeah, dragging up in 50 seconds, you know, both teams would love if they got the opportunity to take the tower with the Ziggs. You get a low, it's so easy to. I do think Guma, you know,
this is a close game.
There is really scenarios where when you get a bot ulted, you can satchel yourself out. So potentially having to burn his flash again, not ideal. And they do try and focus on Peanut, but they just didn't have the damage available there. You know, a lot of burst, even the Caitlyn as well.
Careful, Faker, careful.
Stepping on a trap, and he dies. He's going to be forced out of this one, and he just TP'd in the mid.
Oh, good shot. Okay, I get it, Faker. I get the pick.
On something here, maybe the Baron. Gonna throw it out, and he's going to hit it. Doesn't even that when he leaps, but he dies.
Oh, swag the long distance ult. Oh, they're going for Baron. That's ballsy.
Peanuts there though, with his ults available.
Oh, this is so ballsy. I'm nervous.
This is so
ballsy.
The zone control.
I don't know if they're going to be able to do anything about this. I mean, it's a very early Baron.
They're abandoning it? The Baron is just T1's? This team is so fucking swaggy.
But T1 will get this Baron off the map. There it goes. And now they're going to be running
such a good call.
Dragon and looking to fight again.
Such a good call.
This is going down quick.
They're going to ult. Carry away, but he comes back.
Carrier, you're the god of the game!
Trying to get something going.
I don't even know what he did. I don't know how he did that. I can steal it.
HLE Esports, they do get this one, and now they're going to turn us.
Carrier, what the fuck was that? Wait, what is everybody doing? Wait, you're inting! Wait, you're inting! What are we inting for? Why are we inting?
Away from this one, T1 just got a Baron.
Why are we inting?
HLE Esports will punish them.
The T1! A big win turning into an immediate disaster as just Soulpoint going over. That could have been surmountable. But instead,
that was so good. It was just Soulpoint. It wasn't
even 100%. You know, this was such a good start. You're seeing the sieging power of the Ziggs and the Caitlyn. And there's a great read on the recall position from Guma. Goes for very late.
Just flash it.
Yeah, I think misreading there. And you know, in League of Legends, there's some rules you learn early on, like don't chase the things.
Carrier played that so good and then so bad.
Portal. It's like you're frustrated they got the Baron, but I guess
the why'd they go through the Bard portal? Just don't go through the Bard portal.
And then we're free to follow. But it just doesn't work out. And now Zeka and Viper are over this wall, free hitting, and Zeka has the stacks. He's so strong right now.
It feels like the call was split as well, and actually really nicely done by the Lighter. Held his Q.
That was so
up until
when you watch it back, it's so obviously dumb.
Not allowing the Gnar to do anything. Faker was backing at the start of that
tragedy.
play.
T1 trying to engage here, but it's not really working.
They didn't listen to
Remember, they
Faker.
still have
They
some
didn't listen to
Baron.
Faker. He said back.
And yeah, they're finally going to take down this mid tier 1, which they have been working
It's
on
like
for
pressing
quite a while.
Q2 on
but
Elite
this time
Sin.
the
It's
seeds
exactly
will
like
work
that.
out.
Just irresistible.
They could have had a lot
game's
of
still
Baron,
doable.
yeah.
Game is still
but,
doable,
they
bro.
only have some left.
They don't have Baron,
Wow,
so
they
it's
have
kind
a
of
plus
fucking whack.
33 gold Baron power
But at
play.
least
What
they
are you
can't
talking
take
about?
Baron.
Yeah, that's great, Ox. Good stuff.
You know, another number we should talk about, which we already did in the team fight, but the Smolder is online. You know, we talked about how fed Viper is going to get. We talked about how, yes, Zeus is fed, but also it's a
I hate this
Jackson
new
side
Smolder
lane, but
champion.
The Smolder is
Stupid.
3-0, has 2.5 items, has his stacks, and Zeka, you know, extremely consistent. He comes out here in game 1, and so far he's playing just as consistent as he played all regular season. And if
We're
this
adding new
continues, he might
champs,
just take over the
especially
game.
ones that
I'm
are
really
good.
struggling with
Especially
trying to
ones
get
that are
Zeus
whack.
highest level in the game, but I'm struggling to see
I
the
don't know,
angles for him to make
fucking-
impacts in these team fights because there's so much lockdown, so much
You should start
defensive
removing
heal,
a champ. Every
and
2
then
weeks they
you
should have a
just get
champion
burned through by
removal
this Smolder.
patch.
You see them
Or they
setting up
just
this
keep
bot lane
taking one
tier
out.
2.
Let's get back to like 40
Zeus is trying
champs.
his best. There's the lockdown, though, onto Faker. He's in a lot of trouble, and now they're going to knock away Owner. There's no protection for the Caitlyn. Down will go. Faker here in the front line. Peanut thinking about continuing on this one. Here comes the flash, the slow onto Kuma.
Go next, GG.
Who does have his flash, but
Go
still
next,
trying to
GG,
continue on this one.
GG,
Big
go next,
solar
go next,
flare,
next,
and now
next, next,
Meganar coming on in, but the Sterix is gone, and they're just going to give him up. Down will go Zeus. And that is another kill here. A shutdown to Smolder. And another engage comes in from Peanut. And how about another one? They're looking for Carrion as well, as he will be taken
go next
down.
for your
It is
mental.
a very long lane
Surrender.
fight, but it is 4 kills to Hama Life Esports.
And they could be looking towards
do
the
0
end.
damage, like
Faker's
literally
gonna be up
0.
in 15, but I don't know if he alone is enough wave clear. 5 members still here for Hanwha Life.
Damn, if they'd done that Baron
And it
play
looks
well,
like
it would be
game number
so
one,
it'd
everything
be so
going
different.
as expected.
Yeah, this is
It'd be
it's gonna
so
be rough. We'll
different.
see if Hama Life Esports
If
actually
Carrion
do
didn't
push
go through
toward
the fucking
end. It looks like
portal,
they're kind of backing
this would
off
be
the
so
inhibitor
different.
for now, so they'll just take the free inhibitor after that big fight and back away and take the entire jungle. They're not going to try to end just yet. It's still a bit early based off of how much they got, but you know, it's not the end of the game,
Open the
but it
YouTube
almost
stream
feels like
and,
it with how
go to
one-sided
live.
that fight was.
And it's crazy on the fact that T1
We're
on the
in the whole
Baron,
BFI
but
once? Yeah, I mean, we're
the
starting
setup's so
game
good,
for
the route that comes in from Viper, the ult to follow from the Bard, the knock away on the Sejuani, the setup is there. But then in the follow-up play, you actually see a moment where T1 see a chin opportunity. They finally have a window for Zeus to pop up for the Meganar. He gets the fully stacked bar, and then this stun ends up coming in just as he gets Mega.
Oh, that
And he
stun
gets shut
fucked
down,
him.
isn't able to do anything, and
Oh,
HLE
you're
can
right,
push
that
forward.
stun fucked him.
If he doesn't hit that, we still see everyone on Hanwha Life being quite respectful of the Meganar, right? They're all making sure they don't clump up together, so there's not too much of an
you
opportunity.
need perms?
But that is a colossal
Are there people streaming
win
it that don't have
as
permissions?
we are about to head into a must-win fight for T1, because Hanwha Life, if they can get
I
this
don't know that
soul,
LCK
it's
has a
over.
chance.
Trying to take out the light. He is going to be caught. They get him. And they use
Oh,
a lot of
good
their
shit,
CC
T1.
to take him down, but that is going to give the advantage here to T1. 5 members to 4. Now, Hama Life Esports still
Wins
have
Dragon?
their carries. They still have a front line. And they're still very far ahead, so it looks like they want to just fight
Get
for
Doran,
this one.
get Doran, get
just
Doran.
jumping on in, doesn't even care. It's a 4v4 right
the
now
fuck
as
is happening?
the TP from Zeus is
What
late,
the
and
fuck
the
is happening?
execution will come in. And look at the damage
What
right
the
now
fuck
from
is
the
happening?
side of Hama Life. They take down 2, and Zeus can't even
can't kill Viper.
a measly Jin in the backline by himself. It's a totally broken up fight, and that will
Can he?
absolutely favor Hama Life Esports. As you know, the last fight was very one-sided. This one, even more so. And it was eventually a 4v5 as owner will go down, and it should be Infernal Soul or just the game win to the side of Hama Life Esports.
Yeah, that's game.
How much you can do in this situation?
That's
Oda trying
game.
to survive as long as he can.
But we never
the rest
count
of the
game
team are
ones.
heading over to try and end the
We
game.
never count game ones. 0-1, that just
And this
fires
is gonna do
T1
it.
up for the
It's
future.
going to be the end of game 1. I mean, it's 15
That's
to 4.
blue side
It is a
diff.
very
That's,
one-sided start to this one.
storyline diff
And there's not much
for
else
Riot.
you can say. Some interesting
That's,
picks from T1, but at the end of the day, it's good old reliable
the
Smolder.
refs were
and,
biased.
The Poppy as well from Peanut to get the job done as
Yeah,
very
LeBron
dominant
always
game 1
gives the
win here
first
to the
game to
side of
feel
Hama
out the
Life
series. You gotta
Esports to
feel out
start
the
off
series.
this best of 5.
You got to get a sense
And this is a bit worrying
of
for
what they'll
T1.
push
You know, they
and
come
what
in
they'll
the game.
pull. Makes the win sweeter. All right, we can show this again. And I'm going to get a quick snack. Get a quick snack. Get a snack, and we'll fucking bring this back game 2. Yum. Yum, yum. Yum, 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 yum. Yum, yum, yum. Yum, 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 yum. Dum, dum. That game wasn't even bad for the first 24 minutes. And then it was terrible. Guma had a lot of damage dealt, too. I didn't expect that. It's just that dragon fight. It was literally Carrier going through the portal. Kate was not it. I don't think Kate was great, but I literally think if they don't fuck up that Baron and they use it to push and take towers and get ahead, and it would have been so different. Because I think the idea is if your teams are even, if they're not like already have a super fucking lead, then Kate can set up traps and they can, win dragon fights, catch someone. But if they're behind, they don't do any damage. Yeah, and then Smolder scales, for sure. For sure. Smolder is stupid. You know, counter Smolder? Fizz. A good Fizz. Why doesn't Faker bust out a Fizz? T1 lost game 1 to DK. That they did. That they did. The last series in this playoffs. T1 lost game 1, looked bad. I almost went to bed, and then they came back. So they're just the same thing. Do you reckon Riot paid Faker for the Kate plates to advertise Arcane Season 2? I don't reckon it. I know that's what happened. They said he couldn't get the money from his $500 Ari skin unless he played ball. They fucking blackballed him, dude. They put the fucking pressure on. He's going to go Vi mid next and then Jace. And we'll all know why. Was Delight using the T1 Bard skin? That's fucked up. That's fucked up. It's classless, Delight. Should be against the law to do that. Review the Korean ads. Let me hear this. This one sound? Wow. I think this is about how great this LG monitor is. Well, I can read it. It says, your raw key. Is that right? No, I'm not sure I nailed it, but Mr. Worldwide, Mr. Global. Your fluency astounds. Okay. If T1 loses this series, I'm dropping out of college. It's like me in 2012, bro. Bad idea, by the way. Don't do it. If you had to put a hard cutoff year on Faker, what would it be? Bro, why do people talk about Faker like he's not the current world champion? Talk about Faker like, oh yeah, he is good back in the day, but he's the reigning world champion right now. It's crazy. LeBron won gold, but he's almost done. LeBron is 39. Faker's like 26. 27. His wrist is fucked, though. Yeah, that's a good point. I don't think Faker has that many more years, but...
그래도 저희가 확실히
What's up, Mr. Nothingness? We're reacting to a live game in Korea.
충분히 이길 수 있다고 생각합니다.
결승전에 가보지 못한 지 오래된 것 같아서 꼭 그런 큰 무대에 올라가 보고 싶고요. 좀 재밌게 경기하고 싶습니다.
바이퍼가 무한 일이거든요. 돌아가면서 길을 막습니다. 바이퍼가 전했고요. 이렇게 무대가 붙어 있으면 괜찮아요. 주제를 안 됐는데요, 이거는. 도라리 트리플 K. 하나 생명. 이렇게 깨웁니다. 하나 생명이 손을 그리고 그래서 더블 킬 들어갔고 막아냅니다. 하이퍼가 더블 킬. 아니 하나 생명 이거 설계가요. 정신 한가운데서 멈췄습니다. 다시 전차 소리가 들립니다.
이번 연도 하나에서 팬분들의 응원을 느낄 수 있었는데 그 응원들 아깝지 않도록 쫄라온 이상 비가 없다고 생각하고 꼭 우승하겠습니다.
너무 큰 응원 많이 받은 것 같아서 다시 한번 감사드리고요. 꼭 결과도 우승이었으면 좋겠습니다.
Now what about it? This is a good casual cosplay.
지금까지 이렇게
I love Cage.
응원해주시는
But I don't know if he's enough of a T1 fanboy for me to watch this specific set.
이제 서머 끝나고 롤드컵도 남아있긴 하지만 최대한 후회 없는 경기력으로 다 같이 웃을 수 있도록 하겠습니다.
그런 패배했던 경험들이 좀 더 도움이 돼서 꼭 첫 승을 우승을 드리고 싶은 마음이 있습니다. 또 응원해 주셔서 너무
T1's let him feel good. Yeah, I feel like T1 can easily win this. T1 can easily win this. We just need game 2 to go well. If they lose game 2, I'm much less confident.
오렌지 전차는
Might go to bed.
이게 하나생명의 파괴력이네요.
Why are we rooting for T1?
갑자기 어디선가 들리는 엔진 소리.
Why root for the GOAT? Why root for greatness? Why watch one person reach the unlimited potential possible to us? Somebody achieve amazing, irresponsibly high heights. Did you buy the T1 skins? I have the T1 skins, but I only play Fizz, and it doesn't have a T1
Hello,
skin.
everyone,
So.
and welcome back to Gyeongju
This dude's
Indoor
dripped
Stadium
up.
at the
got the rock fit
Fan
on.
for the Woori Bank 2024 Summer Lower Finals. It's Digon here in the space on the road
This is like
to
the
break
Rock
down
slash
match number
Stans
1 and
fit.
all the
Stans
matches
wears this
between
too.
T1 and Hanwha Life. Not doing it alone, though, are my two partners in crime. It's Wadid and Wolf here. Guys, game number 1, although T1 went with the wild draft and threw a lot of things at Hanwha Life Esports, very much what we broke down on the
Too much
pre-show
hair?
happened. Hanwha Life Esports stayed to fundamentals and were punishing at every mistake that T1 made.
I mean, that was first time in LCK. We had the mid Caitlyn for the first time, but I don't think they used the Caitlyn that well because, I mean, you're playing Caitlyn, especially when you're playing mid Caitlyn into Smolder, you have to kind of winning lane harder than that. But I think level 1 strategy from T1 was not sharp enough, so they had a huge mistake on the Faker getting back and just reset and not in time for the first mid wave was kind of critical.
Yeah, I mean, we knew that there was a possibility the Ziggs could be flex mid. We were thinking maybe that since the Ashe was left open, they would actually play the Ziggs into the Smolder. We'd see the Ashe bottom lane, has a ton of synergy with that Sejuani priority. But ultimately, that level 1 that you mentioned, what it was so critical. Smolder was never punished in this trap. You can feel the peanut tax already here with Hanwha Life's blue side game. You've got to ban Rumble. You have to take his Maokai. You have to take his Spy.
I care about
so
melee
Smolder gets
more.
through. You try to punish it. You fail at level 1. Must be a really frustrating feeling right now for T1 after how this first game went.
Absolutely, as it feels like they cooked something up specifically for that, but you go back to fundamentals, you lose everything at level 1, and your whole plan goes out the window. Let's take a look at the highlights here as, again, one big fight here in the mid lane. You get a catch after a greedy TP by Doran, and you're thinking maybe T1 has something here. How
T1
will I
fan.
stay cool and composed and punish T1?
I mean, I think this was the first timing that actually T1 can reverse
and I got
the
into
game.
Melee.
I feel
No,
like
I've been a T1 fan
was
even
just
more than that.
a little bit chilling.
I've been a T1
and
fan since
just
like
waiting for them to make the mistake. And the
many
moment
years
when
longer, I
Keria
guess.
canceled the Poppy ulti with his E skill, I think that there was no point to getting back here.
Yeah, I mean, because Keria decides to go back in, he feels priced into actually trying to look for a pick here. But look at the zoning here from Viper as T1 try to approach. Owner is so far away. They didn't have mid prio. They're slow to come over. And then Keria decides, we're so priced into this, we cannot actually give this Drake and then give the fight or just walk away from the fight.
Check this out. Check this out. Check this out. Check this out. Look at this. Look at this. This is tweets of mine from 2013. They all have 0 likes. Faker, faker, faker. If you don't win tonight, how will you sign my face at Worlds? Faker goes huge on LeBlanc as expected, but was super entertaining by both teams. Holy God, Faker's so good. 0 likes. 0 likes. 0 likes. This is over fucking a decade ago, bro. Hashtag OGN. No, yeah, meat writing tweet applies. Was disappointed to see T1 Faker, hashtag SKT1_Faker, losing in hashtag OGN last night. So I just watched him go 11-5-11 as Kha'Zix support and KR Challenger solo just now. These are terrible. 1 like, though. So I've done been a fan, bro. Back when I played, I used to study him. I used to like watch his fucking replays, and I was always like, everyone in North America sucks. I'm going to study Faker to be the best. And, you know, surprise, surprise, a decade later, dude wins the world championship again. That's crazy. That's crazy, dude. If you can't respect that, if you can't think that's fucking so rare in the world of sport or esport, you got to give credit where it's due.
Shout out. I think that's reasonable. His Jhin was fantastic.
Remember, 9 finals appearances for Peanut. He does not get perturbed by the big stage, and he will not in game number 1.
The hat is not super glued to my head. I have
T1
it's different color every time, so it couldn't be. It's more like I have a Lego head. There's nothing under here but like a little brick, and then I just click on a different hat every day.
Best of 5 at the Gyeongju Indoor Stadium, and the fans are out in force for the side of Homolife Esports. A lot of them predicting 3-0, as some of us did here on the space, and so far it's looking very one-sided to the side of Homolife Esports. But let's see how T1 bounce back.
T1 now get to choose
Not
sides.
3-0, bro.
Always a glass half full kind of guy. Not just because I'm prized, but I'm a glass half full kind of guy. I do really think that we could have had a mildly better game if we just let the Fur Dragon go and use our Baron buff on 5 people. And we'll see if T1 are going to make that pivot.
Banner first pick Ziggs. T1 had Ziggs last time.
What's going to happen to Ziggs?
That's not where they lost, bro. They had Ziggs.
Didn't really hit the mark, and I feel like the second time you bring it out, don't know if it's going to fare any better.
As well, you know, when we talk side selection, HLE being the highest seed coming into this, they got game 1 selection on the blue side. It is kind of like breaking a serve. You know, T1 went for a bit of a risky draft with the Caitlyn mid to try.
Go Kate mid again. I say fuck it.
Essentially a serve break like in tennis. They
banned Jax?
On blue side, so
because they banned.
They can come in strong now. They do ban away the Jax.
You remember what I said in the first draft? This really just neutralizes a lot of what Zeus would like to play in the top lane, especially from a counter pick side. I think from blue side you have a little bit less of that, but still I think it's been a really successful pick for the side of Doran.
All right, they're picking Ziggs again.
Zeus in the 1v1 actually was able to, you know, get those leads.
Insta-picking Ziggs, huh?
And I think that T1 are identifying that we need
Is
to put
Ziggs that busted?
a player on Homolife further down for us to have a shot. The Ziggs
Smolder
priority
again.
not going to come as a surprise. We'll see if they go back to the Caitlyn
So
launcher
annoyed.
again. Did of course start with Nat last time around. That is obviously not ideal, but we'll have to see if Faker can bring out something else. If that is not the direction they're going to go.
9/11's towers.
This time, it's going to go over to Peanut as. Yeah, it was bad.
There's a better way to say
The
that.
Jax is already
There's
gone.
a better way to say
But
that.
still, even with how good Sayas was, I feel like picking Camille this early in the draft, even if it cuts with Ziggs, is a really big risk.
Camille.
Yeah, it means Sejuani also a really big denial because Sejuani Camille's so strong.
Yeah.
But I feel like T1 are now sort of leaving it into a composition where their goal
Tristana
will be
Faker.
to kill this Smolder. The Camille setup, the Ziggs to follow up, you have the resets on this Tristana. So anything that Viper ends up picking in this draft needs to bear in mind there's a lot of dive threat already, and that's before even locking in.
If T1 loses, this will be the worst day in September historically.
Accentuate that more.
No day in September will ever been as bad as this one.
Now is kind of the time to
Probably
get that
true.
in before we go to the next battle.
Probably
phase.
true.
Looks like that is what they're going to do.
This will be a
they
bad
try and
day.
And they go for the Xanthi instead, so, you know, 2 tanks in the jungle and top lane, I think that's risky because they're going to end up in a 2-carry composition. You're into Camille, you're into Ziggs. It's very easy for them to just pick a carry and say you're dead now.
Dude, he's going to be
one carry and a bunch of tanks
fucking
after that.
snoozer.
That can be really dangerous.
Yeah, especially when it's Smolder, and they might even, you know, dig deeper just to really,
call it
you know,
9-7,
maybe even
I
a
don't know.
third tank down in the bottom side in the support role, and then you're really just indexing into, okay, we got
Come on, T1!
really fed. And that works
I'm
in
sending
game
you my
one.
energy!
Very different scenario in that draft.
Chat, I need
and
to
in
praise.
that game.
We need to send our energy. We need to fucking
what is
hype up their team.
the draft priority going to
We
be?
need the
Obviously,
sonic
Life,
power.
They're going to be looking out to ban out some
Needs
junglers.
to
Yeah,
come
the
from
Chin should
our
come as no
minds
surprise. I think
into
Viper
their
did have a
spirit.
very
So they
clean
get that
game.
energy and
I don't
that
think
fire
Jhin has enough damage,
that they're
but I
known
feel like
for,
with
and they
how
make a
Viper
comeback
fights,
of the
still showed
ages.
The value does have a lot of safety.
Yeah, with the
away
spirit bombing.
some of those safe lanes into the Ziggs should be a big win for T1.
Also, just a pick that can operate so far away that you can sit behind a tower.
Aurora
and
ban,
still
I
be
think she's
impactful
too
in a
new,
teamfight, which
or
is
there's like a
definitely not
patch
ideal
problem.
if you're playing a dive composition.
She's
for
like,
this.
this is too recent, so they don't put
So they
her
go
in
for another
the.
ban if they go towards the 80 carry roll again, or maybe looking towards support.
Has Big A met
Something like
Faker?
Alistair, a
Yeah,
really
I've
solid
met Faker.
defensive pick that can
We
kind of
were in the
headbutt away
same
Camille.
room at an
Could be
underground.
a
This is
decent
a
idea
real
for a
story.
ban away
Underground
from,
T1 party in LA
For the
before
rel, I mean,
Worlds,
that has been something
and
that
we
the Light has
locked
been thinking,
eyes
but
from across the
instead
room.
it's just to lead.
Okay, so we're
giving
friends.
Some thought into the Smolder that could potentially even
We're
go to the bottom
friends. Did we
side.
speak? No.
This is the realm.
Was he within 15 feet of me?
Another
No.
option. I think it's something that the Light has gone back into many a time.
But
just to
there was a
bolster the
connection
engage
there
and
that
provide follow-up after Sejuani throws it home.
Imagine Carrier, if this gets locked in, is going to go towards the Alistair. And then the question becomes, what do they want to go in the jungle? And
we
as mentioned,
breathe
there
the
is still
same
fight
air
potential
generally.
of the Smolder.
There was an understanding
The
between
Talia
goats. Yeah,
ban,
it was
but
like a subtle head
Smolder,
nod.
80 carry, I think we've seen like
That just
played
said,
once,
"Hey,
I think, a while
I
back,
get it."
and it just didn't really feel like it had the same impact. That's a no-brainer.
He
What
was
is
the one
Owner
like on all the
going
tweets.
to bring here? That is even more dive, but that champion has not been doing too hot in the LCK recently. Zyra is still open, but
You hit him
Zyra
with
a
that
dive
nod like
composition
Alfred and
doesn't feel that
Batman.
good.
It doesn't fit, and I think you're all in already. At this point of the draft, you
What
know
the
you're
fuck
coming
is
to
this
do
draft?
on Life Esports.
If you pick Nidalee, I don't get it.
So doesn't
What
fit
the
as well
fuck is this
into the
draft?
dive, but obviously can establish a lot of pressure now. HLE, they're gonna go for this.
This
play
is
in the
so
bot lane,
stupid.
and they're gonna try and pick a really strong mid jungle 2v2.
This is such a
with
weird
the Yone
runaway,
Sejuani, and it being
pokey-
Yone as well. If they find an advantage in the mid bleeds in a jungle, maybe they can defang this Nidalee.
And there is exactly one team where you can see Nidalee Tristana and go,
What
oh,
the
they're
fuck
winning
is
the
this
mid-jungle
draft?
2v2.
Me if
That
I
team
was
is winning in
18 during the
finals.
Vietnam
For any
War.
other team,
+2.
That doesn't feel that strong.
+2.
Even though in theory it makes sense, you get Prio, you play from there. Tristana's Prio have been substantially nerfed. Faker has not looked great on Tristana mid, really throughout the entirety of the year. And then Zeka not only gets his comfort
I
pick,
believe.
but also alongside
They know more than me.
Peanut on Sejuani.
They know more than
which
me.
Really
I
enables
believe.
that 2v2. So we're going to have to see if T1 can
T1,
deal with all these
T1.
things and get to a mid game where obviously they are going to be strong once everyone can sync up.
I will say I feel for Viper though, you were kind of like, okay, me and Zeka are playing 80 carries, they have to dive one of us, the other can survive. Zeka's
It feels
"No,
like
I'm
a
playing
bad
Yone,
draft.
They're diving you. good
Like the
luck."
individual lanes aren't
Enjoy.
necessarily bad, but as a whole,
Yeah,
the comp looks like it
that's
doesn't
kinda
win
the way
team
it's gonna
fights.
Go, and we'll see how Viper can handle that. This is getting pretty interesting.
They gotta win
already.
lane phase?
I feel like
Yeah.
in this matchup against
Yeah, they
Double Lane
do.
Esports, you have to figure out a way.
But maybe they
to
think
defeat
if they're
one of
ahead out of
Peanut's
lane, they'll just win.
best jungle picks, and
Which is
they
not
leave the
that
Sejuani
crazy.
Open, he picks it immediately. We'll see
Not
if
that
T1
crazy.
can figure it out. Otherwise, they might be in a bit of a rut.
Damn, this team looks so much better.
This
comp look, I mean, HLE's comp looks so much better. It's like a classically good comp. All right. Ha나, 둘, 셋. SKT1 fighting!
Here we go, game number 2 already beginning, as so are the emotes and a bit of dancing from the light.
Some bodyguarding there from Carrier, making sure
Beat it up.
he
Let's
doesn't
go,
have any
baby.
issues in the early game.
Let's
I do
go.
feel like, I mean, it's typical
Game
with
2,
the
baby.
Nidalee,
T1,
but this
T1.
game might feel really snowbally, as
Ha나,
Nidalee often
둘,
does, but
셋.
also the 2-carry composition for HLE. If Zeka or Viper fall behind, this comp might really struggle to ever get in the air. I mean, Viper will always eventually be relevant on the Smolder, but Zeka kind of needs to be the driving force to damage in a lot of these mid-game setups, so really looking to see how he handles the lane. Obviously, it's kind of hard to lose lane on Yone currently with how you go Doran Shield, second wind, fleet footwork, absorb life, and just kind of
T1 more
sustain
like
through
T1.
everything. But, you know, he is
Wanna
someone
speed
with
up
a lot of
18.
experience on this pick, and we have high expectations for him.
It also really transforms the comp, which was originally looking like just a teamfight comp 2 carry, right? Where as long as Viper gets a node off, if you are in the
start
early
from
mid
Guma.
game, like the damage you're going to have is enough. Even in the late game, looking at the T1 comp, that's a whole lot of squishies. So I do think, as you mentioned, it's essential
start
that
from Guma.
neither Zeka nor Viper falls too far
Kuma
behind.
and Carrier are amazing if
but
they get
the
going.
amount
I still
of
believe.
CC and wombo combat that's available for Humble Life is going to be quite scary, given that in the last game they were so good about consistently finding these
Order on
fights.
Nidalee, but
One
what are you
upside
gonna
for
do?
T1, as mentioned, the reason why Nidalee came up in the first place way back during MSI was because her matchup into
Wait, there's lane
Sejuani, when
swapping?
it comes to the 1v1, is absolutely not fun for Sejuani. Peanut is, of course, I'd argue, our best jungler at playing into pressure, playing from behind, but Owner should be able to substantially outpace, and this time around set up for
do you not like
objectives
Owner
a lot
Nidalee?
better.
I feel like also
I just
as
like
well,
a jungler
a
like
lot of
Sejuani or
skirmishing
Poppy.
is around the burst from
Someone with a
her
little bit of
passive
a
and her
tank.
stun. Into a Nidalee who has that extra sustain from the heal, it can really bait you into fights and end up backfiring. Now we see Owner already moving in to challenge
Chris is
Peanut.
GG. He's 5'7".
Peanut
It's
will
not
just
the end
blast
of the
Kona
world.
away, which funnily enough procs Aftershock, but
That's a big deal, though.
yeah, he's being forced off.
Meanwhile, we got another skirmish here in mid. Zeka not doing the best, actually, at dealing with the harass under the turret. Can be rough, I mean, playing melee into range. But yeah, trying to get aggressive is Owner. We saw that, well, Viper, pretty good at this pick. A
happening?
perfect
Oh.
KDA, as now we have an engage down on the bottom side
That
here.
didn't work?
Thinking about getting in onto the Alistair, but nothing much is going to happen. Still the pressure from
Nice
the side
try,
of Owner, and T1
dipshit.
is mounting.
Actually, a really
Nice
big
try.
interrupt there from
Damn, they
Carrier.
are
If
winning
that
the
crash down
lanes.
goes
They are,
through,
like, putting pressure
might not
on.
have an angle as Owner.
Fight goes to
Did he steal
Owner.
this?
He does have that burst. Ingles Carrier gets the flash away. And a bit of damage done to Owner, but he can heal that up on the Nidalee. So I
was
feel
well
like this
played.
aggression at the end of the day is working as we
Oh,
have
they're pausing.
a little
Oh, they
pause.
started losing the game, so they
I'm kinda
paused.
seeing some issues
Classic
though right now
HLE,
with
dude.
HLE, because
Classic.
even
Oh,
though,
game didn't
you
go
know,
our way.
Zeka's competent
Dude, this
on
happened
the Yone,
fucking,
he's been having, obviously Tristana being a range champion. is
Did you
gonna
guys
have
see
that early
Hans
pressure.
Niemann versus
Bot
Magnus
lane,
from
T1
yesterday?
have an Alistair, and despite that,
Magnus
still
Carlsen,
have the early
they were playing like
pressure.
low time
And
on
when
the
you don't
blitz
have
game.
pressure lanes and you're
Magnus
playing
Carlsen
Sejuani and Nidalee, that
misclicked,
is
so he
when it
said
feels
resign,
the
GG, go
worst.
next.
If you know, if you
And
have a
then
side of the map you can lean
Hans
towards,
Niemann
have
misclicked
support,
the next
great.
game and
But you
paused the
saw
game,
there,
fucking
Pino was
brought
just
over the
hiding in
fucking
brush, and he's being
judges,
challenged
said
by
we
the
have to
enemy
do a
team,
restart
and
of the
his
whole
lanes
thing,
can't really do anything
bitched
to
about
help
it for
him out,
fucking
to bail
30
him out,
minutes, paused the
and it just feels
broadcast,
worse and
then
worse.
got his way, got a
Yeah,
reset, was still
it can be
complaining,
pretty
still
rough,
whining.
and I do
Shit was
like that
crazy.
T1 are getting in there, they're putting on that pressure, and we'll see if that can continue for them as we have oranges on unicycles juggling pins and stuff. So there's the T1 circus and then there's the orange circus. This must be some new kind of meme that I'm not clued in on, but I'm seeing a lot
It's
of
also
circus
annoying. This is such a
in some of
cooler.
these fan
Like
signs.
T1 was
some nice
playing
drawings
hyper
as
aggressive
well.
early game, putting pressure on.
Tons of fans have come
you know,
down
making
here
them
to
have
the
to
Atrioc
think.
Stadium,
And now they get fucking
to
5
watch
minutes
lower
to
finals
just
so far.
pause
It
and
has been
reflect
really
and
fun.
cool
I feel like all
down.
the
And
action from game 1 was really fun to watch. It was a bit messy, but you know, can be sometimes in the beginning of a best of 5, as we do have the reported peripheral
pausing should make them lose his thought.
Delight,
I think
and
if
it
you
should be
pause in
solved
League of Legends
very soon
against Faker,
Yep,
he should be
I'll
able to
get
go
us
over there
started
and give you
quickly.
one nut tap.
Obviously,
Just
going
one, like,
to a
right to the
different
nuts.
venue sometimes.
And then you have
has
to
its
play through that.
issues.
If you can do
on
that,
the other
that's
side
fine.
of Korea,
But I
actually.
think he
So
should
you know,
get
brought his peripherals with him. Maybe one of them a little bit faulty, but obviously they have spares and stuff for that. But we'll see. As you said, first game was a little bit scrappy, a little bit messy, but
we're in.
Going into this one, we've already seen the early action. We've already seen Ona trying to take pressure bot, and now looking for Zeka.
Yeah, Zeka almost looked like he wanted to go for the kill there, but not going to overcommit. Still has his flash.
I do want to highlight as well, Zeka has already burned TP. So the early lane played out
Oh,
in a way
Zeka
where
did burn TP.
Faker still has his TP, is going to be able to now base and then TP back in. And Zeka has not been able to get the best trades, trying to get this wave shoved in as soon as possible. And then hopefully
played,
back
Faker.
before Faker can do the
Up
same.
5
but
CS.
all ties into that larger picture of T1, which, again, I think for the reference, they do need to start generating this pressure as early as possible and really push it as far as they can. Get as many objectives as possible.
Oh, and he's holding the wave.
Peanut going for some circumventory pathing.
Wait, well played by Faker.
Bot lane back, going to get some Krugs for his efforts.
Well played by Faker.
I mean, the thing is, they have such
Are
a
they
good
winning?
comp to do. Obviously,
No,
we know
not
about
yet,
the pace
but
and
good
the
start.
but they have the Bunker Buster duo with the Tristana Ziggs. Ziggs winning lane early on can be so suffocating. If he gets any free time, if Viper, who's already used his TP, by the way, ends up making a bad recall.
Yeah, it's, I mean, it's a good start from T1.
So quickly, and as soon as you free the Ziggs
the game
from
plan
bot
is
lane,
working thus far.
you're going to lose 3
we'll
outers,
see.
you're going to lose all those plates, you're cooked.
Yeah. It's kind of funny that, 2 games in a row, Hololive Esports, even from the blue side, they say, okay, T1, you want to play Ziggs? That's fine. We don't really care. We're going to prioritize Smolder over that, or we're just not going to ban it from the red side as well.
The only thing that would suck is if Faker lost
we
this
ban
lane
other
somehow.
Things. We want to take the Azir Rumble Lily.
If Zeka just 1v1s him or something, I'm going to cry.
We've seen the power of the Ziggs. Has
Because
a very
every
large
lane's
win
actually
rate.
doing really
It was
well.
10-2 in playoffs so far. I guess now it's
We
10-3
just need
after game
Faker
1.
to not lose mid.
But,
He keeps getting hit by
Hololive
towers.
Esports showing some confidence playing into the Ziggs.
Also want to highlight, again, Chemtech Drake first. Which,
nice job.
Setting up for hopefully another Drake, maybe Hextech this time around. Wouldn't be opposed to that. Level 6 being hit now across the board. And we do see Peanut hovering towards that top side. Already gets a lot harder. Say this is the lane in a
I'm
good
stressed.
spot, so I don't think that gang ever was going to amount to too much.
I feel like Faker's going to
Post
die
6
1v1. I just get
trying to
this
take down a
feeling
Camille between hookshot.
that he's going to die
The
1v1
ultimate
to this
is
aggressive
very tough.
Yone.
Grubs should be on the menu here because getting as many grubs as
you been to
possible
any Worlds
with
event?
your
I've been to
team with Tristana
many
and
Worlds
Ziggs,
events.
that's really a classic. And I think Hololive also make the correct goal
I was
not
there
to
in
try and contest this
2013,
given
I was there
the
in 20
experience disadvantage they're looking
14,
at.
15, and
as
16.
The TP is going to come through
I was
here.
there basically
That's
every year I
Zeus.
worked at Twitch.
And I think that's fine. You're not going to get Dove as a Camille. Smolder doesn't have the damage yet. But you
Which
sort of
ones are you
lean into
playing?
territory
All
of
four.
cross-map. Ziggs always wins cross-map
He
scenarios.
was a championship
Jason
mid laner.
with
I won 4
turrets,
world
so
championships in a row.
This is not a setup I think Hololive Esports wants to go into. And T1 really are setting the pace of this game so far. Even though obviously goal's still very close, it feels like HLE are kind of just doing
going
what they
to
can on
Korea
their
in the
side. Now, they
fall
are trying to
25
lean towards
semester. Do you have
this.
any
If they
tips?
bring 4 members,
My tip is
that's
not
when
to
it becomes
drink
diveable,
21
and it's
shots on
kinda
your
how Zeus
21st
rolled,
birthday.
though.
They have 3.
Zeus,
There's the
you're
stun
dead.
already.
Zeus,
Zeus
you're
finally
dead.
going to get
Wait,
that
unless-
ult off, and Delight does tank out the turret. That's another turret.
Oh my God,
going
Zeus,
into
you're such a
Viper,
god.
choking him at half.
Zeus, you're such a
Zeus
god.
will survive against 3.
If he
Can
lives?
he survive against 4?
No.
The other question is the stun comes in, lines
he
it
died,
up for
but
Zeka,
still.
and finally they're able to take
Damn,
out Zeus in the bottom
I mean,
lane.
they have
First
to get a
blood
lot
on
after that,
Esports.
right?
That's still a big
He at
investment,
least
though,
made
and
that
Faker
worthwhile.
is going to be able to get a big shove
It was
going.
a massive
You'll see
investment.
Diving at Cassante is always very, very tough.
Oh, diving
Endure and
Cassante
defend
is
here.
so tough.
Yeah, he's pretty tanky, but there's the Unstoppable taken away, and Caria thinking about going
Poke
on
him
in.
down.
He's not level 6 himself just yet, but the stun comes in, and the Ziggs bomb, the all-out, goes in on Taguma as he survives for quite a long period of time. Owner nearly dies,
Thank God,
but
thank God. That was
it is a successful
a little
dive at the
sloppy,
end of
but they
the
got it
day.
done.
The difference is HLE had to bring
Owner
their
did
mid
miss the
laner
spear, by
in
the
to
way.
make the dive work. T1 do it with 3. You can see the damage done to the mid tier 1. So yes, even in terms
Yeah, it
of
was
the top
good for
laners going
turrets.
down, but T1
I think that's T1 favored.
Also, still have the
It's
teleport
'cause
available
Zeus
for
played it
Guma.
so
I
well.
think T1 is a little bit more
I wish he had
flexible.
not died. If he had
do we
not
wanna
died, it would have been amazing.
Get the Ziggs back,
But
as he now is going to go for that back, or are we going to have him back towards the bot lane?
Yeah,
Can
they
choose
did
to
very
invest.
well against
I wouldn't
Cassandra
mind
with
it. I think playing towards the Dragon as well could be quite solid here. Still 2 minutes
The reason
before
I can't show the game on
grubs
stream is because
are
I don't
up.
have Riot co-streaming rights.
I understand it with it being a Chemtech Dragon. You're like, oh, it's probably going to be a good soul. We should play towards bot, play
Some
towards
dodge.
the Dragon. We're setting the pace of the game. But also that top tower being low, I mean, they have time. But they definitely want to try and get the Ziggs back up there again because it's so close to him just being able to satchel it.
This is a
and
good
really push
start.
the pace of this game forward.
I'm really
I'm
glad
impressed.
that there isn't an
They
actual
just need
Ziggs
to hold it
passive yet that
together.
says please take turrets. But we have you to remind us.
Problem is they don't scale as well.
Everything,
So.
because
Mike's taking
no,
turrets.
I know.
He
It's
does,
so
yeah.
fun.
It is very obvious. It's built into his kit. Sometimes we don't always see the teams really prioritizing that, but
I think
in this case,
sometimes
they
when a
should.
tower's low, it should blink and like an arrow should point towards it with a Ziggs and say, "Hey, there's a low tower. You should satchel it."
And then when you take it down, you get like a thumbs up emote. Nothing else. That's enough.
Good job. The little Ziggs thumbs up, the
Yeah,
little thumbs
yeah.
up. Yeah, beautiful.
He has his own emote. I mean, it was built for a reason, right? Like, they
Favorite player besides Faker?
They should utilize that. And now we're getting the moment in the game.
Nathan
where
One
Guma
Night
is
Stand stands.
Scared and bot, but
is my
as
second
we know,
favorite player.
It's just a 1v1.
He
Ziggs versus Smolder.
has the heart of a
trade that
warrior.
Life Esports has opted into twice now. But T1 this time around from the blue side, looking
My
to
third
have
favorite
a
player
much
is
stronger
a tie.
earlier game in this game number 2. So hoping that this one can be
between
a bit
every other
closer
member of
compared
T1.
to game 1.
Because again, I
My
do
fourth
think that
favorite player
this
is
is
a
a
tie
situation
between
that
everybody else on
T1
Earth, who I hate equally.
should be in and
They're
also
all
needs
bottom.
to be in for the composition to really work as the Dragon needs to get started. Again, I do think the grubs are a lot more important than specifically the first Dragon. But T1 still looking to contest. Last time, Zeka single-handedly stopped them. This time, T1 going to bring a couple more people into the fray.
Yeah, definitely a
Okay,
different
big
look
fight.
this time around. Carrier
Haven't
still
seen
level
one
5.
single
Kinda
spear
awkward
landed from
for him.
owner.
He wants to get
Not
that
one
engage
single
going.
spear this whole
Level 6
game.
himself looking for the Magnet Storm
he got one.
angle. See if he can hit it. As some Ziggs poke does
good
come in,
poke.
but they will commit to this
Good
one. There's
poke.
the big bomb
Good
onto
poke.
the back line.
What
And
happens
they're
now?
gonna go forward. This fight comes in from Peanut. They get
They
the
didn't steal.
Chemtech Drake.
Peanut playing so good this
Drake
series.
is up next, and Live Esports say, nope,
But
we're
the-
done with this fight. We got the Drake, and we are out.
I think they should just give up.
whatever.
Now, if you want to move towards mid, you could actually potentially take
Not a
the
big deal.
tower. There's no
Not
one
a
there
big
to
deal.
defend it, and it's Ziggs.
They could take the tower, you know?
So who cares about the Dragon? They are going to put the TP in. Maybe the minion wave is a bit too small.
They got another one. And, I mean, they have 3 grubs already. This might just go down.
Demolish as well.
If nobody comes in and stops this.
Look at Delight. He's on his way, but I don't think he's going to be in time.
I mean, maybe his threat will be enough to push them off. They do back away. Meanwhile, Owner's getting more
backed
grubs
away.
on the map, so he should be able to get some.
And the thing is, whether or not they take the tower isn't the most relevant thing.
They're diving
When you
bot.
get it that low,
They're diving
it's
bot.
satchel away, right? An
Faker,
automatic satchel from the Ziggs
careful.
will take it, and now for the rest of the game, HLE has to play super defense on the mid tier 1, or it will just go down.
Do want to give credit to HLE for
that's good.
getting an early game Dragon,
Nice grabs.
deflecting an attempted engage from T1, and also making sure that they still getting these side lane plates, right? T1, yes, the grubs are big, but they're not really able to build a giant lead when
What's
it
the
comes
fuck's
to
happening there?
the goal. As Guma ends up having the
Go back,
flash.
Guma.
Zeka found him with the ultimate.
Yeah, I mean, in a 1v1
Zek is very
situation,
scary.
if you mess up the satchel,
Zek is very,
Yone
very
will just
scary.
eat you for breakfast. So you got to be
Oh,
careful
yeah.
about that
But
1v1.
T1 up
Yeah,
a grand.
so ends up having to bin the flash there. Does have TP to go back towards mid, and I think a big thing was
I
Kerry
think
had
this
gone
Camille
bot
will be
to protect
scary.
Faker, and therefore wasn't in the mid lane to cover his AD carry.
T1 players
I
should
guess
start
AD carry in
speaking
this
Chinese.
situation.
Peanut will
Guma
choke
also
thinking he's
going
at
the
Worlds.
Archangel's rush, which I guess if you're concerned
That'll
about
work
like,
against
Sandy,
Chovy.
Yone,
That'll work
that makes
against,
sense.
Gen G
Definitely should
next
go
week.
Leandri second with how bulky HLE is, and then we'll just be able to shred through them. So we're now at about 12 minutes. We have 2 minutes left. Mid tower and top tower both low, and I think T1 really need to set up and ideally get both of those towers. You know, I'm reminding everyone, Ziggs likes to take towers. In case you didn't know.
Ox is the blinking arrow that is leading to the turrets. You know, we joke, but it's really important as now. Ooh, nice hook shot to get away from that one. Doran quite able to line it up, but Zayas was in more danger than perhaps he realized, but he's able to dodge his way out of that.
If he gets the knockback and he's able to position himself, drags him over the wall, you're just at best you're going to be able to flash out of it. Most likely, it's going to end up going down with the amount of CC that's available.
Well
between
played,
those two.
Zeus.
So
He's playing good this series.
Zay is there to survive.
Definitely the loss is not Zeus' fault.
Reiterate, right now, Humble Life about 1k gold behind. Next Dragon going to be big. And when are these turrets going to start falling? Not just because we want to see Ziggs happy, we want to see Ox happy.
Why is Korea so good at
also
League?
because, again,
Korea
T1,
is really, really good and deep esports
style of dive
infrastructure.
composition.
Guys, look really now.
They have coaches and teams and players carrying over from the early days of StarCraft. Where they had 3 TV channels dedicated to StarCraft.
He's gonna get it.
And they had team houses and coaches and rigorous structure.
The first turret blood going over to the Ziggs team. That's ahead. Makes sense.
It's also,
For Ziggs
Japan's a bad example because they
as
don't even
well.
play League in
It's pretty
Japan.
good.
I don't think
The reason Korea can compete
I
and
know he loves turrets, but this
usually
might be a
beat
bit of a
China,
stretch,
There's
so-
a second one in mid.
despite having a
What
much
about
bigger
the
population,
mid one, yeah.
Yeah.
is
Mid
that
one I
Korea
think
has
he
like
can go
elite
for.
level esports training.
Maybe now.
Well, they don't have a lot of time left. They want to get the blades.
They're going to try. I mean, Viper will absolutely respect that. He's going to flash away.
Oh yeah, he really has to.
Neil, very scary into the smolder.
That's not going to get better
I think
for
the dream's
Viper.
dead, by the way. Yeah.
They're not. It's okay, Orcs. As I was saying, I think particularly when you have a dive composition and a composition
China ain't
like
that good at League? China's great at League.
It's very, very important. You guys can see.
North America sucks at League. We haven't won a
shaking his
championship.
We're
They
both
have.
shaking our heads. It's okay. They got the one. They got the one turn.
Oh, they got it.
It's good enough.
Trying to set up dives is a lot easier when you have map control. Getting
Right,
map control is
China, I
easier
don't
when
think
there's
is
no
as good as- I
mid-lane
think Korea
turret.
is the
So
best
for
region.
T1, very important that they do end up getting that one eventually. I think the Herald should be heavily contested here. Unless Home Alive want to
See
set
the rumor
up a
that Linkin
trade.
Park's making the world songs?
There are a lot of
I
good
think it's,
dragons available though, so maybe you don't want
more than a
T1 to
rumor.
fully stack them.
I think it's happening.
To see what happens as both Dragon and Herald are going to be up in about 45. Herald already live, but no moves
See what
made
had on
to
gold?
take that
They
just
are.
yet.
I mean, they should be with their
Peanut
comp.
just backing in front
looks
of
like they're playing
T1,
quite
who
well.
will stop that.
That's a locket.
It would be a lot better if they had a
Peanut
dragon.
is
but
one of our junglers. I think this is the first one that was always just like, nope, Locket's the jungle item now, and I build it every single game.
Yeah, because a lot of people moved to on Maokai, but on Sejuani, they were still going Zeke. He was the first to say, no, it's actually really good on every time.
I think it was Pioshik. Actually, that went it first.
He might have got it first,
Which
but he's been the main believer.
Yeah, no, I know. I just, it's just, it feels to me like such a no, this item is better. I'm just gonna build it every time. As right now, we do see T1 setting up shop around this dragon. Gonna be hard to
Feels
approach
weird that
these
Linkin
choke
Park's still
points with
making
the
music.
traps, with the vision
I think it's
denial,
weird.
and with the Ziggs being there.
It's very
and
sad what
both
happened with
mid
Chester, but
and bot lane being shoved in.
if the rest of
It's going
Linkin
to be a
Park
very different feel playing the
found
Ziggs
a
from
singer
behind
they like and have
versus
music
from
they want to
ahead.
make, I mean, their
think
new album
Gumo's
sounds
doing his
good. I'm
best.
excited
Both
for
get
it.
a lot of damage in game one, but now,
It's not a
as you
replacement,
mentioned,
it's like a
Chronic
new
Berry can just
evolution.
kind of set
I
up
think it's
mines,
fine.
satchels, ways to prevent entries as it's Ocean Soul
I'm excited for it.
that is coming in here for game number 2. So no Infernal, no X-Tech, and no Mountain. Those are the other options. Zeka still trying to exert some pressure here on the map, but it will be the Dragon over to T1.
And there's mid-tower god. It was
He got
low. Yeah, I mean, didn't get the plate strip, but it was low already. It was set up, so it
New
means
singer's
they can
already
really
canceled?
pressure towards spot tower
RIP.
and push the pace of the game forwards. Just the fact that they've set up mid and top, they've got those towers. Bot lane is kind of like sticking
Listen,
out.
Tom
Like
Cruise is a
thumb now, so they can
Scientologist.
lean towards that.
I fuck with
So the
Mission
pace
Impossible,
is
bro.
unfortunate. That's an Ocean Soul for T1. I feel like HLE benefit a decent amount
what
into
it
the
is.
Ziggs Nidalee poke, and they have a lot of bulky members, but I don't think it really helps T1 that much. They already have sustain from the Nidalee, so not the ideal
But she
soul
does
for
need to
them,
skydive.
but
Yeah,
I don't
I
think it really
agree.
changes their game plan regardless.
You're
It would
playing
really
in the
help my
dive.
opinion of her
I think the only
and
thing that might have a
Scientology
margin goal
if she
effect is
skydive.
eventually Smolder's going to be able to burn you. Maybe the sustain, if you do actually have the soul, can make a difference there. But that does really feel like you're bringing a water gun to a giant fire-breathing dragon. I don't really think.
I mean,
it's gonna
water's
do
good
enough.
against fire, right?
I tabbed out how to T1 win. They
yeah,
didn't. Are you
generally.
trolling me?
If you have
They
enough
didn't
of
win.
it.
Yeah.
But they're
I
winning.
don't think they will.
And it depends
This
on the type
game.
of fire as well.
Oh, yeah, true.
You don't want
Like
to throw
a-
that on an oil fire.
Yeah, that'd be dangerous.
Get yourself in a lot of trouble. Not much is
Fire
happening
oil
in this
thing?
game. There's significantly less action compared to game number 1.
Can someone tell me
even
what
though
each
there weren't
symbol
a lot of
means?
I think
Yeah,
we
I
were
can.
like 3 and 1 at
Can
this
you turn it
point.
off?
There was a lot
So
more
this symbol is
almost
glute
things happening.
points.
Yeah.
Okay?
Not so much this time
In
around.
League of Legends,
Herald
you're
is still
trying to
up,
get the
and
most
It's going to get taken
glutes.
by T1. It looks
Yeah.
So they
like.
got
It did feel like T1, even from behind, they were
27.3
kind of
glutes
like
right now. That's really
going
big.
in, going out, going
These are
in. It wasn't the
flubers.
cleanest
This
calls
right here.
or communication,
Right now they're at 0
coordination, whatever you
flubers,
want to
so,
call it, from their side from behind. But from
no-
ahead, Home Life
no
Esports,
worries there. If
they
they
haven't
can get
made
to
any
full flubbers,
oversteps.
then
You
they
know,
get a
they're
flubber
sitting
double.
back, they have a smolder,
That'll
and they
end
say,
the
well, we're behind. We don't really want to fight right
Baker's
now,
glute
so
man is really good right now.
just give you the Drake and just continue farming.
And that's the thing, it's always contextual. T1 ahead, it's about 2,000 after that tower went down, but how far ahead do you need to be when you're playing into the Smolder? You have tools to deal with him, even when he gets ahead, but we've seen Smolders even itemize things like a Zonya's later on. That item would really hamper the ability to shut him down, and we saw Viper's stacks pop up before. He's at 159 at this point. He is
This game's
quickly
pretty chill.
ramping up.
We'll also have to see how
I mean,
T1
T1
can
is-
use the fact that they have 2 side lane
T1's
threats as opposed to
pressuring
Hanwha. They
lanes.
really only have 1. Like Zeka,
They
I
have
think, is gonna be
vision
really
in the
tough to deal
jungle.
with, especially once he hits his second item, and from there on out.
I know Smolder scales, but
for
T1 scales too. Triss
both
is a scaling
Zayas
champion.
and Faker are going to shred through Doran. Like, Doran is going to have a tough time actually
And yeah,
maintaining any level
Zeus
of
is very
prio.
strong.
We do have Delight running into the Camille and not really enjoying his time, but there's a lot more resources on
They
the
trying to
way.
dive?
TPs are available.
Yeah, they're trying to get something here on the top side of the map.
What's happening
this is
here?
kind of
Zeus, what's happening?
half-hearted as now the Ziggs
Get one, Zeus. Fuck me.
That's a kill, but look at bottom lane. This is really where most
But
of the
bottom
action
lane's
is
going
happening
well.
in terms of turrets going down. They're going to take the
Damn,
mid
Zeus's
inner
life is just being
and
triple
Spindle
teamed.
back away, but
trying
utilizing
to make it
that red
happen.
trail to a nice degree.
And this is the problem. You commit so heavily to the top side of the map, and now Ziggs Tristana looking mid. I don't think you dive in
diving
after.
carrier.
Yeah, they'll just take the tower.
Meanwhile, TP's coming in. Viper doesn't exist anymore. It's not dead.
Hey, this is kind of working. This T1 idea, this comp.
He needs to back. Meanwhile, this top turret
I don't
will
know
go down.
how.
So at least
It might just break apart
T1
once
really
they
trying to
hit
exert a lot of
critical
map
mass,
pressure with
but
this comp.
Still pretty big investment
kinda
from Zeus, though, I
working.
think, underestimating the damage that he had. I'm not sure if it was the locker that ended up being the difference maker, but going for the flash Q there is a
Wow.
Carrier.
This is
Carrier.
Alistair. I mean, it's going to take a long time to kill him.
It would be a lot to
And
kill
can
him.
they actually do it? I don't really believe just yet, but
This
now
would be-
trying to bait the fight. Here comes Camille. That's a miss on the hook
They
shot.
did kill
Trying
him.
to
Jesus
predict
Christ.
The pullback, and that's not going to work.
Jesus Christ.
Zika eventually just pulls back himself. Now he's going to flash over the wall, and they get away scot-free. Even Blast Cone helping them out.
Getting the kill isn't that big of a deal, but getting the kill and getting the TPs and getting away, HLE got a lot more than they were hoping for just with a pick onto Carrier.
And it's, again, the sense of desperation that I think we had when Carrier went over that wall in game number 1. Another example here, Gumayushi also
Man, Zeka's
really is
really-
committing to killing.
If Zeka wasn't
Carry
playing so good this
specifically. They ended
game,
up going
it
for
would
the
be- I
Leandri
think
says-
T1 is actually
We take another look here.
had a great game plan. I'm a little worried.
I wonder if Zeus couldn't have, at the very least, tried to stay underneath the turret with the wave being gone as well, and knowing that the light is flash.
I think he ulted because he wanted to keep him under the tower, but also I think wanted to avoid any follow-up CC coming in. It was a great flash from Delight to
I'm
drive
kinda
him
shocked
away.
Carrier died here.
And the CC lock that came in took him out. And then here, you know, Carrier getting caught, obviously not ideal, but it's just so many misfires. Zeus completely whiffs the hook shot in this situation. Zeus caught out again.
Here we go again, and Zeka's really beginning to take over the map with the help of some of his friends. The stun comes in, and that is the combo of Yone and Sejuani, and they are just abusing those side lanes right now. As Mob will come
They
down,
are
the Smolder
abusing
wave clear it works a little bit, but it will not stop Ziggs. They take out the inner, does T1. Now Homalife Esports threatening from top river.
All in on Zeus.
It's been disastrous for
I don't wanna
T1.
lose like
They're
this.
still
They're
ahead,
playing
they're still
so good.
getting structures, but they keep losing members on the other side, and it feels so unnecessary. You know, yes, Zeus.
Yeah, I know.
They're
It does
trading
feel
for
unnecessary.
you in these situations. They are getting the dragon, but it just feels like they're giving away so much that is unnecessary, and it really starts to
They
make
could be winning
sense.
either.
You're not getting drakes that are that relevant. As you saw T1 when Zeus was getting dove or killed there by 3 people. Turret was already gone, obviously. Ocean Drake wasn't even the first thing of their mind. If that's a Hextech Drake, they're immediately making the snap call. And now, the side lane threat of Zeka being 4-0 is going to be so tough to answer.
Yeah,
And also the fact
Zeka's
that, you know, this is a
so
two-carry
scary.
composition. If the carries are behind, the game can feel completely doomed, but Viper has been solid on the stacks. He's going to be approaching 225. Zeka is monster fed.
202 right
So
now.
winnable.
Yeah, he's going to
This
have
is
it.
so
So for the next
winnable.
fight, you're going to have a online
see it.
Smolder. You're going to have Zeka on one of his best champions, super fed. The tools are there for HLE, and the gold deficit, the total team gold, is less relevant when you have picks like a Sejuani and a Cassante who are lower economy.
You know,
That's the difference between the compositions. T1, you know, you have a 0-3-0 Camille, that feels pretty bad.
It definitely does. I mean, we'll see
I
how
don't really
good
know.
his ult
We got that going
usage
for the
is later
Dragons
on in
100%
the game.
needed.
Can
Nah,
he
the Dragons
find
aren't like
Viper
that
and click
much.
the button?
Once you get
that is
4
going to be
dragons, it becomes
definitely
an
relevant,
Elder
but
Dragon,
the
and
damage
that
is
is
not
really
gonna be there. He's
important.
not going to be as tanky,
Extremely
and Viper
powerful.
farming up really well. Also,
But, the
I mean,
early
Zeka,
dragons are
his comfort pick, and you
whatever.
give
Some are
him
better
4
than others.
kills, he might just take over the game, especially when the comp has a lot of ways to get this Yone going. I do like that T1 are still trying to pressure the map. They're still trying to take out as many
Yeah, they are
side
pushing all the
turrets as
lanes.
possible. Even Viper going to call down Mom just to clear that
They're
wave.
getting wards and jungles.
And
I mean,
stay
they're
safe up there.
I'm worried about Zeka
And
here.
continue to try to
Good
delay.
luck,
But oh
careful,
no,
careful,
Guma is
careful,
totally
careful,
caught. It starts
careful.
to flash, and he will get away with the
Amazing
satchel.
flash.
But that was pretty scary for a moment.
And that's a big cooldown gone. We'll see if Home Alive want to
Yeah,
try
they
and
lost
push it
Flash,
further,
but still,
Smolder's
well
about
played.
to hit. Zeka
No
is
kill.
a complete menace. Now no Flash on the Ziggs. And
Zeka's
yes,
just the
T1's
problem.
dive is
If they can
strong.
just get
Yes,
a
their
shutdown on
lockdown is
Zeka,
solid.
bro.
But even if you blow up Viper, if you use too many resources, the fight is going to be carried by Doran, by Zeka, and there's not that much you can do. Also, Guma very close, but not quite there yet. On the death cap, want to try and get that, if it's even remotely possible, before you commit to anything
They're
big
fighting
here.
for vision very well.
Yeah. You know,
T1
you
is
were talking
playing
about
good,
the Ziggs
bro.
build. I feel like maybe he's just going
It's
full
just how
Omega
scary
Bomba
Zeka
for
is.
the back line, you know, after the Camille ult comes down onto Viper, because that's not really a tank shredding build that he's gone for.
They're up
Yeah,
2K.
they're really
Yep.
gonna. He's not gonna help out
They
that
have good
much.
vision.
I mean, Ziggs still does a decent amount of damage, but Doran has a.
They might get a
Kayn
catch in
Rukin.
the
Ziggs is not going to be a fantastic answer to the Xante in any meaningful way. So definitely looking more at Faker to cut through the frontliners.
I just wish Owner would hit some
He's going to be
fucking
about getting
spears.
his backline access.
Yeah. It's pushing top lane, not really working out. You see that Ziggs did negative damage, I guess. Doran chipped away at the Canic Recurrent Shield with just the Q. Obviously, it'll be a bit different once he gets, you know,
Zoning
4th
spears.
or 5th
Right,
item.
right.
But he's not quite
3K
there just
lead?
yet for now. So going to be looking at those items as Viper has hit the stacks here.
Mid turret's still fully
227.
healthy.
But again, not too much action
That's awesome.
outside of Humble
Good
Life
for
Esports
Faker.
finding picks in the side lane to feed Zeka.
Starting to feel concerning. A lot of things have gone wrong. The Soul being one of them, and it's about this sort of time where I expect T1 to really
Streams
start
behind.
heavily setting
Just go to the
around
YouTube stream
Baron
and go 2x
threatening
speed.
it.
It'll catch you up.
I don't think getting more Ocean Dragons is necessarily going to win you the game. So potentially, if they burn some TPs, pull HLE towards the Baron and set up a play there, that could be the win con. And we know T1 are good at that. We know that's something they've often lent into in the past.
Gonna have a good amount of damage
Yeah,
as
it
well.
is
between
wild
the
that Faker has a
Leandri,
200
Tristana.
gold shutdown
I
when
imagine
he's
they'll keep Camille on the sideline,
0-0-0.
just have her TP in if it is necessary, as the
Or
death cap
150
is
gold,
now
I'm sorry.
done for Guma.
And
so I don't
Zeka
think
has a
Viper's
150
gonna
gold shutdown with a
talk
4-0-0.
about his inventory.
Yeah.
I don't know how that works.
He knows.
That's
It's a
right.
big issue, actually, because if you're going to really index into killing Viper in one go and he just has one item that totally counters it, then your entire win comp, your entire way to
the
win the game is
spears
just
actually
gone
hurt more when
The
they
thing
hit
is, on
the
a
enemy
smaller, you have
champion.
AP ratios on your Q, you have AP ratios on your burn.
They
It's
do
not as good as
damage,
the
actually.
AD, but you've completed your core items, you've got your burn, you're doing enough. Just go defensive, and then you're
Wish I could calm
sitting
with
pretty.
him right
If
now.
Camille jumps on you and use Onya's, by the time you come out, the Camille's probably dead.
T1's winning
Starting
by
to feel
miles?
like
No, they're
the
not winning by
main
miles.
angle for T1, unless it's a great Baron
They're not
setup,
winning by miles. They
is
scale
just
less.
getting an engage onto Zeka as they try to get the Doran.
Yeah, I mean,
This is-
at least Faker's going to
this
do the
is
damage, but actually
crazy.
it's Carrion a bit of rough spot. He's going to have to flash away, and Doran holds on to his flash. So, all things considered, All Life
it's
Esports
bad
not
for
too
T1.
bothered. This is right before the Drake and maybe some pressure onto the Baron that you guys were talking about, but still a bit early, and they haven't totally pushed away Doran, and he has TP. So, not going to matter all too much just yet.
TP is going to come
Faker
in.
hurts. Faker
We'll see
does
if Humble
hurt.
Life want to contest.
He's
They
strong.
also have a good amount of Baron damage with the burn, with the Yone, so...
I mean, T1 does more damage
careful,
this time,
Delight,
so I
he
think
is
it's so
looking.
winnable.
A lot of Zeus damage as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, if they get everybody up there,
Don't-
as no hook shot just yet, and there's Zeka over the wall, and now the
Okay,
Magnet
Zeka's
Storm with
so
the hook
strong.
shot buffered to try to get away, and an ult as well, as we got a little skirmish on the right side.
Wow, well
coming
played.
in, Faker trying to flash
Wait,
on
well
it, but it
played.
will be disengaged. Zeus
This
has
is
to
good
back away. Here comes
positioning.
Owner.
There's a wave. Zeus can flank with a
This is-
TP once
get
he
some spears,
recalls.
get some
They're playing it
spears.
slow.
Hit the spears.
They definitely are. Humble Life Esports are backed
Take it
up
slow.
against the wall. We'll see if T1 can zone them
Oh,
and do
man.
some...
STP.
No
All
Zeka
right, Zeus is back.
No Delight ult.
Is
Yeah,
this
that's a
is
lot
this
gone,
a
and
fucking
Humble Life Esports
dominating
again,
win
they have
or a
nowhere to
disaster?
go as Doran trying to throw himself in there, but now Delight's got a front line, and
Delight?
he's not very tanky. Humble Life Esports are just running the opposite way as he has to flash a spear. T1 still
They
on
are
the
running
chase, but they're
into
not quite
T1's
fast enough. I mean, Humble Life Esports are just
Cut 'em down. How do they
running
catch
away
'em?
from them really fast, and T1 are
That's
not going to
crazy.
find the engage.
And I think T1 honestly fumbled this. Delight.
That's crazy.
down,
They
gets
just
the shield
ran
with this
away, bro.
T1, they
They gotta
had
start.
Zeus
Baron?
on a flank TP,
Imagine.
and they all moved to his side, so he wasn't isolated. But as a result, HLE just ran down and got out, and now they're all looking towards the Baron, but
They
Peanut's
know.
full HP, he's
They
there.
have no CC.
They know. TPs are available as well, although Delight isn't there just yet. Zeka doesn't have his ultimate. Maybe this is the window.
It's 27 minutes in. That's a bit of damage
This
from
is
Mom, but
crazy.
yeah,
This
Peanut
is
is
crazy.
in the pit. They have
Peanut
now
will
found
smite,
a way to zone him away.
Oh,
And now
no,
we have the
this was
TP
bad.
coming on in. The all-out onto Carrier, and Peanut
Wait.
will not be denied
Oh, Peanut's gonna
access,
steal
as
it.
is just a
He's gonna
fucking
steal it!
all
Oh,
over
thank
the
God!
Health bars are so low on the side of T1. Owner is just running
T1
away.
just get out.
Faker's running
T1
away.
just get out.
Zeus is isolated.
T1
Carrier
just get out.
can't quite walk his way out of this one. The Baron does go the way of
Is that
T1.
one for Baron?
And actually, it's only just the one kill
Oh, you're
on
gonna die.
Zeus
Don't
for
TP.
now.
Faker,
a
careful! Faker, careful!
Baron.
They did. It looks like Carrier might eventually go
one.
down.
Dude,
Go down.
Carrier, you're a genius.
And this buys time for HLE. You know, if they chase down the Alistair or just stall him out, I guess they gave up because you can recall.
Wow.
Oh!
Might just die here.
Oh!
The Kaynix
He is
keeps him
Cassante.
alive.
He's Cassante.
Okay, but the recall from
Okay.
Carrier taking the Dragon isn't to slow down the Baron of T1, but they still have the buff. That's the main thing with the Tristana Ziggs.
That's awesome.
They really
No,
need
they're
to get
playing it
mileage
really
out of it.
well.
It's not
They're
enough just
playing
to
it
get a
really
couple
well,
towers.
actually.
The base needs to be broken. You need
Cassante's
hit
busted,
power
but-
at least.
Really do, and the inhib
They got the
idea
dragons.
that
They're
you're
stealing the
looking to get
jungle.
might also mean that Humble Life is
Zeka,
gonna
please don't kill.
be a little bit slower on these places. This
Don't-
was
no,
just a
show
straight up
live.
Zeka
I don't
picks
wanna see the
right call
pre-play.
because you know the life
Show
isn't
live.
there
There's a
just
fight.
yet. Zeka going for a very short range, but look at those bombs.
Why
actually
replay
keeping
here?
Zeka out of the fight. If he got to this earlier, if he doesn't get that satchel, and that Yone's in the pit, I think T1 get wiped.
Yeah, it was super down to the wire, and I will say when you have a Nidalee
That was
against
very
Sejuani,
clutch.
you have the Q smite, it is more reliable that you're able to secure it, but it still felt close to the wire.
Did Nidalee get the
I
thing?
do
Did
think
someone
that
die? I don't
how
know.
they played around the TP from theirs before that,
Damn,
they
it's
definitely could have got a lot more
0-4-0
there, but T1,
Zeus.
They got the Baron, they have 3 dragons.
But I
now
don't
they're
even
trying to make
blame
that
him. He's
push happen.
beginning.
This, Tier 2 tower is already low, it won't take
They
much
got
to
blue.
finish it
Nice.
off, and HLE bringing all 5 members
Now he
in
gets to
try
throw
and defend
double the
here.
spears.
Want to highlight as well, Zeka going
That
for
miss.
IE, not the jack shows that we so often see, but going full damage, identifying that he does indeed need to put out some numbers as the siege for T1 gonna be big. They need to accelerate that goal
Dude,
lead here.
that spear
Yeah,
actually
Kyle,
doesn't hurt
these are really
Cassante.
throwing the kitchen
That's
sink
crazy.
into these waves. I mean, even Mom going to be called down once again, and T1 are not going to overstay and try to take out the turret, but you know, they get the Baron. They have a tiny Red Bull Baron power play, but they really want to get more on the map.
Yeah, and
What's happening
unfortunately,
there? The light.
I mean, it's just so hard to approach. You have
Careful,
the smolder
careful,
firing
careful,
these Qs
careful.
out,
Owner, careful.
denying the waves, and look at how HLE are positioned. They are actually confident to look for a fight if the opportunity arises.
Yeah, HLE Esports. Well, that Ziggs bomb didn't do much. And
This
you know,
poke is
get
going
some shields to get the
well.
lock
They're
in.
just backing up. They're
Excellent
poking
value
and backing
for the
up.
Ziggs, by the way, so
It's hard to get a hard
just gonna
engage.
eat that Inferno Bomb, and
Zeus can lose to Zeka,
this
please don't
Baron play
fight.
is not really doing much at the end of the day. It is about 1,200 gold in the power play. And now they're looking for
Careful.
Honor. Oh, he's
Careful!
caught out. And there's
I
nowhere
knew
for
it.
to go. They
So
can carry
fucking
as well.
greedy.
In the Magnet Storm. This is just kind of hanging out at the end of the Baron push, and that will be a double kill now for Viper.
Great pick found. You know, Nidalee has, Ona has Zhonya's, didn't find a window to get it off. He'll go down. The Baron push is ended, and HLE feeling far better about the
That
state of
was
the
so
game. I will
greedy.
say, I
Why
feel
you gotta
like
be that
Zeus
close so
not
you can
having the
toss a
Baron
spear?
really hurt their ability to make things happen with that. He was the one split for the team and just didn't get anything done. And now, I mean, look at the map state. It hasn't changed. But now
Run,
HLE
Gimma,
might
run,
get
Gimma, run, Gimma,
this
run,
tier 1
Gimma.
tower. So the outcome of the Baron is just positive for HLE.
Want to highlight as well, not only does he not have the Baron, did Zeus, but he's also, again, behind on itemization onto Zeka. Zeka's basically a full Infinity Edge ahead. So, even though Camille generates skills well in the Yone, it's always going to be dicey
this
in
was
this
crazy.
scenario, especially
Damn,
Peanut
bro.
showing again, this man on Sejuani, doesn't matter what the early game state is, 100% goal
Peanut's been
participation
playing
as well.
good.
Carrier
Fuck.
really feels like you get a little bonus, you know, when they get it. The Baron Barrel play was already at its end, and it doesn't end up working out. And T1 still sitting on a small gold lead. Maybe they can get Soul. But
They
again,
got a goal lead.
this is
It's
Hextech.
super
if you have
winnable.
Ziggs Tristana with Hextech Soul, that alone can be enough to make your siege so much more lethal. Just isn't the case.
True,
so
true,
those
true.
picks onto Zeka and Viper are still
just
going to be
that
the main wing
Smolder
cons. I
and
imagine
fucking
Zeka's going to
double
like
carries
the
are
GA
all the
next,
gold.
and Viper's still sitting on that arm guard.
The fact he hasn't had to use the arm guard, and I can't even remember the last time I saw Viper flash. He just hasn't been pressured. And this composition from T1, you know, I talked about it coming out of draft, how Zeka didn't match up with Viper, both playing 80 carries. It meant Viper was going to be targeted. Well, apparently not. He's kind of just been sitting pretty, and he is incredibly strong at this point. With the rapid fire
he's
as well,
really fed.
you know, he's just able, if he lands one big Q on the right target, the impact is done, you know, gets the ult as well. He doesn't have to get up close and personal, but 348 stacks, this is a major issue for T1.
Yeah, and you know, you're talking
Stupid
about
champ.
stuff that Viper has used. I feel like we haven't really seen a coordinated fight from T1 where they really target in onto the Smolder. And here comes Smolder. Viper just flapping over the wall, and there's that poke damage coming in. Lockett going to help against that, but now Peanut's in a bit of trouble. He's got to flash away. TP going to be forced from both of them. Zeka going to hold on to his, though, and he will not be TPing into this fight. As I say that, he TPs into the fight. As now, trying to get on top of a Camille, that's not going to work out. Zeka not going to hit. And he engaged,
watch
but
out for
actually
Zeka.
Doran is going to all-out Goomba.
What the fuck's happening?
Is going to get the peel on that backline. Doran in a bit of trouble, but so is Keria.
Why are they focusing Doran? Why are they focusing Doran?
Keria does go down. Zeka going forward, Zeus desperately trying to find the angle. Very low health bars, as in goes Zeus, but there's no follow-up as some bombs are thrown in, but Zeka finally!
Okay, Faker! Jump out!
He's gonna get out, and it's just gonna be Doran super low on HP once again, eats a spear, and Zeus looking for more as the second bomb comes in! They're gonna take down the round.
Yeah, not the spear! The spear!
These fights are insane! T1, they're gonna keep going! Can they go for the push? Soul is on the table, but without Zeka there,
Soul's up. Get Soul.
still alive. You can't
Get
go
Soul.
for
It's
it.
good.
Looks
Good
like
idea. Just
they're
get Soul.
Just gonna go for the dragon, but that fell.
Get dragon. No, it's good. That's fine.
It.
T1 navigating on the nice
No, get the
edge.
dragon,
Members
though.
going in bit by bit, finding the windows. It looked super close, but they're able to find the advantage just when
Don't let him
felt
steal
like
it. Oh, don't let him steal
Smolder
it.
was becoming
They're getting
unstoppable.
both?
They find a window, but now TP coming in. They will
No,
be
this is
challenged.
so stupid.
Faker, I'm not sure you can stay in the pit against Viper.
I mean, at the end of the day, Faker doesn't die, and it's just one Ocean Soul. T1 are taking the Baron right now. I mean, they don't really care about this Ocean. Yeah, they denied the Ocean Soul, but T1 getting the Baron at this point in the game, and they have a lead. I think we might begin to see some of those fights that actually look.
Stop pausing! Hans Niemann! Korean Hans Niemann!
Fight, we have
oh my
GMZ,
god, Korean Hans Niemann, dude, this is crazy!
On Viper. We have
this is crazy! Yeah, check Zeka's asshole for the beads, dude!
Everything got
oh
used.
my god!
And this really
sure, he can't feel the buzz.
T1 because I think they were struggling to approach
That's
this fight.
so
like, okay,
fucked.
how do we deal with Viper? Well, he's got Flash, he's got Seekers. Now
We're
there's a
talking.
bin.
Not allowed to talk.
I think
Stop talking.
it becomes a lot more realistic that they can force a fight on their terms. If anyone oversteps and they get Camille ulted, it's going to be hard for them to...
Bro,
the team
this is
becomes
an
squad. It's
ice
gonna be hard for them to
man.
flash out
This
after
is such
Camille
an
goes
ice.
down. So I think T1, they're going to have the Baron. They really need to make sure they get things done with this one.
I hope we
Why are they paused?
the fight as well, because there were a lot of individual moments.
They complain. They say that my mouse doesn't work or whatever, and they get a pause.
I think a very lackluster game.
So
called out repeatedly.
This is a yes.
What, is a fucking bathroom
the
break from
legendary
Keria?
toilet issue. It has returned. Keria says, "Okay, I'm very nervous. It's getting to me. I need to run to the toilet, so we'll take a little."
Oh my god, is it actually?
short
Wait, is it Keria's pause?
and,
That's so
he'll
funny.
be back, and we'll finish the game.
I'm blaming HLE and fucking
Hectic fights like that as
Keria
well,
has
when
to
you really
pee.
Go, you can definitely test it. So credit to Keria for holding on.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Oh,
You know what?
at the
Good call.
end of the day, as mentioned,
Hey, good call. You know what? Let the man pee.
maybe ideally, I just want to see.
Honestly,
a replay
I'm
of
all
that.
about pausing. I've always been saying pauses are good. In my mind, you should be allowed to pause.
Got him.
Especially after that shot, I think that's justified. I think that's warranted after what happened. But also
He's putting
Faker
the
going in
beads
and
in.
actually getting that reset, they're getting turned on, but being able to jump out nonetheless.
Faker was
bomb
pissed
from
at him. He said,
Guma,
"Go
the
put the
fact
beads
that
in, dude."
Viper did live throughout all because I think if Viper dies there, I think T1 tries to look for the end because Zeka was already gone.
Why don't
and
they
that's
have
their two
desk
big
bottles
damage
that they're pro
dealers.
gamers?
also, like,
You
so
want
much
them to
the
pee in a
weight
bottle
comes down
live on
to
stage in front of
the
thousands of
older
fans?
If Viper ever
Keria
misplays,
whips
ever
out his
dies,
dick and pees into a
I
bottle.
think
I think
they're really going to struggle just to deal with waves.
no.
So
I think
he
that
has
would
to
be
play. He has a
that
lot
would
of
be
weight on
bad
his
for the
shoulders.
sport.
And credit to Viper, you know, during the regular season, when Ezreal was really strong, that spree where it looked great, kind of fell off a bit, it felt like, in the late stages. The expectations are so high for this
Did
player.
Stans get gold or did he
So
get the
far in this
100?
series,
He's back.
really good. And Keria,
I just realized Stans is not
Good
live.
job.
You got gold?
Great work. Yeah, I think he's giving a little you know, round of
He rage
applause
quit?
to production for letting him go.
Called it, bro.
And he'll be back
Nobody
and
makes
ready
those
to play
goals
the
happen.
game
That's
in tip-top
League of Legends
form
is
this
designed to
I mean, it's
just,
pretty good in that
they
last
know.
bit, I guess, you know?
If you ever
Kinda
say
kept
I'm
the
going to get a
morale
certain rank by the end of the
facing
day,
it, doing
then
Alistair things.
alarm goes off
But
at Riot headquarters, and they
gonna
put
be
the
mixed up.
fucking worst people on your team.
yeah, should be able to get it started any second.
They fucking...
And we do have the Baron, this time on the Camille. And
Their
Zeus doesn't have a
CEO
GA, but I
boots
do
up
feel
on his
like
own PC
eventually
on his
Camille's
ult.
always going to get to the point where your Q2
Sets his
does
elo to whatever yours is, gets in and
absolutely,
feeds.
Cho'Gath
They
ult
literally-
damage.
Rounds of damage.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I like the Cho'Gath ult beam. I think it's apt. Especially level 18, right, has the Sterix as well, so amount of extra AD that you're going to get is kind of insane.
Pretty big is that you saw Viper was building to Leandries, but he had enough gold on the back of that fight to finish off the Zhonya's.
They have a special task force?
Fight,
No, I believe it.
They try like Bazeus, but he manages to
believe
get the
it.
dash away on this one. Zeka finds this threat onto Guma, but it's Doran who catches him after the flash. Guma is
Dude,
able to
I thought this game was over. I just realized it's not.
And the problem with the Alistair is
I realized
playing
Carry is
into
pissing.
smaller. You
I was
just
sitting
get
here feeling
regardless, but I
smiley
think
and
this is
happy
where it
because I
starts
felt
to
like
get
T1
interesting
just
with
won,
this.
but it's
Finds
not
an
even
angle
over.
here.
I thought it was
Ends
just
up
Carry
going in
pissing.
aggressively, and it just buys space for the rest of the team, right? Faker gets the kill on Zeka, then goes really aggressive.
Good shit by Faker, by
given
the
that
way,
the stopwatch
getting that
was
second
still there
kill.
was a big risk, but he gets, because of the kill, the reset, so he's able to make it out. And then here, that fact that Viper lives, I think that was the Locket that ended up
Dude, that
being a big
fucking
difference
spear gets
maker.
But the thing is,
again.
you see how different it is when Zeka goes down and when
These
Viper's
girls in chat
winning,
losing their... I
the
mean,
team
in
really
chat,
struggles. These
in
are
the
your
crowd.
damage sets, and they need to be able to function. And
Losing
in that
their mind.
situation where you lost one and the other started to get low, HLE suddenly started to feel very scary, which is why I think it's so big. Zeka now has GA,
Right
and
now,
Viper
indeed.
has Zhonya's. They still have to break through those.
Bro
for T1
called
to
a
win out
crowd
this fight.
chat. That's how I
just
see
wanna
chat.
highlight
There's
as
a big
well,
crowd.
T1 have been sitting on a gold lead, I think, for basically the entirety of this game. They're down 5 kills. Like, there's not been a lot of bloodshed on their end.
Well, they got some extra plates, and they've gotten some other objectives.
5K
as
gold.
Doran
Owner don't die.
is extremely
Owner don't
tricky,
die.
but Owner's
Owner
in a
don't
lot of
die.
trouble. He will zone
Owner
his
don't
save.
die.
Bomb doesn't do much, but Owner's still going to be caught
Owner-
by the Yone.
Owner.
Viper in a kind of an awkward spot, but he's able to flap away, and he gets some peeling. And now Zeus is
Viper
really
is a
just,
fucking
in a rough
smoldering
spot here as
bitch.
well. Zeka does have his GA, but down goes Zeus.
Bad.
And how will IV Sports, they find the fight.
God
They're looking
damn
for more. Trying to find
No.
Guma.
Run down!
Carry up the 2 carries here on the side of T1. They go in on the carry. Look at the damage from Faker. It is huge.
Wait, Faker's
And
strong
there's
as
a couple
shit.
of kills already for the Tristana.
Faker's strong as
Faker
shit.
just standing and firing. And
Faker's strong as shit!
He gets a triple.
Faker, you're such a god gamer!
But it is a massive fight to the side of T1 as they overstep and Faker picks up a quadra.
Faker, the player who has struggled
Quadra
throughout
kill!
the season, comes up huge. The movement's perfect. He gets the
My
damage up, and he
fucking goat!
cheers round the
Hey, who's the
fight.
guy that said
Take a look
Faker
at the end.
Tristana, GG go next? I'm gonna find you after stream and ban you. If you said it, just know I'm gonna scroll back. I'm gonna find it and I'm gonna ban you. So get your last chats in, bro. I'm gonna find out whoever said
That
it.
doesn't matter if you can't get on top of this Ziggs and can't get on top of this Tristana.
It's over. There's nothing they can do. The next is you see that delight is just desperation. But this late in the game, you give up a fight like that.
5-0-1 Faker. Quadra kill. My fucking goat. Ice in his veins. Grabs a sip of his water. Actually, that's fucking rum.
So clutch there from Faker back
Bro has a
against the
fucking
wall. It looks so
40 ounce
dangerous.
of rum,
The wall
dude.
was such a threat. Anyone
Straight.
approaching him, you saw how
He's
Zeus
getting
was
tipsy.
hesitating.
You got
Trying to
2
step on the
fucking
Viper.
baddies in the green
But
room
Faker
you're trying to
just-
get back
just finds
to.
the angle, just delivers, and in a
yes!
series that was starting to look scary like it might be a 3-0. Even with a gold lead for T1, they had to fight hard for this game. It just ends up being a clutch moment for Faker, and now it's 1 apiece. Best of 3 left in this one, and hope is kind of
Well, I was
returned
gonna
for
go to
T1.
bed, but now I'm staying
Guma
up.
also being able to, together with the
Well,
help of
staying
Carrier,
up, bro.
stay
That was a good
alive
game.
for so long.
There's no way I'm abandoning
As
the
mentioned,
team,
the
man.
amount of damage that's available after everything is said and done when it comes to the objectives for
Dan
T1.
texted me
Absolutely
on, or messaged me on
insane.
Discord and said,
As it turns out, you can have less kills than your opponent
sorry,
and still win a game of
but
League of
I
Legends.
need this elo
Kills
or I'll
don't
kill
really matter
myself
that much at the
IRL
end of
with
the
a
day.
gun.
Zeka was so fed and didn't matter.
Nexus is taken, you know.
That was like
1-0.
3 hours ago.
And yeah, I mean, Viper was a monster there, but
Holy
it's
fuck,
just kind of a
dude.
concern sometimes when you have a 2-carry composition.
I need a
Viper
wellness
has to do
check on my
everything,
dog.
and if he misplays slightly or just gets threatened, it can definitely backfire. The late game Tristana is still as strong as she was before.
That's a real
And
League of Legends player.
Not necessarily what we all expected. T1 are able to challenge Humble Life Esports and tie up the series. We have a series on our hands. It's really anybody's series from here. We'll have to see how the rest of it does play out, but we'll take a break and have a space to break down game 2.
You know, I think
we will be
Owner
right
Italy
back.
was pretty trash that game, but he got a very, 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 very important smite, so I blame him 0 iotas. He was the GOAT. Imagine Carrier went to the bathroom and Stans came out. Carrier leaves to the bathroom and comes back and stands in a Carrier outfit. He shaved his mustache. Hey guys, I love Korea. instantly goes 0-12 feet. That'd be fire. It'd be fire. It'd be fire. Man, Faker played fucking good that game. Just rock solid. Ice cold Tristana play. Proving why the meta is so trash and Tristana mid is good. I know that Doran did a good dodge there, but seeing that replay of Doran dodging the Nidalee spear every time pisses me off. Because that would have like been such an impactful spear hit. I can't believe T1 won this. I gotta watch this closer. Let me watch this. How the fuck did T1 win this? They started out by losing a member. They're down a man. Then they lost Zaze. They're down 2 men. Wait, how the fuck did they win this? They were 3v5ing? It's just Faker's damage. Faker's raw damage. Bro, Faker actually just put it on his back. You really see it on the replay. Dude, Faker with 1 kill just... Dude, that's actually crazy. Faker with 1 kill just killed 2 carries that had 4-0 each. While down 3v5. That was literally just him. That's my GOAT, dude. That's my GOAT. Here, put it on his back. Kuma stole the Penta? Yeah, jealous. He was jealous. Have you played more Quidditch since the video? No, I haven't. I was too naturally talented at it. I wouldn't mind a random Quidditch game. Here's what I'm thinking. I'm saying this now, and no one will ever clip this. But I'm really honestly thinking after the elections in November, we're going to want to chill out. And I think we're going to do all game December. So like 20 straight days of just every day go live play games. I might just fucking, I don't know what I'll play. Elden Ring maybe. Fucking Lies of P. Whatever. Tears of the Kingdom. I don't know. Age of Mythology. I'm just not going to care. I'm not going to care about anything. I'm not going to care about YouTube videos or viewership or whatever. We'll just fucking game. Game December. Maybe League. Maybe Bloons. Whatever. Sabak. I think that sounds fire. Because there's not too much going on in December. Knock on wood. Maybe the fucking... I don't know. Maybe the stock market crashes, but at the same time, NVIDIA goes to 12 trillion. All money in the world flows into NVIDIA stock. I have to cover that, you know? That's gonna be something I gotta cover. Christmas ads? I'm not saying we won't do a fucking Marketing Monday here and there. Maybe I'll do a reacting to bad TikTok advice again. That was always good. But I think I can take a break from like fucking reading every day and like thinking about how to present it. And we just do games every day. Games. It'd be fun. I'm still a fucking gamer at heart, bro. Let's see. Let's do a little... Dude, I just... Can I show you this? This is embarrassing. I almost don't want to show you this. This guy on my... He's the guy that like handles the merch. He has texted me. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. Probably 92 times telling me to connect the Enron hats to the YouTube channel where like it shows up underneath the player. You know, if you watch it, you can just see like buy Enron hats under the thing. He's texted me 92 times. I tried it like 3 times. It didn't work. It wasn't connecting. So I couldn't do it. Whatever. He keeps texting me. Finally, I'm like, fucking fine. I call him and I'm like, dude, walk me through this step by step. We go through it step by step. It's not that hard. I was missing one thing. All right, my fault. The second it goes live on Clips channel, main channel, we've already sold a bunch of hats. Like, I didn't announce it. I didn't do anything. We just put it there. It's today. It went live today. It's crazy. Like, we've had so many big videos that could have pushed those hats. Whatever. All good. Who cares about the money, bro? So you're bad at making money? I don't do it for the money. Little bro. You don't mention the store at all in the videos? Yeah, I don't want to mention the store at the videos. I don't want to overly do anything, bro. I just want to be able to pay all my employees and to have just a simple 800 grand a month living expenses. Okay? What about a big studio production for Marketing Monday? Dude, I thought about that. I thought about doing it with Off-Brand, where we would get like a little studio and I would have like more of a John Oliver type set. And maybe one day I'll do it because I think it'd be fun. But I'm also worried that it'll make Marketing Monday too much like, I don't know, like too something else. Too serious, too something, too formal. I think the vibe of me in this room talking passionately about things I either know or have learned is a good vibe. I like where Marketing Monday's at. I don't want to change it. It's growing. It's doing well. I ain't trying to fuck with a good system. Add buttons for fart sounds. Now we're talking. Now we're talking. What if we get a really nice high quality set, but I can slam a fart sounds button? NVIDIA earnings today. Uh-oh, stinky. Drop the marketing. It's cleaner. So you want to call the show Monday? I watched you on TV once and realized how much you yell on stream. I hear that a lot. I don't think I'm yelling. But what I think is everybody that says that watches YouTube full volume. They watch YouTube full volume and it's non-negotiable. That's what I've noticed. They watch YouTube and they will never touch that dial. So if everything's not equalized for the full volume bar, they get pissed. And then, yeah, I get excited. I get heated. But I think it's not that like the decibel thing is too loud, but it's more of like, if I'm like, okay guys, let's do this. Like that sounds like I'm yelling. It sounds loud, but it's not the volume is so much louder than me talking right now. Like right now, they're calling this loud. This is yelling right now. To them, this is yelling, but this is not yelling. This is like passionate talking. But I think we could be better about audio balancing. I think if I spoke the exact same way, but we did like an audio balance filter, no one would fucking give a shit. Because, I mean, I'm not denying that some of the competition, like other marketing business type videos, they have the... I just don't want to get into the niche because I can't win. They're better than me at doing the here's stock footage and a nice guy talking calmly over it. There's a million of those. Like somebody with a nice, usually, I don't know, like professorial type voice talking over stock footage is an area that I'm beat. So I got to do my own thing. When is this game starting? They're still highlight reeling. It was a good dude, I have to blow my nose. 1 second. I gotta blow my nose. No yep coke. I have to actually blow my fucking nose. When there's trouble, they knows who to call. Atrioc. Atrioc, it's up to you to decide whether I should go to sleep or stay up watching you ruining my day tomorrow. You can go to sleep, bro. If you don't fuck with T1 like that, you don't need to stay up. I wouldn't blame you. Bad sleep fucks us all. Damn, I can't believe Faker got a quadra. I'm so glad I stayed up for that. Look at this Giga Chad. Look at this Giga Chad. Goat. One of these? No, it's awesome. Look, I think the T1 had a crazy draft. I was a doubter. They proved me dead wrong. They executed it really great, even when they were down in kills. And they won. And I totally believe they are a good enough team to win this. By the way, the last time T1 and HLE played, T1 lost 3-0. Look at this fucking... Shh. Quiet doubters. Quiet haters. This is so wild that T1 won this. Every time I watch it, I'm kind of stunned. They just straight up 3v5'd.
As they break it down, media struggling a little bit, but we got there. You know, Faker picks up his POG. I was a little bit robbed of my Faker Penta moment, but that's okay. Maybe we have one a little bit later on in the series.
Can't believe Guma would do that to you.
It is fucked up they didn't let Faker get a Penta. Guma stole the Penta, bro. A Faker Penta, I would have creamed my jorts.
Hey, my pred was 3-0. I'm just glad now that it doesn't actually come true because we have some fun back and forth games.
I will say though.
Question mark? Did I stutter?
Now we go on to HLE having side selection.
Is this BO3 or BO5? It's BO5.
One thing that was mentioned on the desk is the fact that Tristana was banned by HLE on blue side, so they can do that again, deny that away from Fake, who obviously was able to close out that game. But also, that last game wasn't convincing. Yes, they were always ahead in gold, but I feel like there was lots of moments in that game where it really could have gone wrong. They were dealing with the Fed Smolder. The gold lead felt a little bit fake at times.
All right, let's see what the bans are.
And not indicative of how strong the teams were. So T1 have fought back. They clutched it out. But there is work to be done if they're going to prove this is not going to be a 3-1 and they can take it all away.
Well, we move into the draft here for game number 3, and we'll see what the bans look like this time. So far, same from game number 1 when we had the teams on the same sides. The Maokai still being banned out here. Do we see Smolder a 3rd time? And we do see the Tristana ban, which is very predictable coming into this game. But once again, Smolder and Ziggs both left up.
It's probably just going to be Smolder, Ziggs, Sejuani again. Well, we'll just see if T1 change. I mean, presumably they take the Ziggs again. I don't see that changing. But I don't really see a reason why they wouldn't go to Sejuani. But maybe they're concerned about playing that into Peanut just slamming Poppy again. Nope, they'll just lock that in.
I can't show the screen, just click ban.
If it ain't broke, don't.
But I showed the timer, so.
We are just running it back.
We're running it exactly back.
A lot more Humble favor. Even there was a lot of back and forth. As in
Wait, this is exactly game 1.
And yeah, why not?
This is exactly game 1 again.
They actually did the same order of bans as well, so this could just be a replay for all we know. You know, they're just matching.
Show us the Caitlyn.
Exactly. This is the change.
Corki instead of Caitlyn.
Corki pickup. This was banned in the 2nd rotation by HLE. So T1 don't want to let that happen again. They will pick it up, secure a good matchup for Faker. It will lose them the Leona.
Faker's Corki's pretty good.
It's also interesting that we saw the Smolder originally come out into the Corki specifically, right? So we'll have to see if Faker is going to be able to keep the Zeka on the back foot there. The Smolder in the last game
Atrioc would look good with Corki's stash.
Not having the impact that it needed.
You think
right?
this stash?
And again, I think part of that is also because they were going with
like it literally goes up past my ears and it's all white.
On T1 side,
I think I gotta pull that off on Twitch.
We have already moved away from that Caitlyn, which I do think is warranted. I liked it in game 1.
All right, I'll work on it.
This is a really big one. Being able to take momentum here is going to be absolutely huge.
Try to do
actually respect ban, and I think after game 1 that's 100% warranted.
I think as well they had to throw a ban towards the
Witcher guy.
And the last time in game 1 they banned Alistair Rel. I feel like if you can't ban both, then kind of whatever. Banning the Bard, it means you know Delight's going to have a pick he's good at, but you know the sort of type of champion he's going to be on. You don't have to deal with the threat of the Bard, which was a problem for Guma on the Ziggs getting picked out. Now,
where can I watch the match? Live view sync above you or YouTube right above you?
I guess just takes the Alistair and presumes that Delight will take the Rel into it because he's so confident on the pick. Maybe we could see Delight going for the Rakan as well, but there's so much AoE.
Camille ban, interesting.
That might be a bit risky.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see what Humble Life Esports will round out this draft with.
I mean, this is essentially game 1 again. And T1 lost that pretty bad, but maybe they've adapted.
I'm not really hoping for, Jack Snar. The Jack's obviously taken away this
No
side.
more Cassante, huh?
Being looked at here for Delight. So Jin, Rakan, nope. Just going to go back to, thinking about it. Rakan or Rel, what's it going to be, Delight?
I think Rakan has
I mean, they did ban Jack, so that's a little different.
A lot of things that can interrupt between the Sejuani
and top lane could go
and the
good.
Alistair.
I want to see Zeus Gnar again.
Swishy, but with the Warmogs rush,
Zeus Gnar, bring it back. It was good.
There's a lot of AoE. If you fall behind, you can just get one shot when you're trying to go in.
Seemed to be an issue before.
I hate the Trist Corki meta. Me fucking too, dude.
Goes back all the way to
what happened to having a cool ass mage in the mid lane?
Part of why their team fighting was
Give me a Fizz. Give me a assassin mid laner. A Zed even.
Being looked at here, I like the Renekton a lot more.
Something cool.
I know that Renekton is not
a Vayne though. You know we've seen this before.
Don't go Vayne. 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 Don't go Vayne.
The Vladimir,
or
which hasn't been very successful with. What if we?
It's just Zeri. It's Zeri top, right? Because Zeus has done this before. He did this at EWC as well.
Yeah? What?
He was like, yeah, no, this is just good. And it could be Corki top, as you mentioned. But yeah, I mean, this seems like Humble Life Esports should have known that this is coming, especially into T1.
Yeah, I think the Corki top makes sense. He's got a bit more early trading power.
I'm not saying it doesn't work.
You know, we've seen Zeri
it can work in lane, but it always feels like something goes wrong.
Similar in ways, not the same as the comp.
Something goes wrong, and once it's behind, it's like over.
When it was Sejuani plus a bunch of range champs, they do swap back. So Zeri in the top lane, wanting, I guess, a bit more mid pressure. Corki has more early pressure.
He's not good. Figures are good. He's not playing Zeri.
I feel like Zeus
is playing Corki.
Better Zeri. Maybe he has like more experience on it. I don't know. He just looked very comfortable on Zeri when I saw him play as well. So.
Yeah, I think honestly, I'm a little bit concerned for the side of.
I thought it was Zeri top.
He's what's the situation? You're gonna struggle in terms of top pressure, bot lane. You know, we've seen the Ziggs obviously be a menace as he gets further into the game. it came down to Peanut. I feel like him being the early instigator in that game 1, and I'm not sure he has as much freedom to do so in this matchup without the support of things like the Jack from Doran and the Bard from the Light.
Yeah, we're going to have to see. If Peanut doesn't find some early pathings, maybe if they're able to stack a couple of waves in either top or bot, crash that while Peanut's there, get an early lane lead going. I think it's going to be
the bowl cut in Korea?
Quite
No,
tough for
unfortunately.
Alma Life. This draft doesn't give
Wasn't
me
as fashion
confidence that
forward
the
as that.
last two did. We're going to see if T1 will be able to get up to a lead here.
I mean, as well,
What time is it? It's 1:20 a.m. for me.
But into Zeri,
A little late for me. Usually I'd be in bed.
It's going to be
However,
an interesting
I
one. Maybe
love
a lot of
T1. This is a
scaling
very
in this
important
game number
series.
3. Let's hop into the Rift and find out
And
what happens.
I would not want to go to bed and let my team down. If they lose, I have to be there losing with them.
Fans are out here in force at the Gangju Indoor Stadium, and it has
T1
been
fighting!
I feel like it's already delivered a bit more than I expected, and I'm going to be happy to see just how far this is going to go. They're going to give that ward over to Doran. Might make that early laning phase a little bit easier.
Yeah, I think we often see like the kind of rock, paper, scissors situation top where, you know, supports will go top, place a ward down. Sometimes you'll see teams baiting to try and deny that. Here, Delight goes up with a sweeper, so he'll clear out the ward. Especially playing like a Renekton into a Zeri, vision control of that middle brush is really important in making the matchup slightly less painful.
I also really like the PTA here. We're going to get the most value out of that, right? Try and go for those short trades, longer trades against Zeri. She is just going to be able to kite you out. Nothing too
Is Zeka going to play Smolder
outside of
every
that.
fucking game?
Do note, though, that Viper
Actually, he didn't play
is playing Cleanse, which again
They're gonna
makes
play,
a lot of sense when
is
you're playing
HLE going to play Smolder every
allows you
game?
to step up a lot more. But we've seen so many triple TP on either side in this series that might be a pivot. We'll see how him and Delight are able to use that heal as well here for Delight. Into Carrier's Ignite can always feel a little bit rough.
I'm surprised Jin's so
Early
good right
on,
now.
Carrier just going to headbutt them away and
feel like
say,
Jin would
please
be-
don't attack us. Ziggs doesn't do much at level 1.
Never what you
Yeah, it's
want
also
in pro
phase
play.
rush from Carrier, so he can't even kind of leverage Aftershock in this situation. You can see Delight and Viper doing a good
Did
job
you
of really
reenact the
pushing
gameplay
away,
IRL?
zoning them out, and
Alright.
not letting the contest at
I'm
level 2.
Alistair.
What are the weaknesses of Alistair? Really,
I'm
is just
Renekton.
not having too much
Shut
presence
up.
at level 1.
Meanwhile, a knock-up and
that-
a bunch of
you
damage
got a
in
good picture
Carrier.
of what's
This
going on?
is,
Oh shit, Carrier almost died.
you know, they're supposed to dominate early on, but this is getting a little bit out of hand as Carrier's going to have to back already.
Look at that. Look at that. Immediately, Peanut was on his way to a topside jungle, has completely diverted his pathing. We'll see what he's able to get out of it. Guma does obviously still have the TP available, but this should come as a surprise, and I think that T1 might have a suspicion. Maybe Peanut just steals a buff, but it could
Peanut
be so much more.
spotted.
As he does get spotted here.
Yeah.
Peanut spotted.
And even his presence is going to be big. They can put on that pressure. You remember Owner was able to do this on the Nidalee in Game 2, and it does look like maybe just a jungle camp, a Gromp going over to Peanut. It doesn't look like T1 will try to stick around for too long, although Guma does get rooted, but not going to go diving just yet.
Yeah, no
That's
mana,
getting
no,
used
they
as
couldn't
well.
get this.
We'll see if Owner actually
Oh, they're
is
going for
allowed
the
to
blue
take his
too?
buff. Does have smite advantage, but he just can't walk up. We'll see.
Oh, this blue steel is
Doesn't have a
fucked
ward,
up.
so can't get vision into the brush easily.
This blue steel is fucked
Yeah,
up.
he's just going to
Flash
get
the wall.
flashed on. He
No,
plays
Owner,
with
what was
fire,
that
and now he's
flash?
not able to get over the wall.
Owner,
as it
what
is
was that
Bucky after all. That's
flash?
first blood given over to Peanut already.
Really nicely played, and you see the knock-on effect that Peanut capitalizes on here. Well, Fake, I think would win out in the extended trade there, but Zeka definitely giving some fire back. But as I was saying, you know, Peanut reacts to a trade gone wrong for T1
Rough
in the bot
series
lane.
for Owner, I'll be
Viper
honest
Delight
with
should
you.
have pressure, but Carrier makes a mistake, ends up getting chunked. Peanut is instantly
Damn,
like,
that's a
okay, time
nasty
to
start.
capitalize
That's a
on
nasty
this.
start.
Leans in to
Jungle
punish,
lost,
and not
2
only gets
buffs
to steal away a
down,
camp,
and
but killing
dies.
Owner, finding the window to punish. Is really well played and shows why Owner was so successful last
And
time.
then Owner just sitting there for a bad gank.
You know that this is the first time we're seeing top Zeri in the LCK specifically. We did see it at EWC, as I mentioned before, and it was Zeus that pulled it out. So it just makes sense that he is back on the pick here once again, debuting it in the LCK.
As unsurprisingly, Peanut already spending a ton of time in the enemy jungle is going to be spotted here, but Carrier is roaming up. We'll see
what
if
can they
that
do about
alone is
it?
enough to maybe try
What
and
can they do
steal back
about
a
it? I
camp.
mean,
You're gonna
Zeus
have to
winning
steal a
top.
lot. But top
Zeus
lane
winning top
Prio
pretty hard.
firmly in Zeus' control. diving a Renekton is always going to feel a bit rough. Almost has the E and W available.
He's not. Wow. Oh, he's going to stick around.
Owner, what is your fucking...
But T1's nearly their entire team is up on the top side, but they're going to abandon ship as, some low levels and a lot of members of Hololive Esports are around.
Yeah, I think diving Renekton when he's that low, not too hard, but when the Poppy and Rakan show up, it's definitely time to get out. And they know that Owner has a smite advantage, so they want to look for the kill angle.
That was such a bad flash.
Does secure it with the smite, but the W from
gotta
here to
know
block
you
the
need a wall
dash
flash
is
there.
what allows them to get the kill in return. Really well played.
Seen Peanut do this countless times. Follow-up is there with Delight, and it's that willingness.
It's a 1,000 gold loss already.
About the top, but it doesn't matter. I'm going
this is a terrible start.
My attention to where it is most needed. Something where Peanut really shows his experience. We've seen
This is
particularly
a terrible
against a lot of the
start,
less
bro.
experienced junglers in the LCK. Not Owner specifically, but people like Lucid, people like Raptor, that they're a lot more.
T1 needs to just pick all lane prio champs.
Yeah, a lot more rigid in how they move around the map and how they look at the lanes and what it means for where to go.
I think obviously with the fact that lanes exist, you're kind of to a degree locked in a bit, but jungle has so much flexibility, and it's always great when we see someone capitalize on something that wasn't necessarily expected, but just happened to occur in the game. Now, Peanut is leading towards the grubs.
Their way out? Yes, that's not.
It should be setting up for that. We'll probably see a trade with Owner going towards
Peanut's getting
Dragon
things
in return.
Or the, what are they called?
See if he can set this up. I mean, Delight's about to face check him. Carria around as well. Carria's still level 3. Delight is up a level, and Viper just pushed in the bottom wave. So they're denying the Drake while also, and now we got a 1v1 on the top side. Doran trying to lock down a Zeri. Not an easy task, but he knows that, the enemy jungler's bot, and he's got Peanut up top side.
Yeah, the fact that Zeus is just sitting on steel caps and it felt like he didn't take a lot of damage there, actually being, it's pretty rough for Doran because that's a pretty big investment. And Zeus still has TP.
We're diving.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, big dive.
Carria's here.
Carria, save the game.
Maybe he pulled that back at the last second.
Good timing, Carria.
Carria
Smart map movement. That would have been bad.
I think honestly we're seeing T1's lane struggle a decent amount. The fact they weren't able to trade the grubs with the dragon, the fact that HLE were able to force them off obviously looks a little rough. We're getting
I don't know what that is.
supports just laning mid, and it feels like they're trying to trap Faker here. Faker without TP, low on mana. Don't want to give him a window to reset.
Yeah, Peanut's just
and
going
gonna capitalize
off
on that.
series.
Viper's got
He's
prio
just
in the bot
going off.
lane.
He's
Guma
playing really
also
good
low on
jungle.
mana, and that's going to secure the
Peanut's
Pierce Dragon for
Poppy is
HLE. So
fucking
Grubs
scary.
and Dragon, really solid for them.
Snowball coming out here early here for Humble Life. I do think that this game is fundamentally different from what we had before, because yes, as you mentioned, even with the Smolder, there is so much raw firepower on the side of T1 with a very reliable front line as well.
Oh, I see.
So shouldn't be the end of the world. But still going,
yeah, I guess he's my Oshi.
going behind in Dragons early on doesn't end up making a really big difference in this series as the Cloud Drake comes through, and Ocean next.
It feels like we've just constantly had the first couple of Dragons have been like the weaker souls.
Yeah.
A lot of Chemtech, a lot of Ocean early on.
Where's that Chemtech Drake Ox?
They're down 1K. They're down 800.
We'll see.
900.
Hasn't
yeah,
shown up
bad.
just yet. We do
but
have
it's not
Ocean on the
terrible.
way for the second one. And we have 3 strong souls left over in Mountain.
CS is
Inferno
fine.
next
Everyone's
second. And
even.
we also have Chemtech, which exists.
It's not,
but we'll
nothing's
see
over.
which one we do get.
T1's
in this
comp
game,
is
as
good.
It, definitely played a pretty clear role in Game 2, especially.
But man, I just always
That
prefer the
soul.
comp that has
Also
like
the fact that Hololive Esports got
the
Infernal
tanky
Soul by
top
the
and
end
the
of,
ADC.
game number 1.
You know, like just the like.
Do have a lane swap coming
HLE's
through
comp
here
is so classically
for
good.
Viper and the Light. T1 did in fact read it. I'm pretty sure Guma also hasn't used his TP yet in this game. Does now have the Lost Chapter. Sitting on a double tier is T1 as well, so makes sense that they'd be looking to, at the very least, get a first
HLE
item
is
before they
picking these comps
try
right
and
now, so
progress
it's
a little bit more. But letting
not
Peanut
like it's
just
the
run the
old
map
school
is
way to
always going
play.
to be
It's the 2024.
a big risk, as that is where he's excelled the most. And I think particularly with the ability from Poppy to secure objectives with such a higher level of guarantee is not a champion that you want to fall behind on when it comes to Dragon, if we do get, indeed, a big soul coming up.
I find it so funny that like HLE swapped top, and the second they saw Guma and Carrier there, they're like, no, we don't want this. We're gonna swap. And then look at the recalls now on the map. They're just trying to dodge each other, and T1 want to hang out. They want like even
Zaya's
lanes.
playing well.
And
He's doing
HLE
well
just
in
keep
lane.
opting out of it and swapping back to
He's
map.
not like winning
wanna
so hard on
approach
Renekton that it
Zeus
matters.
in this
you
matchup
know?
against the Renekton, right? Because in a 1v2, I think your Renekton is going to feel a lot harder to dive. a lot more reliable than the Zeri would be. Armalife is still getting great trades though, because they're the ones that are ahead on the tempo, right? They're the ones that are pushing in the waves, and then it's T1 responding. And I kid you not, Orcs, I know the grubs are coming up, but it's this time it looks like we're sending Zeka towards the bot wave, but still moving Viper, Doran, and Zeka all over the map.
Jungle diff so far.
Possible catch here.
It's just
big jungle diff.
Like,
yeah, Doran in a bit of trouble. He's going to get slowed up. And he's silver necked with Dominus and
you
Flash,
gotta
so
do something.
He's actually totally fine.
You tracked him like the last 2.
Flash.
He is so dead in this one.
Unless,
he's able to Valkyrie the wall.
oh my god.
Actually, so maybe he's totally fine. Did have to expend
a
a lot to get out of there, but now
Faker,
he's
my
the fight,
fucking
and should be
king, my
Grubs
goat,
over
my
to Holly.
liege.
Viper tried to ult him. Atrioc cancelled it immediately so that they couldn't get the catch on Faker.
And it happened the moment with the Jhin reloading, dropping the bullet.
No!
Wasn't able to finish off Faker. I think the rest of the team were like, well, he's dead. Viper's there. Ran out of ammo.
Yeah, TP coming in, and now this is about to get really scrappy. The ult goes in under the light, but now the charm coming in. They turn immediately on the Zeus, who is so low, but he gets over the wall. And now Owner in a bit of trouble, but we got the flank coming in from Faker, and Goom and Carrier looking for a bit more. A lot of low health bars, but Zeus finally goes down to the queue of the Smolder, and Carrier just trying to give up his life, just trying to frontline for the team. But Zeka's just able to run forward. They deny the pummel. He is not able to get anything. It's another kill to the Smolder.
What a disaster.
Just on the run. They can't quite get away. Nearly able to take out Viper, but it's just
terrible
a third
game
kill
from Owner.
over to Zeka Smolder.
There's beautiful execution there from T1, immediately punishing Zeus as soon as the fight starts. And then from then on out, it felt like HLE had this structured move where they just immediately collapsed down onto Zeus, who dashed away. After taking him out, they then moved towards the rest of the team.
Oh, good steal.
1 HP. It went to there, and he shows the emote.
Yeah, Peanut's not going to be too sad about that one. Yeah, big disaster. Therefore, T1. Those are the type of fights where if they go your way, can end up being a really big boon, but instead, so much damage here. Feels like it's kind
that
of
was also kind of bad by
all on the
Zeus.
same page. Everything into Zeus.
He got
gets
straight
taken
up
out
caught
of the fight,
and then got...
without Owner, it feels like a front line is so lacking.
And look at how they reset the aggro here. Zeka wants to finish off Zeus, so they all pull away, and as soon as the kill's secured, they all push back in as a unit, and they're like, Zeka, you have the most HP, you go first.
We got Zeus in a lot of trouble here. He's been denied by Peanut so many times, and you know, these times I'm like, oh, he's in a lot of trouble. They just keep getting away. As Zeus will be rooted down, but now we got the engage coming in from Area. As in goes
not one iota of damage.
Peanut, who is so low.
Oh, but Zeus makes it happen.
Will be taken out eventually. T1 able to get that, but here comes big boy Zeka looking for a little bit more. He is so fed in this game already.
You really got to be careful with that Smolder. In this situation, normally not the strongest, but if you have Triforce Spike, if you're this far accelerated, obviously still going to get a ton of value. And T1, they were able to get some kills there, but also to rotate over Guma towards the top side to respond to Zeka, and Faker also in the vicinity, which means that Doran again
like he is their only front line, so he needs to be
with this turret,
ahead.
With his Demolish, so end up getting down a ton of damage here towards the bottom half of the map.
Yeah, 5 grubs as well, so they actually do a lot of damage to these structures. So
he has the highest highs and the lowest lows. Yeah, I agree with that.
Get punished for, but
Zeus's highs are insane. He's the best in the world.
Lose that many members. And now this pressure's continuing onto these structures. Feels like HLE just getting more and more. It's already a 2,000 gold lead, and with a lot of that gold being on Zeka, it definitely feels good.
Where's my emote, Peanut? Come on.
He
always drops the ping.
Poppy always trolls herself as a champion because you're like, oh yeah,
Owner is up on a level to Peanut. Which is crazy.
Just outrange it. Here comes Peanut. He's going in, and he's got a big crocodile right behind him. Owner and Faker just trying to split up, but they are pretty deep into this turret. They're going to keep Owner around it, and I think, yeah, Mom's got some scolding to do. Zeal will come in, but Owner not able to do quite too much. As finally the last Q comes in, and Zeka will pick up a 4th kill.
God damn, dude.
Not able to get anything there. Zeka getting further and further ahead.
First
turret's going to go down as well. The gold lead now starting to become an even bigger deal. About 3K here.
Would you rather have lunch with Faker or a Brazilian citizen?
On the flip side of the map again. When it comes to scaling,
that's a tough call, man. That's such a tough call.
Unfortunately,
you know, I'm a huge Faker fan, but the people of Brazil are so intelligent and wise.
And honestly, credit to Doran
The amount I could learn.
After a laning phase
in the
was very
moment.
unenjoyable, just finding the impact in these skirmishes on the Renekton to keep himself in the game, keep himself relevant. Actually finishes first item before Zeus does.
Oh, and Soul again.
Yeah, that's a big
4-0
one.
Smolder.
Especially with Smolder, Jin, and HLE already having 2 dragons in the bag. Carrier will just headbutt the light. Didn't really achieve
This game's
much, but he's sending
actually
a
over,
message.
I think. I'll be the one that
Speaking
is
about
wrong.
sending a message, they look to send one here on a Viper. And eventually does go down. Sticking around a little bit too long for that top turret.
Ends up
Have
giving
faith in the GOAT.
kill over
I
to
believe in
T1,
Faker.
meaning that
But,
at least Guma can feel a little bit better about his
believe in him to
situation.
make the comeback
But
in
this to
game
me
4.
feels very similar to what was happening in game number 1, where Peanut and the Light are setting the pace of this game, right? They're the one that are always proactive, always moving around, getting to side lanes first.
Yeah, I mean, Peanut's
And
just
it
been
means
so
that T1
good.
is just only responding, not able to use the pushing power of the Ziggs the way that ideally you'd want to. Not really getting that counter matchup in top, actually getting any value out of it, right? Zeus is a level down. The Humble Life just continuously been swapping so that the Zeri isn't in a situation
Yeah,
to
Zeri's
use the
never
fact that she's a
gotten to
ranged
go
top layer
nuts.
into melee.
And Ona's having a rough time.
Yeah.
Kind of reminiscent of that previous series we saw between those two teams where Peanut just kind of ran the rift. And it feels like in this game it kind of came as a bleed out from that
T1 can
misplay
win
bot
late game.
where
I'm
Carrier
not
got
denying
chunked
it. It's
into
just,
the invade, into Ona
they have
going
to get
down, and
there
just snowballed
without
from
losing
there.
every
Now,
objective.
setting up the Herald, do you want to contest though?
They
And
kind of want
they're-
to contest. Faker's CPing in
wanna
onto this
contest.
one, and Doran is going to be forced to flash away, but now the fight comes out, and the
They
Zeri
got
from
Doran.
the top
They
side
got
will
Doran,
be
right? Oh,
pushed all the way into the jungle, actually. Zeus not able to join the fight. But now
Carrier's
Carrier,
trapped.
bit of an awkward spot. He is still an Alistair with flash and ult. See how long this journey goes. Looks like he's just going to accept his fate. And How Life Esports will also accept a kill with that one. And that will be another one that goes over to Zeka.
Hello,
making
EU frogs.
5-0.
They also
I'm
got
watching
the Herald. So, free kill.
T1.
You're going to give a one bot side,
So I'm a
bot side
little,
outer, but that's obviously not
distracted.
going to be the end of the world. Even
But
more gold.
and also they're losing,
going over
so I'm
to Zeka, who just
depressed.
gets spoon-fed these kills.
But I think they can
And that's
win.
again, I think Peanut being the difference maker. That fight looked a bit rough. Carrier actually splitting it up nicely. If Zeus is there, the extra damage from the Zeri can really be a big difference maker.
Feels like Honor Life Esports have this game managed really well. Will be a trade of these
But not this game.
towers, turrets. Obviously, saw that one go down bot. Zek will pick one up top. and
I
get
just I
even
don't
more
think they can win
gold.
this
Yeah.
game. You know, it's
So fed right now. Over
maybe-
1,000
maybe
gold ahead of
Zeus can
Pierce
do
in the second
something.
place, which is this. This is the fact he already has the Manamune finished and it's not fully stacked. Very far ahead in
put
this
me
one.
on
This,
Smolder and T1
they
wins
had
this.
Zeus on this flank angle,
I
but
believe that.
obviously threatened a bit by Zek.
I actually
Can't really
100%
get much
believe
damage,
if
and most of
T1
the damage
swapped,
from
or I'm
T1
sorry,
went on the
HLE
front
swapped you
liners.
onto Smolder, you would
They
lose
do
in
get
the
Doran
game.
low, but he doesn't go down, and it feels like a lot was burned for not much value. Carrier was on this flank, but didn't get to make use of it. And now with the Herald, they take mid-tier 1 and just further open up the map.
Yep. Peanut just going to throw out an ult, or rather an emote, and he's just going to run away from that one, go into the jungle and just farm. But, you know, you talked about the gold lead for Zeka. We've seen guys like Aiming, you know, get very far ahead on gold and really stack up the gold, but he's also stacking his
Yeah, they do need to knock out
his dragon
Poppy
training.
ult,
He
and
is
then
up at
disengage
190
and then fight
already,
again.
18 minutes into the game.
time is
so
it, Nene?
this isn't just, oh, I've got a lot of gold and I'm sitting in the
1:38
bot
a.m.
lane not really interacting. It's, I've got 5 kills, I'm super far ahead, and I have a million stacks. Nobody
late.
really answers
Late
him
for
right
me.
now.
I mean, that's the thing, is that you obviously
Unless
get
Sleepy
stacks
Bear.
from farming on Smolder, but you can get a ton of stacks from fighting as well. If you get like a big ult or a W, it's multiple people, so
Faker CS
yeah,
is good. That's my go.
Zeka is
So is
quickly
Zeri's.
going to become a problem, and
Everyone
you know, we
on
said
T1 is
200.
CSing well,
there's a lot of
actually.
late
Owner's
game
even up
threats
on
on
CS.
T1, but when the Smolder is this strong, I think it's going to be difficult to have answers to him, because if people are body blocking the Sejuani ult, if Carrier isn't allowed access because of the Poppy, Zeka could just keep firing Qs, and especially he's
Is
going
League in
towards
T1
rapid fire
in Korea
third,
profitable?
he'll have the range to do it as well.
I don't know about all the other
one
teams, but for
advantage,
T1 it
or
is.
rather,
T1's very
opportunity for
profitable.
T1 that I do think is there that eventually the only front line is Poppy, and I know Poppy
Yeah,
is really
big
tanky, but
sponsorships.
up against Zeri, up against Corki, and even though Guma isn't going like a tank shredding build, eventually the Ziggs, they are going to have enough damage, or even if he does tank an ultimate, they should be able to blow him up. The problem is, are
Alright,
we going to
Dragon
get to a
fight?
point where like Zeus has 3 items, Faker has 3 or 4 items, Guma's sitting on a death cap as well? Because right now, if these Drakes
Baron in 30,
start
Dragon
stacking
in
up, if
15.
Hololive gets this one, if this and this attempt at... Oh, it can't fill.
Faker.
He can get it.
Uh-oh, Faker.
Faker?
Yeah, he's going to be slowed up, and now you've got the whole team body block. Oh!
Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ.
From Hanwha and from Peanut to set it up, and that should be the drink going into their hands as well.
That should
That was
be
kinda
score
sick.
point. Peanut just sets it up.
That was like
that
a
second shot
that was like a god
crucially
power.
hitting ends up being the main difference maker. Faker
Nobody
doesn't have
even near him.
flash.
Are they
Is it
doing a
Desperation
fucking
Baron?
desperation
There's no
Baron?
way.
There's no way that we do that.
I think they're going to threaten, they're going to establish vision, but there's no way they do. But that was so slick from HLE. The pressure was there already. It was already a good play to force Faker away, but to get the kill was just some absolute magic there from HLE. And now 3 dragons in, 4,000 gold. They're feeling good.
I mean, what else can you
They
ask
can't even
for,
do it.
really?
Like, they
It's,
can't even.
at this point, they're just kind of sailing into the mid to late.
Nah,
and
this is a slow
I
grind
think that
loss.
Crony's point is relevant. If we go super late,
It's too bad
the
they're not
series
allowed to
is gonna be
surrender
online,
in
the
pro
Six is going to
play.
be online.
I
You've
think
got
this
a
would actually be a
as well,
good
but
idea to surrender.
if they get there, and also Humble Life Esports
Yeah,
are so
go
far
next.
ahead
Yeah, we're
right
getting
now.
tired.
And also, the if was
wonder
somewhat
if I watched this from
contingent
my
on
bed.
T1 getting this dragon.
Yeah.
Which didn't happen, unfortunately. So I
What's your
feel a
peak
lot
league
worse
rank?
about
I was
my
ranked
argument.
Let's take
21
another look.
Oh,
North America.
cinematic
in season
view as
2.
well? Oh.
Even the bomb on his head, he doesn't care.
The fact you get, because if you only get one frontliner, it's irrelevant because the other one will block. And the shot
back
alone
in
wasn't
season
enough
2,
to
we
kill
played
him.
with
The
chisels
ult
and
from
stone.
Zeka as well. I mean, all 3 of them just in unison. Peter
So it was a
lines
little
them up,
different.
and Zeka and Viper knock him down.
And again, I think it's that second shot where the frontliner were still there and still they were able to hit Faker. That was the difference maker. Could have been alive otherwise, not the case. And now How Alive, they're running the map. We'll see if they're going to proactively set up this Baron because they have the damage,
200
and with the
BC.
Poppy, the positioning of T1 needs to be very crisp. We saw in game number 1 they were able to get basically a miracle Baron and find their way back into the game this time. So maybe How Alive don't want to take the risk, but I feel like it's hard for T1 to really contest.
And Zay's gone experimental hex plate, which we did
Oh, yeah,
see
mana pots.
way
I remember
back.
mana pots.
I remember that item.
That hasn't been
Did
a
I
thing
remember
for
when
a
I
while.
started?
Yeah.
Obviously gives a
There's
lot of
an item
power
called
once you've
Heart
used
of
your ult
Gold.
initially. Does make
And
you
all it did was generate 1 gold a second and give you a little bit of HP
like
regen.
Game crit Zeri,
And people would
you're
go
gonna be a
top
long
lane
way
and
away.
stack 5 Heart of Gold.
So feels like maybe investing more into
They
power
wouldn't
now.
build any damage
which
item or anything. They would
makes
just
sense
stack
for
5
T1
Heart of
because
Gold.
They need any power they can get.
And then they would get
Zeka
like
will now have enough
fucking
stacks,
so much gold generated per
with
second.
him online.
And all they had to do was
HLE is
not
set up around
die
Baron.
and just farm.
They can look for something.
And then eventually
but if
they'd
they don't
sell
find
their
an
5
angle,
Heart
they
Golds
have
and buy a
Dragon at
full set of
240,
6
and look
items.
what T1 are doing. This
and
is when
go
you know the game
crazy.
is in a rough spot. And I think this is the right call, but they're starting to go for plays that might look a bit desperate, trying to find picks on isolated members, and HLE sniffed them out.
Yeah, Peanut's going to use the engage cone, and
Faker's dead.
And they don't
This
even know
game's
about
collapsed.
They're going to TP.
might get a little bonus Carrier here. That's a lot of damage, and yeah, Carrier does go in, but Faker, they finally deal with him. Down he goes, and Carrier is, in fact, the bonus Carrier that I
Okay,
did mention.
surrender
so now
for
he'll
real.
Go, and now we have very awkward
Surrender for
Guma,
real,
who TP'd into
disaster.
This fight. He is free as well. You talked about desperation. That one definitely looked desperate. Hamalay V-Sports will clean it up easily.
Complete
Hi, Xenon
decimation.
25.
Zeus' TP gets cancelled as well.
This is a Marketing Monday
by
right now.
Doran. So
Every Marketing Monday has a period in the middle where I
secret of
sit there in
Carrier
silence
doesn't really
for
end up helping
25
them.
minutes.
The Zeri won 2 item spikes. Can't
So
join
stay
them.
tuned.
And Life
This is a
is going to take this
perfect
Baron.
Marketing Monday presentation.
There's nothing that anyone on T1 can do about it.
I mean, just really well played from HLE. The thing is, that play is going to look like what a T1 doing, you know, but in this situation, they are really far behind. They kind of have to go for something desperate. But it's just a really good job from HLE. Sniffs them out. And then T1 are like, look, if we lose Faker, Baron's probably gone. We have to try. But they're in such a bad spot. Faker just dies, essentially, to the
T1.
damage
Just surrender.
already done to him. And Peanut finish him off. Carry is locked in. He tries to get to light. And then Kuma's like, well, I'm dead. Let's try and ult the light.
Why did T1 bench you for this game? I don't know, man.
It could have just
I don't
been
know what
one
his coach
pick,
does
but
what he
that
does.
probably would have been Baron anyway. They try to make something off it, and it just backfires and gets worse.
Yeah, I'm also looking at it. Maybe Zeus should have been happy. Like, I think by the time he arrived, I don't know if...
Uh-oh, another play here. Guma's in a lot of trouble. Can they take him down is the question. The grenade goes flying, but he will live with that flash. And now an opportunity for
Faker.
T1 to turn this one around, but this is so tanky. He's got the
Faker's
Warbox
acting like
finish,
he's
and now he goes back in.
God damage,
and
and he's not.
frontlining. There's the
He's
knock
not
on a
God
Baker.
damage.
Down he'll go. Doran diving the turret. Sekka is a massive dragon at this point, and they will just dive on in and decimate the rest of T1.
Okay.
Keria goes down.
Okay, go
It's a
next.
triple for the
Dude,
Smolder.
nothing could be better for your
And
mental
that might just be
than
it.
getting
I mean,
to go
Hololive
10 and
Esports
0.
fighting another massive fight.
This is like
Should just be game end here. HLE with the most crushing victory we've had this series. Once again winning on blue side. Guma going to try what he can, but there's no way he defends against 5 here.
Yeah, he's trying desperately to clear the way, but there's not much that he can do. Down
Go
he goes.
next.
He grades for Goliath,
Go
but
next,
he will
baby.
not trade Nexuses.
Go
Hololive
next. Win
Esports
game
will
4.
take down
Silver
game
Scrapes.
number 3
Use your clutch.
and retake the lead in this series 2-1.
And you can see,
water,
blue side is an edge.
snack,
Absolutely.
and we're gonna win
We knew
this
that.
series.
It's been blue side wins all this series.
All we need to do
the
is
way in
believe.
which HLE won, by far the most decisive game, and with how back and forth game 2 was for T1, it's looking worrying. T1 need to come back from this, needed bounce back, needed answer, but that game was rough throughout.
And right now, there are a bunch of things that need to be done for T1. First, they need to win the game on blue side. And I think that, given how the game 1 and 2 played out, that's doable. But in game 5, they not only will they be on red side, but they got to swap something up. We can't keep going into this Smolder, into this Poppy, because it is just proven to be a trade that you're not winning. And if they don't adapt, Humble Life are going to finally end the dominance of T1 versus Gen G, the biggest rivalry that we've had in the LCK in the modern era.
And we've said constantly that red side is in a rough spot this season because it's so sparse on bans. But against Peanut, Maokai ban, Vi ban, feels force, Rumble's a given, and Peanut still pops off this game and dominates the early game. I don't think that leaving open like Maokai for Peanut is the right decision at all, but it feels like they're sending 2/3 of the bans towards him, leaving the Smolder open, and then still getting gapped by Peanut. There doesn't seem to be a good answer, but it's definitely looking rough right now, and Peanut's showing up once again.
There's just too many things that he can play, and there's too many OP stuff
if
right
T1
now.
starts
too many
this
OP
game down,
champs, and Hololive Esports.
I'm going to bed. I don't think I can take it. I don't think my heart can take it. If T1 starts this game down, I need to come out swinging, dude. Can you imagine, though, if they did start it down and then I go to bed and then they come back and win 2 games? I'll be so sad. Okay, what do we got? I don't want to watch these highlights. These highlights are no good. If they draft a normal comp, it's GG. I mean, it wasn't that crazy of a comp. Internet historian just followed me. Like right now. Is he watching? That's weird. He just followed me. He's a big League of Legends guy, huh? Maybe he's looking to take your script. That's funny. Go onto the League Twitch page. You're the first to show up. That doesn't make any sense. Isn't Cadro live? $52-month sub. Did I miss it? Hey, JCY. Thank you for the 52 months. This is the content I sub for, TBH. This is the content you sub for? If I didn't already commit to it, I would have turned the stream off. Because I am not even talking. I'm really tired. And also, Faker's not winning, so I'm not even getting the energy of a fan. But this is what it's all about. This is what the EU frog's been missing. Listen, I'll get fucking hyped. I'll get torqued if we can just get Faker to win. As it you, bro, will take anything these days. Bro, you get the videos. Jerry TZ, thing with the 19 months. Thank you for the late night subs. Quick draw, Chubbit Complex, the Zax. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Faker needs you awake to come back. No, Faker needs to come back to get me awake. I don't have the energy, bro. League of Legends Wordle. Fuck it. Laldle. Classic. Laldle. Guess today's champion. All right, I guess Fizz. Give it to me first try. Not male, not middle, not Yordle, not melee, not Bilgewater after 2011. All right, let's say it's Dr. Mundo. Well, he's not mana. Okay, it's a Zaun champion. That's late. Okay, so I did everything bad. I need a female champion from Zaun. I don't fucking know. What am I, a lore master? Camille. She's from Piltover. I stole it from chat and you were still wrong. Okay. Female mana champion from Zaun. How about Renata? Okay. Oh, this is the right year. It's a Renata. It's a Renata angle. A different female Zaun champion from 2022? Oh, is it Zeri? Sheesh. Sheesh. Guess with in-game quotes. Okay. I must admit I have a thing for legs. Who the fuck is this? What champion has a thing for legs? Urgot? Oh, wow. Good call. Chat got it, not me.
I must admit, I have a thing for legs.
All right. I know that if Faker picks Urgot mid and says that out loud, we'll win this game. We'll win this game for sure. I didn't know Urgot was a freak. I didn't know he was crazy like that. All right, what about ability? What champion has this ability? I don't fucking care. Okay, what champion do these emojis... All right, Wind, Janna. Wind, Sword? Gust, Sword? Yasuo. I stole it from chat again. Holy shit, I'm on fire. I'm on fucking fire, dude. I'm on fucking fire. Splash. Whose champion has this whole splash art? This is obviously Rumble. Nope. This champion's obviously Misfortune. This is obviously Kale. This is obviously Jin. Let's go. It's that fucking easy, bro. This is High Noon Jin. Everyone knew this. That's off the dome. Off the top of the dome. What, especially? High Noon Jin. Damn, bro. Let's go. Now Faker will win for sure. Faker is out there feeling how quickly I sped through these. And he knows that he can win. All right, what if I do the NYT connections? What if I just bang this out? Easy fucking free. If I can get this, Faker will win. Create 4 groups of 4. Tank, Glove, Scale, T, Coach, Rocks, Polo, Crop, Filter, Ball, Rotate, Mustang, Godiva, Flip, Pump, Driver. Scale, Rotate, Flip, crop. Boom. Godiva is a type of chocolate. Rocks, Polo, Tank, Mustang, Glove, Ball, Filter, Coach, T, Pump, Driver. Tank, T, Polo. Pump, maybe? Am I crazy? Well, it wasn't even right because it would say one more. Polo, Tank, T. I thought that would be 3 types of shirts. Why is that wrong? Why is that wrong? Oh, what about things you wear while golfing? Golf things. Polo, tee, glove, driver. One away. What about instead of glove, it's ball? One away. What about instead of ball, it's I don't fucking know. I thought these are all golf things. Golf tee, golf ball, golf. What the fuck? Oh, man. Coach, Rocks, Filter, Godiva. I don't know. Oh, Chad, I don't know. I don't know. What if it's... I lost. Ball, driver, glove, tee. Did I not say that? Back to puzzle. Did I not say that? Logos with horses. Coach, Godiva, Mustang, Polo. I don't think I would have got that. And then, okay. I kind of got this. What did I say? I said ball, glove. What was I putting in? Polo. I was putting in polo. That's what it was. Because it was a golf polo, bro. Tragic. All right. The only way I can save Faker. The only way I can save Faker is if I get the NYT Mini. Come on, let's go. Oh, it's a big one. Gum. Common lunch hour. I don't know. The dad in the That's My Dad moment from Tim Walls. Eli Manning. New tab. Cup of tea. Tea time? Tea time? All states. No, all... I don't know. Me day destination. Spa. Map. Era. All star. Star. Hey now. Nail polish layers. I don't know. Accessory notes and doodles. I don't know. Mythical creature as a national symbol of Scotland. I don't know. Mythical creature symbol of Scotland? Isn't that like isn't that Loch Ness? Nessie? Acquired. Got. Common lunch hour. I guess 1? Is that what it's saying? Memory pad? Memory? Mem something? Many top 10 builder song. Pop hits? Hits, I guess. 401k alternative. IRA, Roth IRA. Conclude, end, memo pad, nail polish layers, thoughts, I don't know, What is this? WOH, baby's cry. Wah. What is this? Unicorn. Under 2 means Faker will win this game in under 20. Okay? And that's a guaranteed. T1 Faker is saved. I did it. One quick AoE game for the fans. I would not want to do that. Playing an Age of Mythology game while fucking dead tired, trying to APM. I'm not gonna be crying. Tecton. Can you do a quick marketing Monday? Yeah, I'm not got a quick one. Let me just get the whiteboard up. Tecton. Can you do a quick popathon? Yeah. So just a quick 72 hours of nonstop balloons. But then I can go to sleep, right? Just like one quick. Finally, I can catch a live stream from Barcelona. Bro, I'm sorry for the European frogs who are like, love the YouTube. Finally, I get a live stream. It's time for your best one yet. And they tune in and it's like, I'm fucking dead tired. And you can't even see what I'm watching on screen. Draft starting? Oh, thank the Lord. Okay. Draft starting. Let's open it up. Wait. I'm trying to stop my thing from fucking overheating. So I'm closing all this stuff, but then it... What if I just end task on Chrome? End task on Chrome. Just shut it all down. And then open a new one. And then go to YouTube. And open this. Okay, folks.
It's going to be Smolder on the opposing end.
What, you think they're going to pick Smolder? You think they're going to play Smolder again after these 3 games? Zeke's been popular. Oh, they're even going to give Viper Jhin. That is a change. Last time they picked the Sedge, but Viper's been having such a great series on this pick, and they're confident with this. This is going to be somewhat reminiscent of that game 2 with the Nidalee Tristana
they're doing exactly
game 2.
Again. We already ran it kind of back, and then we're just doing that again. We're just...
Okay, here's the deal. If T1 wins this with this comp, that's great, but then they have the other side again, and they have to go back to what?
Going to be changes towards the second half of the draft, but so far, a lot of similarities again. And on blue side, I think you can get away with a lot more, but Owner, I do think, we were talking about it in the break as well, that even though his response wasn't great, a lot of that was a kind of a snowball effect from Keria not being able to
more scared of Jax than Smolder.
Well. But in the series...
I guess their strategy going into this is they're not afraid of Smolder, which is, I guess, crazy, because Smolder's been so good in all these games, but they just...
We hoped going in where you really are able to get more than just a couple of early camps.
Renekton ban, interesting.
And now my concern is because you have 2 picks that are so reliant on setup in the Ziggs and Nidalee, where your ideal circumstance is they both have CC.
So all we need is one more Quadra from Faker. Yeah, exactly.
You know, the last time they played this composition, Deus was on that, and he had fantastic setup for them when he was able to execute. That's not there anymore. They can also maybe threaten some of the support picks for Keria And, you know, if they want to get rid of the Leona, they can definitely do that now. They get rid of the Alistar, but still, targeting those support picks, trying to limit the setup available to T1. And actually, with it being a Alistar ban, Alistar one of the better picks in a Leona, it could just be a Leona on 4 for Hanwha Live to deny that from T1 as well.
Alistar ban is interesting.
You know, I'm not sure what Zaya specifically is gonna play here, but they need setup, ideally from both top and support. To
T1 needs a front line.
A lot is taken away as well.
They need at least one super tanky
On the R5 counter pick with a Sejuani.
top or support. Cassante ban.
Being banned away doesn't make me very excited, right? I would have much rather seen something on the counter pick territory. You can even go for the Cassante yourself. T1 obviously likes to play a lot more aggressive. We've seen what they've done in the series thus far. The Camille,
I wonder who Doran picks now. Gnar?
But they are going to maybe save the counter.
Does Doran have a Gnar?
For Delight as there's a lot of flex that can happen with this.
Dude, I wish they didn't get Poppy. Their Poppy's been so crazy. I'm too scared of the Poppy.
Yeah, not fully giving away information here.
Poppy feels really fucking strong.
It's probably support.
The ability to knock someone away at the start of the fight.
Like, it could be a situation where you're
super
tanky,
really fast.
You have the W to block the Leona. You have the ult to disengage.
Dude, stop picking double ADC. God damn it.
Top. I don't like this because now your only setup is this Leona, and there's a Poppy and a Sejuani to run intro.
Dude, it's all Leona.
It's counter pick into
this is the most. I don't know. I got mad game too, and they made it. They pulled it off.
That Hanwha Live he's supposed to stand there and let them poke them.
It's all poke again.
With the T1 game plan, which is try to win lane and then win.
Nasus.
Nasus.
The Nasus shouldn't really come as a surprise, and I again want to reiterate. The one game
okay, so it's all ADCs versus like the tankiest, fucking most solid comp.
Very well gone to Hanwha. So T1 gonna try it here again, but you gotta imagine Hanwha Live. Look at this. They have Poppy into a bunch of champions with dashes. They have a limited amount of front line. Nasus is gonna be very hard to get through in the mid game, and there's still Smolder Jhin.
Yeah, I think it's rough.
Smolder Jhin. Smolder Jhin and a great front line, tons of CC.
They need to be able to.
Why does every single game T1 have a weird comp?
I also think bot lane is going to be so important. If bot lane falls behind and your Leona is weak,
this is
she
tough.
is the person who has to be on the front line in every situation. She is the only setup. And if things go wrong, you're just going to get blown up by the enemy team. Like, how, as a Leona, are you going to go into melee range?
Yeah, I would dodge. I would dodge this Q.
You're behind.
They're quirky.
I love that. That's amazing.
Is that Poppy?
That was Poppy with the peanut emote right next to it.
Yeah.
What a banger.
Wow.
HLE T1 3-1.
The 3-1 expected here by the Hanwha Life Esports fans. See you tomorrow and in Europe. If you guys missed it, whoever wins this series goes to Worlds.
God damn it. All right, well, even if Faker loses this, they're going to crawl through the fucking gauntlet.
So
T1's going to Worlds, baby. Real fans know.
We're feeling like Hanwha Life Esports got a big draft gap. We'll see what the gameplay looks like, though, as we hop into the rim for game number 4. Game number 4 begins with Owner.
All right, no bad starts. At least Owner on Nidalee
this is what you want to do if you're going to pick
can be aggressive. He misses every spear, but because Nidalee is so strong in the jungle early, like they get prio.
Yeah, but if good trading happening.
They don't lose their jungler and die. Switch scene?
I think they've...
Bro, at 2 a.m. am I switching scenes? Think you're going to ban me at the end of the night?
6 games
got fucking
playoffs
20 people in here.
Peanut really running rampage over Owner, and especially when you have Nidalee and the Sejuani again.
All right.
I think Owner really wants to apply as much pressure as possible, but they only really got vision down here, and that ward is going to be swept out by Delight, so denying a bit of information there. But they do have a on the blue buff, so they should have an idea of where Peanut is generally. But it looks like with Owner starting on the red, I mean, I guess he could start that bot side and then move over towards Peanut's blue.
All right, come on, T1.
Come on, T1. There.
You can do this.
Also now late to lane,
you
so
can do
maybe
this.
T1 can capitalize that on a bit and try and get some push to help out the jungler.
20 seconds behind.
To see Owner is
we're 2x speeding.
And this is, again, something we always look to when you're picking Italy. You already highlighted it also. So we are going in the air, but just some trading back and forth. If you're in Italy, the ideal lane to yeah. So when we go back all the way to level 1, it already can start upgrading.
Faker almost loses level 1 to Zeka.
That's going to have to come through. And we want to remind you, I think T1 are pretty reliant on doing well in the lanes, because if your lanes aren't pushing,
he didn't flash though.
This Nidalee doesn't get the freedom to play the way that she needs to. She needs to be able to invade. She needs to be able to pressure Owner because you're so much stronger in the 1v1. Also, do note Owner actually going for phase rush, which I think into a matchup like the Nidalee can make a big difference.
See the way that Peanut's kind of walking around here. He doesn't go directly into his jungle. Given a little time. There's a ward on the blue buff. That might spot out Peanut, but yeah, Owner's just going for a clear. Faker's hopping forward, just hoping to do a little bit of harass and maybe hold the wave here. Zeka's like, well, okay, I will get some stacks, and I have TP and you don't, so I'm just going to take my stacks back and then TP back to lane.
It's actually so good for Zeka because
what was that?
He was low on mana, he wanted to recall anyway, and now he ends up getting a situation where he gets a reset and can TP. Faker was thinking of TPing with the wave frozen there, but he knows that Zeka's just going to come in and shove it in, so he's kind of trapped in a rough situation. Lane has
Faker was really dumb to take all that damage
so far in this game, and this is one of the things with a champion like Smolder is sometimes you get these really strong scaling picks.
It was Giga Chad, but it was stupid.
Smolder's really strong late game because he always has been, even when he wasn't showing up. But it's also like the power he has early as well. As early trades his wave clear is why he's so formidable, because you can't just stomp him into the ground. You know, we see picks like Kassadin for a good reason, but Smolder just still has a strong laning phase and is a monster late game.
Yeah, especially when you're going Grasp and you're also getting Grasp stacks. And meanwhile, Delight's here, he just flashes in, it's a free kill on a Faker, and now he's able to deny the entry from Owner. First blood will go over to Delight, which is the only good thing for T1, but HLE Esports are eating good here in this early game.
And I'm pretty sure that they knew this as well. It felt like they were trying to set up a bait with Owner getting the heal off, but that was never going to be enough, right? The Ignite comes through, the heal very much mitigated.
Bad season for T1.
Disastrous early start here. Only upside is that the kill goes to the light. Ideally, you'd want
about to die
wanted it on Zeka, but I think that alone not going to be the difference maker. Peanut, if Owner can lend a spear, could be something.
Get a spear.
Oh. Well, it seemed like he had a inkling.
He was watching his character, you know.
Yeah.
Very focused there. So he's down flash, but he doesn't take a bad trade.
He upgrades to Hex Flash.
Exactly. But because he's healthy still, and because he has Delight coming, it means even though Owner's still there, he feels comfortable taking the camp. Just a little bit too late.
God.
Yeah. Last 0.5 seconds of the recall doesn't get cancelled.
He hit him. I mean, he hit him.
Once again, seen Delight be very active on the map, and we've seen a lot of this Jhin Ziggs this series, and it feels like it just gives Delight so much freedom.
Oh, the root's going to be rooted down. He's at least able to hop away, but I'm not sure he's getting away from this one. It looks like HLE Esports do not want to overchase.
Good job, Faker.
But again, you're a Tristana in mid, already losing lane, and you still don't have TP.
And look at this. The wave is
man.
The wave is pushing away from you. You don't have teleport. Your back's getting cancelled. On my life, again, particularly the way that Delight is playing on the map. Viper is continuously able to not only have pressure in the lane, but also find so many of these setups with his W. It makes the early game so hardy for T1.
I think the consistent theme between last game and this one is that if you make any mistake against HLE Esports, they will punish it so heavily. You know, Fake obviously took a bad early trade against Zeka, and now the whole team is making his life hell because he burnt TP early. And in the previous game, it was Carrier taking the bad trade, which meant
it wasn't that he burnt TP early, it was that he jumped over the wave to try and do damage.
Him in here. I think
for some reason
if you're
to
going to go
Zeka.
this bait, you have to flash.
And then he went down to
the headbutt
low HP.
And obviously, you know, maybe he wanted to wait for Delight to get closer, but Delight is so decisive with the play, and Faker's just too slow.
And that really sets up this entire early game for HLE Esports.
The chance of going to Worlds goes
the top
way down
lane.
if they lose.
It's like Zeus is doing pretty well early on
still
into
do
Manassas, which, I mean, it's Corki into melee, and the Wither can only do so much early on. He's just farming away his Doran. So that top lane not really having a big effect just yet, but maybe Zeus can get something going on the top side for T1, because that's really the one lane where things are going well for them. The bottom side is pretty even at this point, although I would say that Viper's had a bigger effect on the map.
You want it to be ahead. You want to have the one kill on their
I
side.
was doing a little stack check. Doran at 60, Zeka at I think 50-something. So Delight is in the area. T1 have already taken the grubs. We'll see if Owner can actually find an angle for this.
The Worlds patch is better for T1. They have to get to Worlds first.
I think we can just default to that being the
They have to
standard
get to Worlds first, bro.
It's always there.
It's not support Poppy, it's River Poppy. You know, inspired by the old River Shen, but he's just... I can't remember the last time I saw him bot lane, honestly.
Yeah, no, this really is some... This is specifically the handshake as well of Jin and Ziggs is like giving me dumb on 2020 flashbacks, right? When Barrel was just always off on the map, doing his own thing. T1, Keria hasn't been able to have the same impact that the Light has. Very similar to the impact that Peanut has had on average over the course of this series compared to Owner.
Yeah, Peanut's been amazing this series.
Yeah.
But, I mean, Owner's niddly.
And
if they just hit a spear, he's much better at
get these
moving around.
little wins early on, and they're just going to run with it. They're not going to overforce. Light will continue to put on pressure.
It feels like
really
a comfort
forces
pick
T1
from
into
Owner.
an awkward spot where it's very difficult to make
Which means T1 has
proactive
to
plays when
accommodate
you don't
him.
really have a lot of control on the map, and Delight is everywhere. And, like, if you try to make a play, Delight's there. And so you don't really have a lot of freedom to do much. You guys talked about the Jin into the Ziggs. I think they also talked about it on the space. Wadid, I think, mentioned it. Viper just consistently picking this up over and over. And
terrible time to catch me live, but
and the Ziggs just
hopefully
really hasn't
T1
had
wins
much
this.
pressure in this entire series, I guess, outside of Game 2, where Gomo was able to push the top lane with it.
And you know, they are now looking for something. Might find Keria here.
Come on,
Delight
Keria.
And he's in bot this time around. Keria, he's got the Eclipse, but I don't know if he's got legs to stand on anymore. Down he'll go.
Actually just an outplay.
Just a lack of vision, and now they leave Kuma alone in the bottom side. Hamalate Esports. Delight really trying to make a huge angle for himself early on in this one.
He's doing so much work. And I mean, one of the things with like Ziggs back in the day was people would pick him and be like, okay, now he supports free to roam. But when Viper just has more pressure in the matchup and Delight is getting more impact out of the roams,
Zeus might just
it's like
lose
you don't
this
get the value.
lane,
And as you've heard me say many times before, if you're playing Ziggs, you should be getting plates. They're not getting plates, they got a Triss, they got a Nidalee. It's only a 500 gold lead, but being behind with these picks doesn't feel good.
Smolder four times.
T1 definitely
it's 4 games.
not having a great start to this game already, and this is their blue side game. You know, the expectation, if they want to win this series, this should be the easier one. Game 5, when HLE have side select, that should be the hard one, and this one's already starting off with a bit of a struggle.
Gonna have to see them at the very least.
One good play. I'm not counting it out just yet.
Those together.
One good
if you can
play
get
from
Grubs
T1.
into a Drake, start stacking early, maybe get them a second Drake. That could be something here for T1. But working from a gold deficit, playing into double stacking champions, a lot of laning difficulties this time around as we do see
Keria getting caught, bro.
So I think very clearly knew that Delight was in there, but wasn't expecting Peanut to be in there, or the other way around, because the Eclipse was basically immediate, predictive, but it doesn't really matter when Viper can just set up and Peanut can just get the passive off.
The CC layering was good, and
coin flip
by
Baron.
the time the
Nice
CC
coin flip
ended,
Baron
Keria
would
was
be
like,
nice.
if I flash, they're just going to flash
Owner
after
gets
me.
one clutch snipe.
And both Peanut and Delight have Hex Flash as well, so you know, what are
gold's
you going to really
still
do about that
I mean,
situation?
400, but it's not.
Yep, absolutely. And
no big gold deficit.
So just kind of
They
accepts
haven't
his
lost a
fate.
tower.
It was fine because he can clear waves still. But you know, the Ziggs feels good in
you want
terms
T1
of
to be
what he's
ahead here
buying. He
'cause
can
their
clear
team is
waves and
worse.
he
Their
stays
comp is
safe in
worse.
that way. But again, it's not the proactive Ziggs that we have looked for. And now we're going to open up here on a Zeus, really on the
why doesn't he
angle
run
there.
towards his
Zeus,
tower? I don't
not
get it.
much room to go for. He's going to try to flash away, and there's not enough stuns coming in. Here's Delight again. He's
Well,
everywhere.
dove.
And he'll take a bunch of damage as well. So now maybe an angle for T1 to go for these grubs.
Actually, it's not looking that bad here. Peanut holds onto the ultimate. I think could have used it, but maybe wasn't sure.
Yeah,
what
I mean,
the
I guess
damage.
good.
That's no Viper ult, so that should be 6 grubs.
The best
for
thing
T1.
that happens for T1
It's
is when they try to do a
very
huge play on
necessary
Zeus with
dub
3 people
in
and he
their column.
lives. Or does like Soul, makes it last so long that they can get other
Just
things.
4 is already decent. I think 5 you can just take and peace out, which it looks like that's what they're doing, because they obviously don't have Zeus really in this equation, so they don't want to overstep.
Yeah,
Yeah, Grubs with Zig is huge. I mean, like, that was good.
Grub, the difference
It was
in the
really good that
obviously
Zeus didn't
5
die
and
there,
6
and
big.
it made
They'll
a lot of
still shred
difference, and they took
towers.
advantage of it.
Now HLE moving towards a dragon, and with it being Ocean then Chemtech, which in my opinion are two of the weakest souls.
Okay, Zeus.
Viper in a very
Zeus?
awkward spot in the top.
Imagine?
It's a big one to the face, and Viper just walks it off. But at the same time, it is top.
I
Now
would've
the
gone
TP
for
was
it.
used by Zeus, so
But
he can't
I'm
really
an
get to this
idiot
fight
inter solo queue
either.
player, so.
Zeka just walks that one off.
Yeah,
I would have
Keria trying
died
to find
probably,
angle
but
Zeka, but I
feels
think
like you
it's
could have
big
gone for it.
that T1 try and contest this dragon, because if you give 2 over to HLE and it's a strong soul, you're a mistake away from being in a really uncomfortable position giving over soul points. So Owner
you
is
know
trying
what?
to
Yeah.
set up on this
Viper
now.
didn't even flash.
He's
That's ice
hovering
cold.
around.
Yeah, I mean, they don't have Viper yet, so it doesn't really feel like they can fight. The top laner champions don't have their teleports at the moment, so T1 just trying to get this one down and in their column. Faker's going to take the aggro, which actually resets the Dragon a little bit. And T1 feeling the pressure now. Viper, here comes the helicopter trying to get somebody out of this one. It will be Carrier that is sent flying.
Back it out, 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 back it out.
And it's Mountain Soul up next. Humble Life Esports basically run away with the free objective.
And Mountain Soul as well, especially when you have poke champions, Bears champions like Corki, Nidalee, and the Ziggs, and you have these mega tanks on the side of HLE. They get Mountain Soul, the game's cooked.
Hey, on the flip side, I know we have, and I'm just going to ignore the smolder for this, but you know, Jin's going to struggle into
Devil's advocate.
I need to do something, man. I think that right now it does feel like the situation for T1 obviously not looking too hot. Again, I think
Dead even
one
gold.
of the big things that I'm worried about is we haven't actually seen Doran join a fight yet. If this Nessus that I imagine at this point is sitting at like what, 150, 200 stacks.
All right, trying to get on top of the Poppy. That's pretty brave, but they have enough damage with the Nidalee just to follow up. But Delight is holding,
Oh, hit a
waiting.
spear!
He's still got his
Hit a
flash,
fucking spear!
and he really wants to use it. He is, and then he just dies anyway.
Yes.
I
Good.
really liked how
Smart
he
to
was
give it to
holding
Faker,
it
actually.
and not using it, and then he
Probably
used
should
it.
have kept holding
And
it.
then I really didn't like that part.
Zeus is dead. Zeus is
Okay,
dead.
nice
Zeus
dodge
is
from
dead.
Zeus,
Unless
but he doesn't have his flash, and yeah, he's pretty dead. 1 Q will get the job done, so Humble Life Esports at least are able to trade it back.
Okay, Delay, we got to give you some flack for that one because that was
questionable.
That was definitely questionable. There was a counterplay on the opposite end of the map for Hanwha, but Faker getting a kill is definitely huge. This Tristana was the big win condition that they relied upon in the previous game.
And the turrets.
And with 5 grubs, this is going to go down very quick. Should be able to get first turbot as well. Yes, Nessus pushes fast, but not as fast as a Tristana with 5.
I think the problem is, though, is that HLE trade towers, but also get Herald. So now T1 might feel like they need to get more in this situation, but the light is here. Protect Zeka. Zeka has tons of wave clear, so all in all, I think HLE happy.
Do you have any hope for NA this world? Not a chance in hell. Not a chance in hell.
I mean, at the end of the day,
there's a better chance of the devil himself rising up from the pits of fucking the underworld and starting his own team and winning.
Because Carrier, like,
the North America winning world.
RE's out of vision, but the flash definitely questionable at the end. But here, it's so funny because Zeus obviously dodges Zill, which is great, but the amount of tower hits that a Sejuani Nasus can tank with Locket as well, they could be under that tower for like 20 seconds and keep going.
I thought you were going to say 20 minutes. I would also agree with that.
Yeah, probably valid.
Yeah, it's a little bit of juggling, but they'll be fine.
T1 up on
Do
gold.
you see
They could just be so much more up on gold if they just didn't
still making moves on the map.
do all the
Not
bad
feeling
things.
like
and
the
only
third
kept
game,
the good
which was
things.
again just a complete and utter blowout. But there's still a lot of the things that we've seen of Hanwha. As Zeka just happily stacking. Doran also picked up a kill.
Zeus Corki's pretty strong.
For T1,
pretty fed
again,
too.
these dragons, I think, you can't afford to give a single one up. If you ever get a soul point threat, it's going to be really hard to play out. You need to be sure about your engages, and this is where I think the Poppy really plays a big part. Because if you mess up an engage, like between Wither, Flap, the ultimate from Viper, you're just never getting out. Your first call needs to be the right one. 260 stacks now for Doran, so inside is going to be a menace. There's that Herald you were talking about, Ox.
Yeah, won't be able to get the tower, but just put some pressure down. I'm not sure about this. I feel like mid would have been better, but maybe they just thought they wouldn't find a window there. Now they are looking for Doran.
Yeah, he's kind of getting baited into this one, and Faker just going to hop away. Doran now flashes into the T1 jungle. Zeke's even trying to get on in there. Doran 1 Q away and nearly takes
What the fuck's happening?
Zeus' head.
What the fuck's happening? Kill him.
Yaki will go
Blow
down
up.
to the explosive shot, but that
Thank
got
fucking
a little
God.
bit spicy.
If he got away, I would have
Zeus was just top
screamed.
lane, where the Herald went. So he TPs for the kill, but they give up the tier 2 and give the gold to Smolder. So, and also it's over a minute till Dragon. Doran's going to be alive. I understand you want to do something proactive, but that was just a negative play for T1.
Yeah, and also Zeus TP'd and Doran didn't, so Doran
Well, they should have been able to do it without the TP.
As we
Let me
take
watch this
another look
again.
here, obviously,
I feel like
if
they
you're
could have won
Doran,
this fight
you're
without
gonna-
TP.
You're going to take this if you think you're in an isolated situation, because your Nast is into an 80 carry.
But you also look at the mini-map, and like, Sejuani and Smolder backed away, and they see the TP, and they're like, okay, well,
Maybe they can't
I guess
play,
you
but
see
they-
the ult come out from the Smolder, like, well, I know what I'm doing.
I think
and
Faker
Doran maybe
backing
get the
was
kill
dumb.
and then trading flashes means
Faker
that
was
there's not even
backing.
like a
Just
flash
finish the
advantage
job.
gained
Get back
from
to-
this. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think HLE very happy with that trade. And now 10 seconds until that dragon, the all-important soul point. It is control in favor of T1. But they really want to make sure that HLE can't get close. Remember, the Poppy
they have
is such
riding
a
on them?
spanner
No bet,
when it
but
comes
my
to setting up these dragons.
T1
on the
Spirit
fact
is
you
riding
just
on them.
knock someone, particularly the jungler, away.
If T1 wins a series, I feel
That's
better
a
the
lot of
whole
poke.
day.
T1, this is
Maybe
a
the whole week
must-get
sometimes.
for them. If Almalife gets soul point
There's
of a
extra pep
mountain
in my
soul into
step.
this poke composition, they're going to be in deep trouble.
So it just sucks
Well,
when
both
they
the
lose.
teams are going to
kind of in
fight
a
for
bad
it.
way
Doran's
like this.
taking the long way around. He doesn't have his flash anymore, but here comes the Delight. Oh, it's not going to hit anything as
Oh, they dodged
Zeki
it.
was going to be
They dodged it.
pushed away from that one. So the Drake does go over
Delight is not
to their
peanut.
side. There's the clear from the Ziggs, and all of a sudden, T1 get the
Nice
Drake.
clear from the Ziggs.
They don't lose a turret.
Hey, well played,
and
T1.
nothing else much happens. Feels pretty good for T1.
Yeah, really well played. Good poke landed.
Yeah,
they had
good-
the setup
good play.
first. They didn't get hit by the Poppy ult. You know, Guma was ready with
I
the
swear to
interrupt,
God, this
but
poke
without a
comp is
range.
so ugly, but
And
Is
then
that
they
ult
play
that
it well.
Red Bull Tower?
Maybe it's
Oh, it
their
might
meta
just be.
adaptation.
Yeah, we're going to see another ult
Oh.
try to clear the wave, but yeah, that is a Sassable Tower. Down it goes.
Damn.
Guma.
Ziggs
Take
does
him out.
shred
You know what
towers, huh?
else? He's building Leandries, which is completely the right call in this bulky front line, but he's been very big on the horizon focus. Leandries Ziggs will do a lot of damage here, and you know, things were a bit doom and gloom for T1, but they navigated that passage of play from the start,
Yeah, they
starting up the
played that
dragon
well.
until taking that tower perfectly. Considering,
I
you
love how
know,
they
the
play this
trade
comp, as
down,
weird as it is.
losing top tier 2, they managed to find a
But-
good bounce back and really instill some hope over this game.
Just
Yeah,
feels
as
like
a
one
T1 predictor,
fight
obviously,
can go
I have at no
terribly.
point in
How
this game
tanky
doubted
they all
them. So I feel like this is all going according to plan, guys. I don't know what you're talking about. Imagine how tanky Leona's going to be with 4 mountain dragons.
You know,
Think about
if
that.
you
Well,
don't
they
have
got
any,
one.
if you don't have any tanks, just get Mountain Soul, 4 Mountain Dragons, and everyone's a tank.
Woo!
When everyone's a tank, nobody
Okay,
is.
no, Ox, that was, we had the thing. Didn't need to take it further.
It'd be sick if they bait him into playing Smolder 4 games, and then game 5 they ban
Well-
Smolder, and he's like, "Wait, I forgot how to play anything else."
Now that we got that
He's
out of
so
the way,
smolder
I
pilled.
do think, you know, T1 had the one Drake,
They
and
they
we'll
switched
see
it
if they'll
completely
get any
up.
more. I'm not so sure. I mean,
They
it
play
was
the
a nice
long
setup
game.
on that first one, but it certainly feels like a close game, and I think that Hamalife will try to fight harder over the next ones. And the turn's going to go down here probably, but it looks like Faker's looking to trade in top side with
Gonna
the
take
TP
another
as
wave.
well.
They might look for an inner if Halma-Life overstay towards bot side.
They get it. They understand. But yeah, I just think this is why Ziggs
Yeah,
is
they're
so good
using
in
the
these cross
power of
maps,
their-
because he's so good at taking
They're
towers.
beginning to believe.
We're watching them learn things
I like the
in
way they
real
play the
time,
poke up because
guys.
they
doing
get
it.
jungle vision and they just
But
they
yeah,
play the
so they
map
deny
really
the
well.
push on the bot side,
They don't
slow
take
it
as many
down.
dumb
I don't think
fights.
they're going to be able to pressure more on the top side, but they're doing a good job.
But this
of
is
just
where they'll
pushing
try
the
to
pace
catch
of
you
the
with a
game.
big.
Now there is a Smolder still in this game. Zeka this time around hasn't really been the main character the way that
Damn,
he was
Smolder's ult's kind
in
of
some
crazy,
of the
huh?
previous
Just
games,
fucking-
but is sitting at about 170
Oh,
right now. Should be able to get towards that, and this is obviously the luxury that Halma-Life bought them as well. They do not need to care about this next dragon. They can play either towards Baron if T1, overcommit towards the objective. They can go for mid push. They can try and get the bot
Doesn't he be
side
so
either, so
ahead
there's a lot of
against Nasus
objectives for
Smolder
them
scaling?
that they can
I
choose to
think
go
in solo queue,
towards.
yeah, but
Whereas T1,
Tristana
still
scales,
priced
bro.
into
They
getting
have,
these
like,
objectives.
in
Faker in
pro
a
play,
side lane,
just
though,
you need to catch the,
I
you
do
need to
think
start
is a
the
big
fight in the
problem,
right
because we
way.
haven't talked about Doran as much. It's
As
still
long as
sitting
they're not super
at almost
behind, they just need to
400
get one
stacks,
good.
and I think should be fine against the Tristana, but once he finishes
As long as you're not
Mortal
behind.
Reminder, I actually think it's going to be hard for Doran because he hasn't really been put in a position in this game where, sometimes we see the Nessus get a bunch of kills, get a lot of turret gold. This time around, not so much.
I mean, even though he's an infinite stacking champion, this champion always feels strongest in the mid game when he's too durable. It'll get to the point where he's going to get shredded, and also, it's really hard for him to stay on targets. Like, if he withers anyone, apart from Carrier, which you don't really want to be withering Carrier, but they can just create space quite easily. You have the Buster Shot, you have the Satchel, and as a result, it's going to be hard for him to stick onto targets unless he's got a flank, and you will just get shredded. We get some big item spikes coming in here as well. The Andrews was finished. Paguma, Zeus has his Manamune completed. So T1 definitely feeling like they have some spikes to play around. Ona is setting up around the Baron, but we have a minute until that next.
What do these numbers mean?
Dragon.
This is the game we're all watching live.
Thank you for highlighting. There was 420 stacks
this
for
is
the
kills and the gold and the towers.
So
and
getting there.
Yeah. He's got
Imagine if this is what League of Legends was.
Zeka
Just this number
like
part.
Not as fast as we
We're
saw
all
in
watching
Game 3.
this
Viper
intently.
just
T1's numbers are going up, baby.
Wait. The wall and has to flash away. Already cleansed the solar flare, and that's
good.
right before
Careful.
this dragon is about to spawn in 30 seconds.
The poke is landing.
Just play for dragon.
And Humble Life,
Good
they
poke.
might be able to hold on to this mid turret. Do have
Good
a lot of
poke.
range.
Did I see a
clear,
spear
but it
land there
looks
for
like
once?
25 seconds on the clock. Doran, he can obviously make it. Is already on his way.
Still
Zeka
20
has
seconds on
TP,
dragon. You gotta poke
no
him more.
sums on Viper. That's quite big, and Peanut has to back as well. We'll see TP's coming in. I think Humble Life still want to try and contest this. Still 10 seconds towards the Drake.
No
Will be a really
sums
big
on
win
Viper
for T1
is
if they can
big.
get this.
Yeah, Doran TPing in here to try and defend the tower. It just takes some poke for it.
Yeah. He is Nasus.
Yeah,
He'll be able to heal up a bit. But, yeah. Very nice setup here for T1, but they don't know
They're on
about
a ward.
the
They're on a ward. They're on a ward. They're on a ward. They're on a ward. They're on a
Maybe they're
ward.
going to have an inkling
Clear the
now
ward,
that it is
please.
there. T1
Clear the ward. You're on the ward.
hang around. They will clear that out. And really want to take down the second dragon, but they're being very careful about it.
And it's just so hard to approach, and they're taking so much damage anytime anyone steps
God.
up.
Oh god, back up, back up. They're trying to hard engage.
Poke, and now Carrier's got a
Careful.
flash away. Got the cleanest setup around this one, and now Humble Life Esports are going to take over control of this very important rush.
Bot Wave is knocking on the doors, but doesn't look like Humble Life is really going to care. They want to secure this dragon. Zeka is off on his own, but I don't think T1 knows about it. Now they will.
I mean, they're going to spot him. Coming on in, Zeka. Just kind of an awkward spot. He will be able to call down Mom from here,
This
but
is awkward.
he's not really in the fight for
This
what
is
it's
awkward.
worth. He's looking to maybe engage with the blast cone.
What's happening, dude? This is so intense.
As now it's just flanking.
This is so intense.
Corky, and there goes the Leona. Mom comes down. They're just trying to zone them away. Burst down the dragon, and that they will. They take down the mountain, and now they're so close to this one.
Okay, they got the dragon.
They want to take the fight afterwards, but the zoning that is coming in is pretty big.
This is
But there's the
this is a
Leona
scary fight.
into it, but the light is right on top of him. Peanut also gets away.
It's so
but Viper's
close to
still
being
on
so
top.
good.
Will be taken down, and T1.
It's so close to being so good.
Looks like they'll only get the one kill, and the dragon is taken by Humble Life Esports.
This is a problem. They don't get the dragon. The resets don't come in all the way, and with these low health bars and being on this side of the map,
so
there's
close
no
to being on a
chance to do
quadra from
Baron.
Faker.
Maybe they rush over and start it now, but this is a great setup for Delight, knocking away the Leona. And you know after the dragon's secured,
even
HLE
fault
want
him
to
too much.
disengage, the poke starts to come in,
Yeah,
the
the
Zigzal is
poppy
massive.
knockaway is so strong.
And then Viper's ulting to create space. Carrier gets this great ult, but Delight again is clutch with the disengage to stop the Leona getting on target. They still lose Viper, but that could have been so much worse if Carrier was able to get in.
A single extra kill
Dude,
for
if they got
Faker,
Peanut, or
like,
one more reset.
They could have
dude,
ended up
one
losing the
more
game
reset.
there. Like, T1 had a giant wave already barreling towards the bot side. They have 5 grubs, Ziggs and Tristana. But thanks to the disengage, Faker doesn't get the resets. They don't get the necessary kills, and I think
that was one
actually
flash
favors
away from
Humble,
a
right? They
Faker
set up
quadra
so
and-
only give up a kill, and they're not going to be
Anyway,
too
they're at
bad
a big
about that
gold
one.
lead.
I will say though, they do lose mid tier 1
just
for that. And now you can see
the
Guma pushing in
dragon,
super
the
deep,
mountain
they can
soul with
move
those
towards the
tanks is
Baron,
gonna be-
have heavy control, and playing against a composition with so much poke like this, vision control is king. If T1 deny vision and just throw poke at you for the fog of war, it's borderline unplayable. If the reverse is true and HLE of the vision control, you can easily dodge a bouncing bomb thrown at you when you know where they are and they don't know where you are. And I think that mid tier 1 is definitely an edge for T1. They still have a lot in favor of them right now, but they can't mess up again around these dragons or they give over the soul. And now Zeka with the stacks just adds to the pressure.
As hit the stacks is going to be a really big menace, and also as long as you keep control of that Baron pit even remotely, takes away so much of
Stackers
what
are
makes
stacking,
T1 a scary
true.
team to
But again,
face. The Baron
I mean,
calls.
Faker,
I think I've taken
3-1.
a bit of
when Faker got the quadra
slower
last
turn
game, he was
compared to what it
1-0.
used to be, say, a year ago.
Now he's even
We still
stronger.
know that they
He's
are
the
big
most
fans of
fed
it.
person in the game, I
no
think.
for Faker. That's a really big spike here. Zeus approaching a third item as well. They have TP
Faker's
and Faker
a
in the side
tank
lane.
shredder.
But on my life, they're quite hard to engage on again. so much kiteback potential. And now, if T1 ever mess up an engage, and Zeka just gets to get like 3-4 extra Qs off, that can mean the end of not only this game, but the series and the opportunity for T1 to again face off against Gen G.
Yeah, a lot on the line. A lot on the line.
Bunch of times in recent history.
I think they just want to pressure this Baron. TP called in, and they say, Faker, get over here. We're doing the Baron. 5 members of T1 have already started up this objective. They're looking for the turn onto Peanut, who is incredibly tanky, and Carrion now over the wall, taking damage from the Smolder.
Carrion getting fucking melted?
Is not there, and it's just a free
Carrion got melted.
And the call is not clean on the turn from T1, and they just
How
lose
can you
their
have
support.
no
I'm just not sure what the game plan there was, because you don't have the damage to burst speed, and the follow-up wasn't in position. He has blocked it as well. He is very tanky, and Carrier, once you're in, there's no way you get out again. You come in over the wall, his flash is only just coming up now, and Delight again does a great job locking him into the play with that stun. T1, you know what they're trying to do. You know they're trying to set up an advantage around this Baron. They don't want to make a 50-50 happen around the Dragon and risk HLE getting soul, but it backfires massively, and now we see Zeka picking up the rapid fire, a really big spike.
Don't get caught, don't get caught, don't get caught. Wait, no, don't, go back to live.
The TP was invested right from the get-go there by Faker, so you don't even get that advantage.
Yeah, dude.
And Peanut, he's just not going to die.
Carrier, why'd you do that, actually?
You point out, they just don't.
That was actually so stupid by Carrier when you really look at it.
Everyone commits, but at that point, you are just waiting.
You can't jump the wall into 5 of them on your tank. If you're fighting into a choke point
against the Poppy in particular, it's not going to work as a...
1v1, holding it out from the Ziggs, and it's just a trade. Guma trying to help out, trying to get over there on time, but it's actually a shutdown that's given over to Zeka.
But look at the respawn timers. Zeka has TP and Faker doesn't, and the respawn is pretty close to when the Dragon spawns, so HLE, you can go with full confidence. On top of that, Zeka got a big shutdown. This is pretty favored towards HLE right now.
Yeah, it was
Faker
bad,
gonna be
but
off the map longer.
He was like
see if they
one
can push
hit
in and create some space against his poke.
Just cleanly winning that.
It's definitely been
This is a heartbreaker.
kind of the way it's been going. You know, T1 have the gold lead, but it feels like Hamalife Esports are getting these little wins, and this time around it feels bigger because this is for Mountain Soul.
They can hard force, they know. Zeka is going to be up in 8 seconds, TP's available. T1, they need a miraculous steal, but I don't know if Ona can get to the pit, especially not with the light there.
That's so difficult for them. There's the TP, and it's just 4v5.
We need to steal.
What do you do except run away as Carrier? Owner thinking about getting in there, but it's not going to happen. He throws the spear, runs away. That's Mountain Soul given over to Hamalife Esports. 29 minutes into the game.
And once again, G1 try and make a proactive play. Looks like a decent idea, but the backfire hurts them so much. The light
you just can't poke. Mountain Soul gives them the shield.
No.
It's about sending
you
a
can't get
message.
I was concerned for both of them.
He's tanky now, right? Mountain Soul, and the thing is, if that means an extra Nidalee Q, an extra Ziggs Q, just to burst through the shield is so hard, they're starting the Baron.
Oh, a lot of ults are down here for Hamalife. I don't know if that's enough, but T1 is going to try.
They're going to send it. We'll see if it works out for them. Peanut is in the pit.
The
Solar Flare doesn't hit anything, and it goes to Peanut. The shot goes in, and T1 might just get wiped here. They've got Doran in the front line for
All right, guys,
He's
good
going to flash
game.
the wall. Down will go Faker in the execution. And even potential for the Penta. It's not going to happen, but Hamalife Esports
Owner, not a great series.
win, taking massive lead in
Not
this
a great
game.
series, Owner.
And T1, it felt like they were in a desperate position after losing the soul, but
Not a
HLE
great
don't
series.
hesitate at all. They move forwards and crush their hopes of the Mountain Soul. They can start to do some real damage to structures. I don't think it's a game ender, but with Baron as well,
call for a steal?
There's not going to be much left of the base after they have their way with it.
Nexus might not go down, but maybe we can call it a game ender nonetheless. The gold's now going to spike.
Yeah, but they have
The
Mountain
map
Soul
control
and
that
Baron
T1 so desperately needed going to
gold
be
lead and a
denied.
stronger team and scaling.
And Faker's going to be up, Guma's going to be up, but I don't know how much of the base they
team
can
call
keep
from
standing.
T1 does not work from
and
behind.
outside of an absolutely ludicrous
T1 out
elbow
of
flip
worlds?
situation.
They're not out of worlds, but
this is the play
it's a
that it all
tougher
comes
road.
down to, where they feel like with the Ziggs they have an angle, but it doesn't end up working out.
Yep, Zeka having just enough damage and able to dodge away from the ult. And this play just felt like desperate.
Faker
You
won
see
that
Carrier
fight.
ult over the wall, assuming Peanut's there. This is not calculated, this is not set up, this is... The game is over unless we do something crazy.
Oh,
they do
bad.
something crazy,
Owner,
and
bad.
the game is over. Unfortunately, it doesn't go their way. I understand the reason they went for it, but it just goes from bad to worse.
Yeah, and after you lose the Baron, you lose the fight.
It's
it
going to
just
be
feels like you don't really have much else
brilliant
left
story
going
when
for you.
T1
Hamalife
wins World
Esports,
League.
They're taking
Wall through the
everything.
gauntlet.
And it was little by little they were getting wins around the map, and then finally they were able to find a really big one. And again, guys, this is for Worlds. World Seed would go over to Hanwha if they win it here, and now they've caught another one as down will go Owner. And they're looking to maybe end this one. We've seen some Red Bull Baron power plays in this one, but no 7,000 gold Red Bull Baron power plays until now.
All right, guys, thanks for watching. I'm going to bed. I don't even want to watch the end of this. I'm sad and tired. Appreciate you staying up to watch T1 Fans Unite. We'll be back tomorrow with some Astro Boy, I think. Good stream today outside of this T1 part. I have a blast.
With the rapid fire.
Good night.
And barring a miracle.